He's just jamming. He doesn't even give a shit. All right, back in the studio, Northwest Driftcast, making it happen. Danger Ben White.
Eddie Gonzalez, and we have some shitty titty fuck here.
Shitty titty fuck. He's got 3 trophies, and they're all for the Whirly Balls. 3-time champ, back to back to back. Got Mr. Brandon Marcus.
Dude, aren't you the guy that works for like Life OD guy?
Oh Lord, we're going there.
You work for him.
I work for him.
That's your boss.
Literally,
He gave you the night off, eh? So he let you come to the studio, and he just let you come out here and talk with a couple morons, or what?
Yeah, basically.
No wrenching on Andy Carson this week.
My boss let me free.
So when you went around this roundabout coming up to Eddie's house, did you want to just keep going around it?
No, it made me sick.
It made you sick?
Yeah.
I mean, I thought you spent like 48 hours in on ones.
It wasn't 48, but it was definitely 24.
It was definitely 24.
It was definitely 24.
He's traumatized.
There's only one roundabout.
For 24 hours. You should have had a counter. Did you have a counter?
Well, at first it was based off of like our full footage. I was like, how many times do we actually go around it in an hour? And it was, but I did mess it up because for a while I was trying to make Chow super sick, so I was like, I'd go as fast as possible, like just scrubbing tires, but it was so loud. No, serious, it was so loud. There's neighborhoods everywhere, and lights would start flicking on, when it got dark. And I was like,
what's this for?
This was when we did 24 hours in a roundabout.
Was that on Orion's channel, or was that your channel?
Oh, that's Orion's channel.
Oh, okay. So y'all just kind of collab and do stuff and shit. Like, I mean, it's always fun to see your face like pop up in there. I'm like, God damn it, because you're always doing something stupid, and it's hilarious to me. But like, yeah, they spent 24 hours in a roundabout.
Are you serious?
And it was the one. Oh, it was Granite Falls. Okay.
On Jordan Road.
Well, you go into Granite. There's the big main one as you're going into the Granite to like keep going throughout, and then you take a left.
Yeah.
And then there's that secondary. One right wherever that is.
Yeah.
And we chose that one.
Just after the Walmart.
No, so it's
Granite.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Highway 9.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
No, yeah. So you go out further and you take a left and head into Granite. There's the first main one, and you take a left there. You can actually see it from the main roundabout or whatever. Yeah, and so we basically...
Just for shits and giggles, huh?
Well, I mean, like, if we want to talk YouTube a little bit, you see algorithms and people, how they're making their money within, like, being crazy, and we all know who probably Mr. Beast is, and Mr. Beast
I don't know who that is.
Who's Mr. Beast?
Mr. Beast is the beast of YouTube, and all his stuff is crazy, so he does, like, 24-hour challenges all the time.
Well, so like, I mean...
And so for me, I was like, all right, do cheap, right? Because we're going to spend... probably $100 in fuel for driving because we brought 2 fuel cans and we topped it off, and we literally filled like out. I mean, it's in the video. I was literally filling my X5 out the window as I was going slower. I didn't want to kill him, but we just went for it and figured like, hey, if you can get on algorithms with these other YouTubers and you're in a suggested, next with it, if he's doing 20 million views, you might pick up on 500,000 or whatever.
10% of a baby.
You guys track miles too?
Yeah, I mean, dude, that was a while ago now. But yeah, I would have the mileage.
How many miles did you guys go?
Oh my gosh. I want to say it was like, average speed was 11 miles per hour. I had the average speed. But I want to say it was...
Oh my God, you gotta be kidding me.
I want to say we drove like 680 miles?
Holy crap.
Yeah.
In 24 hours at 11 miles an hour.
That's a lot in just one spot.
It was... Well, no, but dude, so I did like 30 miles per hour, though, for like 10 minutes to make everybody sick.
That's hilarious.
Like literally just scrubbing at 30, like it was just pushing and putting, because all-wheel drive. And I was just like, just gripping up, and it was pretty fun.
Well, dude, it's so funny because I went through the video, and like I'm skipping through, and then I saw when you got pulled over by the cop. He's like, well, what are you guys doing? You're like, oh, it's just stupid YouTube shit. We thought it was funny. He's like, oh, carry on. Just kind of like, all right, have a good day.
Well, the worst part was, so that cop literally 5 hours before, he came through on patrol with somebody else. So 2 cops came through. And Orion's like, dude, get out of go. And I'm like, I'm not... We've been here for 6.5 hours. I'm not leaving the roundabout. Like, I'm committed. Yeah, I'm like, I'm straight committed. He's like, dude, you're going to get in trouble. I was like, if I get a ticket, dude, we'll make it funnier on YouTube. Like, whatever.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I stayed in it. And I'm like, whatever. And like both the cops, because I did one full as they came, because they're driving at me. And I did one full as they like were there waiting. So it's the second they start watching me. I'm like, no. And then they both sped through. And I was like, yeah, got away with that one.
Well, he said, he's like, well, I guess it's not technically illegal. It's just annoying.
Yeah, so
That's hilarious.
comes back. Man, I think we got pulled over. So we started at midnight the night before. He, I want to say, came through at like 6 in the morning when we saw him or whatever, because they were on like a long patrol when I talked to him about what we were doing.
Yeah.
And I think he got me at like 6 o'clock in the afternoon when he came back, and he was like, hey, there's been yelling, shouting, and like cursing reported. And I was like, oh, because the one thing you learn about people when you're driving a roundabout for 24 hours is like there's a lot of people that don't know how to enter a roundabout.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, why are you stopping? And they just literally halt. And you're like, and everyone wants to rear end that guy because they all think he's going to sneak through, and they don't. So this guy stops and starts cursing at somebody, and of course me and Orion were like, shut up! Like after all the windows are down.
Yeah, it's cursed back out.
Dude like looks around and he's like, peels out of there. So the cops come, I think basically because of that. And he's just like, what are you doing? And I was like, dude, we just stopped. We've been driving for 16 hours. And he's like, yeah, I know. I drove through here at 6 o'clock in the morning. I remembered seeing you go around twice. He's like, you're still here. And he's like, we have like 10, 15 phone calls on you right now. And I was like, all right.
That's it?
Yeah, I was like, am I in trouble? He goes, no, it's not illegal to do what you're doing. It's just very dumb. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, we're getting away with this one.
Well, that's
and
what
he's like,
they say about the algorithms on YouTube, right? You either have to be an expert or the dumbest fucking person possible.
Yes.
So it sounds like you fell into the latter of those categories.
For us, we try to be the dumbest.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys have done a bunch of other, like, retarded dumb stuff, huh?
Yeah, we try.
Yeah.
We try.
Well, so
you can't be legit. You got to be dumb.
So you got hooked up with Orion how? Because, I mean, you have a shop, right?
Yeah, so Orion, we took last year off, so year before. We're at, I go to all the open drifts because, I've helped out Matt and I follow everybody. And
why didn't you pull me along?
Dude, I wish I would have.
God, don't you have more coattail for him?
Right? Yeah, no, it all works out how it's supposed to work out. But, I mean, like, we're friends now. But,
Friends-ish.
yeah, right?
Friends enough.
I got an LS that needs to be swapped to a Mustang if you want to do it for me.
We could, for sure.
Yeah, but it's going to be 6 years later, right?
Why?
Isn't that how long LS swap's taken the shop? I mean, Matt Larkin's, right? And then your car.
Matt, love you. But Matt Larkin, low-key, is a perfectionist. He's really weird about how he goes apart doing things. So that's just it.
Yeah, when he found all the water in his oil, I'm like, I would have just sent it.
Yeah. And, like, for him, he's literally going to go home and do, like, an oil test on how long the water's been there.
Yeah.
Which is great. I love it. I mean, it's good to have that guy in your shop.
Right.
But if you are literally trying to Band-Aid something to get back on track, it's not your guy.
Right.
Because he just shut it down. Where, like, me, I'm like, bro, chew up Bubblicious and put it on the radiator cap and, like, let's go. We're going to win.
Crack an egg in that bitch and let's send it. Let's go.
Between
we were super competitive, so that's just your style.
Yeah. But Orion, we met him when they came up here, and it's so funny, rumor mill, but I had no clue who Orion was, period, because I mean, obviously I know what the internet is, but I didn't YouTube, I didn't do anything, I didn't care, like, use YouTube for me if, like, I needed to figure out a problem, like, oh, hey, changing a head gasket because I don't know what I'm doing on this motor.
Yeah.
You fake it till you make it, and you go on YouTube, and you're like, oh, yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
And you watch some dude whose his opinion is how you do it, right? So, whatever. You did those sort of things. But at the track, somebody was like, hey, do you because we were there soliciting Takeover, our event, and I was like, just talking to anybody, and they're like, hey, you need to go get that guy, he's a YouTuber. And I was like, oh, cute. Like, cute.
Yeah.
YouTuber. You're like, what the fuck does that mean?
Like
I was
the
like,
guy
I have no
with
clue.
the GoPro in their face, like, hey,
hey guys,
guys.
Like, here, filming my stuff today, look at me. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And then, but somebody was like, oh, Quentin's over there too. And I was like, oh, Quentin, yeah, I want to go talk to Quentin because I want him to come to the event. He's also a YouTuber. Whatever, could care less though. And then I got over there, and before you know it, like, as we call ourselves Team Shambles now, because, like, we know the ins and outs of, like, how we do everything, but their whole program was pretty much shambles, and they were here trying to compete for, a Pro-Am license to try to run Formula Drift. So,
Pro 2
license.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Recognized.
Right? The latter.
Yeah, bitch.
So, I just went over there and I offered as much help as I could for some guys that, didn't have much going or, did need the help or didn't. I don't know.
Hey man, I'm broke. I could use the help.
Right, dude. I am broke also,
dude.
and I could use some help.
Hey, dude.
But yeah, I don't know. I met him, and we became friends, and we've become better friends, and
Yeah, I like Orion. Everybody has their mixed opinions, but I actually like the guy. He's always been super cool to me. We've done some tandems and stuff, and we've always gotten along. So
I didn't even know he was a YouTuber until like halfway through the season. I was like announcing and stuff, and I was just like, okay, Orion. They're like, that's the YouTube guy. I'm like, okay. Like,
yeah,
be that as it may, like, whatever. Like,
I didn't even know, like, YouTube was that big until, like, literally Orion, because I watch YouTube, like, for informational stuff, and so Tori was like, oh, he sent me the video, and he's like, oh, come in this guy's video. I'm like, okay, I'm on YouTube too, you know, like, it wasn't a big deal to me. But, yeah, I mean, I guess when you have a big following, and...
Yeah, it can be a really big deal.
Yeah. Like, what's that? The most famous one guy that
LZ?
No,
TJ Hunt?
No, not TJ Hunt. It's
Ken
like,
Block?
not even car related. He just has a weird name.
Well, then we don't know. We're car guys. What are you watching? You watching
Pop something? Or?
No, you're talking about. Oh my gosh!
Like literally the biggest YouTuber. Like the most famous one, basically.
PewDiePie?
PewDiePie.
So that's the guy. So yeah.
Leave Brittany alone.
So yeah. So he's the only one that I like semi knew about, and apparently my stepdaughter used to watch him and stuff. And so like I knew that he got paid, but I didn't realize that all these other people were getting paid. And I was like, and then I kind of got inspired, and I was like, nah.
Yeah, but then we came in way too late.
Yeah.
We came in way too late because now to monetize it, it's like this ridiculous thing.
No, I don't think you're too late. Honestly, I think if it's a dream or a goal or something you feel like you can obtain, you should try. The problem with YouTube is now, and this is where we get banned for talking about it, is they're so far leftist in how they control and deem what you're making content and making money on is a very small. So they've changed a lot of algorithms on how payments are being made. Okay. Because they can literally say, oh, there was fire. Right. Oh my gosh, he said bullet. Right. Or, oh, and you're like, oh, yellow ring of death, which yellow ring means you're not making nothing. You know, you're trying to stay green. So you're like, well, what the frick is happening here? And it's nothing that you did. It's just like funniest video ever. We make, I don't even remember what it's called now, but we have 40 airbags under the front of a car. We're going to try basically see if we can like put hydraulics on the car by using airbags.
Dope.
And we're like, okay, cool. Do we blow all the airbags at once? Car shoots literally like 6 feet in the air. It was wild. Yeah. Well, in our content, we totally put Chow under an airbag in a seat, right? So we're like, because you see those videos where you're like, oh, hey, dude, your friend walks in the room, you don't realize there's an airbag on the seat, you hit it, and it blows him through the ceiling. Yeah. We're like, dude, we need to do that. And Chow willingly's like, I'll do it. And so I'm like, hell yeah.
Chow's like Steve-O, right? It's just like, he got this dumb idea.
Let's do it. And Chow's like, fine. Well, we have a yellow ring of death, basically. It's not making any money. And we're like, what the heck? Why? And it was basically, the saying was like, due to behavior in the video, which was us shooting Chow in the air, it was inappropriate or whatever. And we're like, all right, well, you throw away 500,000 views, and that sucks because...
Like, it's hilarious.
That's, not only hilarious, but it's income. You're like, oh, man, and you get nothing for that.
Right.
And it's not even that it was bad. It was just deemed by them inappropriate.
Right.
Sucks.
Yeah, it totally sucks.
Yeah. So. But then I guess you hope that like keeps people around. Like people see that, then they want to watch other stuff. And hopefully, I mean that's the only best case scenario that comes out of that when you get your quote yellow ring of death.
Yeah, yellow rings.
No so problem. Like, who are you, man? What brought you into drifting? How do we all know you? What's the deal?
Okay, local track guy. I don't know. My buddy James Lovelace. Nobody probably knows him here. He had an 89 240. I remember in 2002 he did a swap on the car, and I'm like, "You're doing a swap? What's that mean?" Right? I was into BMWs. I've been a BMW guy my whole life. Like, this is what I was into, right? Yeah, right. Sorry, whatever. But I was just into BMWs. So I have an E36, and he's like, "No, dude, it's gonna be so cool. I'm getting this motor literally from Japan at this place in California that's shipping it up." And I'm like, "You're what? You're doing what?" And he's like, "Dude, it's gonna be awesome. It's turbo." And I was like, "Cool story, dude." And so before you know, he's this little SR20 DET here, and I'm like, "Oh wow!"
In like 02.
Yeah,
that's a big deal.
Big deal.
Huge
deal. This is where
I'm
going with this, right? So I'm like, this is wild. Like, And him and his dad do the whole swap, put it in the car. And then before you know it, like, my buddy, he's like half white and half Asian as fuck. And he's like watching all these like weird Japanese car videos that are translated into English. And I was like, what are you always watching, dude? He's like, oh, dude, he's drifting. And I was like, huh. Like, these videos are wild, dude. Just so
straight up like the option videos and shit.
Videos.
Yeah,
that's where we're going.
Yeah.
So option videos, and I was like, dude, that's wild. And like my buddy's like, yeah, dude, like these guys just throw it in this, that, and that, and like cars that you looked at that were just rad, you just probably couldn't obtain then were like, you know, your Toyota Supra, FD-ARC-7, like just, you know, cool Japanese cars. NSXs, and he's like the biggest fan of like those cars. But you know, he has his little S13 and he paints it panda, and I'm like, dude, painting a panda, whatever. So I show up one day, he's got like a black front bumper, black hood, the car's white, and I was like, this is wild, dude. Like, what are we doing? Car fires up from him and his dad doing the swap, and we go out and he shows me what drifting is. And it was pretty much ever since that day I was
you were just hooked.
Yeah, I was like, wow, we're doing this on purpose. And I just remember like so vivid. Too bad he's not listening, but he's like, dude, we're gonna go Choco Taco, Seaway Boulevard. And I was like, what the heck does this mean? He's like, dude, just get in the car. And I was like, all right. And we're doing about 80 cars, just like buried.
Yeah, get in, pussy.
He literally like just hucked it sideways, and I just remember the car like, oh, I thought we were gonna die because, you know, like, you guys are familiar with Seaway Boulevard at Boeing, right? Yep. So there's the embankment that goes into the would that be the west parking lot, right? Yeah. So you're looking at the building, right. And I just remember it's like he hucks it because we came off of Boeing Freeway onto Seaway. It's like the big right bender, right. Yeah, and like he gets off that and just literally hucks it, and we're looking at the mound, and I'm like, you didn't tell me what we were doing. And I was just like, oh no, we're dying. Like, he's spinning out, and then you know, the car grips up, dude, and he's going the other way, and we're like manging Seaway, and I was like, I'm just over here crapping myself, and I'm like, no, we're dying, because, you know, like in the BMW, dude, if you're doing that, we're dying. Like, you're not catching that, you're not living.
Where are you taking me?
Yeah, where are you not having now, dude? We're 20. This is not cool.
No helmets, nothing. Just standard seatbelts.
Yep, in a Nissan that we just did a motor swap on.
Sketchy.
Yeah, so that was my first experience drifting, like literally it, and changed my life, and I wasn't into drifting any more than I thought I was retarded, because I was like, dude, like, come on, you're not doing that again, like with me in the car. And I literally got out of the car, I was done, and I got in my buddy's Subaru. No, seriously, yeah, got in my buddy's Subaru and was like, I just talked shit about it the whole way home. I was like, that was not cool, no warning, like I was almost mad, you know. I was like,
yeah.
You didn't tell me I was
early,
gonna die.
Early 2000s, you said?
Yeah, 2002.
That's
like, I got in so late.
OG shit.
Yeah, I graduated in 01, and he did that swap right after we graduated.
You graduated in 01? Okay, so yeah, you're only 3 years older than I am. Okay.
Yeah, it was pretty wild.
That's fucking, I'm old as shit.
Yeah, you guys are old as shit, damn. Yeah. I'm the baby here?
No, you're in your 30s now. You're still old
31, but I'm the baby here.
Well, yeah.
37
bigger than me, so you look older.
Yeah, that's where, like, the drifting started, but then, like, I don't know, just becoming, like, Boeing back in the day had autocross clubs.
Yeah.
And so, like, I'd go do those, you know, because, like, we knew a guy who was involved with them. So he'd just say, oh, bring out your BMW. It's fun.
Yeah, that's when they actually wanted people to, like, hang out. And people were like, wow, this place is a good place to work. They want us to hang out.
Get together.
Yeah.
Like, wow, this is weird.
Wow,
so
camaraderie.
I remember doing that, and then that got me into some, like, BMW. I remember the first car club I joined was BMW North America or something like that. And we did a couple autocross events. I want to say it was Bremerton or something like that back in the day.
Yeah. Bremerton had a huge autocross thing,
right?
Yeah.
And then we did a couple events at Pacific Raceways, and then like that just hooked me on driving. Like,
that was before they closed it down for drifting, right?
Yeah, but that was just for like autocross, not even autocross, but it was just grip driving. Driving. So that's where I was like, oh man, I love this car, BMW. Sick. And then just started driving a lot, and that was like what we did. And then we started a couple of dumb car clubs, you know, and you know, like I had every one of my friends buying a BMW because they're like, oh, dude, your M3 is sweet. I remember buying my first car was like an E36 M3, and it was.
Oh jeez.
Oh,
yeah,
no,
dude,
why?
Dude, everybody calls me.
Yeah, you got so many friends.
Silent, dude. Stop.
All your friends just trying to call you.
Right, and then
he's popular, guys.
I wish.
He's going to the Taylor Swift show tonight, so.
Oh, dude, I love Taylor
Post
Swift.
alone after that.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to hang out with Post first, and then we'll have drinks, and then we'll go.
Dude, can I join?
Yes. But so basically that's where it all starts, is just back in the day. And then I don't recall, it's so long ago, but like the first time I went to Evergreen for a drift event was probably with my buddy James in his car. It was an open drift. I would like to say it was probably 04, 05.
So it was when they were doing the drift and drags, right?
Yep,
yeah.
drift and drags. Yeah, so that's how old that was.
I still wish I would have gotten into drifting sooner. Like, I saw it when I was 18, I think. I was in high school. I think I saw it on TV. I don't know if it was FD or what, but I saw these little parking lot, like, just screeching around their tandem and whatever. I was like, oh, that looks cool, and I just didn't think anything of it. I always liked cars and wheeling and whatever, and like, I just was like, not a big deal. And like, shit, fucking 10 years later, here I am drifting.
Right,
so
in the middle of it all.
I would have totally done, like, I played baseball through high school. Like, Ben played hockey, I played baseball, and I got burnt out. I wish I would have just pursued cars. I would have probably...
Well, it would have been different, you know. Then you would have got burnt out on cars early, and then you would have been like some old aging dude like, hey, maybe I could get into rec league and play softball.
Yeah, well, maybe. I don't know, because I was more... Like, I loved cars. Like, I loved everything about cars. Like, whether it was, like, just being behind a wheel. I just, like, driving.
Yeah.
And I wasn't like that for baseball. I was, like... There was days where I loved it, and there was days where I just hated it.
Well, you were good at it, right?
I was good at baseball,
so it was just natural for you to want to do something that you were good at and like keep pursuing. Not even like pursuing it. It just kind of is a natural course of things. Like, okay, well, I'm just going to keep doing this because it feels familiar. I'm good at it, so might as well. And then it's just one day you're like, yeah, well, I did that, so that was fun.
Yeah.
Like, next chapter, please.
Yeah, that's basically what it was. But yeah, I feel like a BMW is good for anything.
Yeah,
it's like a golden car.
They've slowly become like great for drifting, but like back in the they have like the spec BMWs and shit like that, and it's just like
E30
as far as
or
just
E36,
hopping in low buck autocross cars, just like do that.
Except for a rear subframe, just tear out. Like, it's an actual legit thing.
But it's
I've been in two cars where they on track ripped out, and I was like, it's vicious. Dope. Yeah, it's terrible. And then,
did it pogo?
Yeah,
did it pogo 100%. Up in the air? Hell yeah.
One did. Yeah, it was wild. And then the other thing too is second gear, and all those cars would blow out. Yeah. Second gear, you just like power shift, boom, gone. You're like, what just happened? Like, I've been so many of my buddies' cars where they're like, dude, check out, I got my new car. And you're like, yeah, hit second. Boom! You're like, dude, you blew up second. Dude, it won't go in second. I'm like, yeah, you blew up second.
Yeah, you shouldn't have done that, dude.
So you get first to third, dude. You got a car.
Once the rear subframe blows out, you can't replace it.
No, it's done. They literally rip out. Yeah,
totally. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's why they say, like, do that before you even, like, consider drifting them. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. But I'm sure if you had some crazy Dylan Hughes-ish guy or, like, some master fabricator, they could
put it back together.
I'm sure there's a way. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
there's a way to do everything. But it's just not worth
it's
it.
Not
especially,
worth it.
When you can pick up those cars for nothing.
Yeah, you can get an E36 chassis for, like, non-running $300, $400.
Yeah, if that.
Pretty cheap.
A lot of people are like, please get this out of my yard. Yeah. Like, now. Okay.
So you run Takeover Northwest, right?
Yes. Tyler and I, my little brother.
What started that fire? Like, what? I remember 3 years ago now, you came up to me like, man, I would love to have you come to this event, and I really wanted to go. My car was like running on like 2 psi of oil, and I was like, I really wanted to go, but I was like, I got to make it through the season, and so I decided not going. And because I already had a
rebuild. That was that first year, right?
Yeah, that was the first year. There was like 10 people that showed up. And I remember seeing the videos, and I just remembered, like, even the 10 people that were there, like, you guys have to come to this track. You guys have to come to this track. And so I just remember missing out, and I was like, next year I went, and I got hooked after that. But, like, what started that whole thing? Like, tell us
okay,
about
so
that.
in general in life, like, I just like, is it the right word?
Pleasing people?
Yeah, camaraderie.
Yeah, I feel like that's the kind of person you are.
It's just literally, like, it's from my mom and my dad. It's just, like, I think unity within, like, the human species is just lost. And what I had seen in the car scene from, like, being back in the day into, like, most people wouldn't even know this, but, like, car stereo king. Like, I loved car stereos, right?
Yeah.
High school.
That's me.
Biggest car stereos ever. Yeah. You're like, you had $10,000 in car stereo. I'm like, yeah. I did. I literally worked jobs just to make sure I had 4 15s in my trunk, That's hilarious. And you're like, I hit 143 decibels. I'm like, dude, I want more. And you're like, but your back window fell out. And you're like, I know, it's wild. You're like, wow. So there's like that scene, and then you get into like car show scene, which I did evolve from that into that, and I was like, man, so many people are so cool, but then there's just like guys who don't like each other's stuff.
It's nuts.
And those guys are dickheads. They're just rude. They're mean. You know, like, you don't have a BMW, so I'm going to be a dick to you. And you're like, well, dude has $100,000 in his Integra. Like, it's not your cup of tea, but you don't have to make fun of him. It's not that cool.
Right.
No, yeah.
To make fun of him.
The car is... It's nuts. The car show stuff is nuts.
It's pretty nuts.
Because, like, I had muscle cars and stuff, and if you go to the muscle car scene, it's worse.
Yeah, it gets wild also. So you go through those two, and for me, I was like, man, it's just so weird every time, like, you know, as my mom would say, like, just stay positive on things, and life's outcomes better. If you're a negative person, you just have a lot of negativity in your life. So you're like, wow, dude, everybody's so negative, and you jump out of that scene, because I was done with it, and I'm like, oh. So I got into like track day stuff with the BMWs, and I was like, wow, this is a fun group of guys, because everybody's interest is like definitely the same, and everybody's like a little bit more willing to help, because like, oh, dude, we want to run, you know, with you, or my car's faster than yours, but I want you on track to prove it, blah 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 blah. And you're like, oh, this is sort of fun. And I sort of leaned more towards that group of guys. They're older, and they were into like nicer cars, and it just evolved into where like, wow, I really like the race scene. Stayed there, and then drifting comes along, and you're like, dang, man, these guys are wild and cool. But for me, the very beginning of drifting was, man, these guys are sort of in their own ways, you know. You're like, ugh.
It's almost like a combination of both the car show scene and the racing scene, because like, you got a bunch of guys that are like, yeah, let's do this and do this and do this, but then there's still like these cliquey fuckers.
Yeah, because then there's the other group that's like, well, if you're not doing what we're doing exactly too, you're dumb. And you're like, well, I don't want to do what you're doing because you're doing it. So you take all those in the realm of things, and, you know, for us, we were like, dude, we need to throw an event, and within that event, we need to make it so everybody is just chill. Like, cool, can respect one another, have fun, and in order to do that, you got to create the atmosphere for it. And we were like, dude, but how much cooler would it be to throw, like, you know, racing, car show, dancing, all that. And well, before you know it, you start looking on the internet, because the internet's awesome, and you're like, oh wow, there's events out there like that. And for us, it was Gateville, you know, over in Norway. It was in Oslo, and long story short, you know, that's where like my family's from. They're literally from, it's called Hudal or whatever, and it's just outside.
Yeah, it's got the dots over like all the halls.
Yeah,
and
it's
shit.
so weird, right? And then my brother, being supercar guy, also was like, hey, Brandon, Dad wants to go to Norway to go see the family, but the biggest car event in the world's literally like an hour away. And I was like, what do you mean? I didn't even know about like what Gateville was.
Right.
And I'm like, really? And he goes, check this out. And before what I saw, I was like, wow, it's road racing, it's drifting, it's like a big party, it's all the things that we had been saying, like, we just need to do. And we hosted like parking lot meets all the time. Like, we'd always get our friends together and be like, hey, you guys meet us at Game Art. Like, we're just hanging out until you get kicked out by the cops. So we already had like that going, and we were like, dang. So take all those, try to put it in one, and you get, you know, how we came up with Takeover, I don't really know. It was sort of like the attitude of like, man, if we could just take over all the scenes and put them in one, you know, what would it be?
Yeah, because there's no like big events like in the Northwest region, so that would be
not anymore.
No,
they've dwindled.
Yeah, and there's like a couple of years where there was nothing. It's like, you know, there was nobody like kind of in charge of that, or like to take the reins, because all the old boys kind of they died off or got quiet, and they just kind of didn't want to do anything. They were a little bit burnt out, and then it was just like kind of waiting for someone new to step up, and you're just like, well, we're inspired, man.
Yeah,
like,
it was.
That's what it seemed like. Like, yeah, we just need to do something. So like, you know, that's when everyone started getting wind of like Got Bill. And like what was going on there, and then you had like the grid life started up, and you're just like, well, this is cool. And then, you know, a bunch of like the kind of bashes, like All-Star Bash is always a thing, but then there's like No Coast Bash and stuff like that. It's like, well, we need a big bash event, like something that is a party afterwards. You know, you're not just looking forward to the driving, but then there's a party afterwards where everyone gets to blow off steam, gets to hang out, gets to party, and it's just like, yeah, well, that's where Takeover came in and took over the Northwest, right, man?
Yeah, I mean, that was sort of the attitude that we wanted, and just to make it so it was just, you know, an event that everybody could just hang out and have fun and not compete. You know, like everybody's like, oh, dude, you should throw a competition, and it's like one of the hardest things that we talk about every year. We're like, should we throw a one-day competition and turn it into like 4 hours of like a top 16. Like you already know sort of like who's going to do what a little bit.
Yeah.
Like over 3 years of watching every drive, we know we could probably put, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy in it, and we could probably have a really fun like 16 battle or even 8. But it's, man.
That's like my weekend to get away and just let loose.
No, yeah,
exactly it.
Because that's when all the pro-am guys, and last year we had more pro level, so pro 2 guys showing up and pro 1 guys even showing up, and it was just like, man, like this is just a good let off steam event, because I always need one of those a year if I'm competing and stuff. Like
Same.
I need one of those like blow off some steam, remember why I love this thing, and it's just like, man, like
Same.
like if nothing else, just for that track, like just for that track, like this is absolutely worth it. Like I think the second year I showed up was when leading up to it that week, I had the engine out of the car like 10 times because it was just acting stupid. It was like a new build.
An issue with the transmission.
Yeah, it wouldn't go into gear.
Yeah.
So
I didn't know why, and it was like I did everything right. It was just being stupid, and it got stuck between reversed and first is what ended up happening. And so I like rage fisted it into reverse, and it like started working, but the oil pan was leaking, and so I'm like, well, I'll just fix it at the track, and then just pressed on, like went out there.
Caught fire.
No, this year was the year I caught fire. Yeah. Last year was the one where I was under the car for the first 4 hours of the day, taking a full tube of right stuff and basically sealing my oil pan with it. That was just like, right. Like eventually it worked, because like, I mean, I try my best.
And didn't you have to like cut a golf tee and plug it into something?
That was this year.
That was this year too?
That was my
everything was this year.
Carburetor.
Yeah, like I try not to be a dipshit, and like that track is like, it's very, very, it is a
demanding
fucking world-class facility, one. So like I'm trying not to like destroy it with like oil leaks or anything, and so like, yes, year 2, like I got it good enough, went out there, and I think I got like maybe a dozen laps, but it was still like worth it. And then last year was when I caught on fire because I dropped one of the bolts out of my fuel bowl, and it was the secondary fuel bowl, so it's at the aft of the engine, it was at the top. So when I got on throttle and fuel like kind of sloshed back, it would slosh up and out of there, and what's right behind the carburetor? The distributor. So it like splash right on there and catch fire, and it was at night, and it was just like, whoa, this is fucking cool, but I don't know why it's doing it. So I kept doing laps to try and figure out why it was doing it.
Yeah.
And then like, come to find out, like I'm missing a bolt, and we're like in butt fuck dead center Oregon. So it's just like, like the Napa should have it, right? And like the track owner was just like, no, Napa's not gonna have shit. And I was like, okay. And so like I was talking to track owner Bill Murray, and I was just like, well, okay, I think I know how to fix it. He's like, no, I know. What you do is you get a golf tee, and you just smash that fucker in that hole, and that'll hold tight. And I'm like, a fucking golf tee, Bill? I'm like thinking about like shreds of like wood are gonna go on my jets, just gonna fuck my day up. I'm like, no. And so I like go back and thinking about it, and I find a pop rivet that's the same size, like squeeze rivet, and a O-ring. And so I put the O-ring under the rivet and squeeze it in the hole, and it fits perfect. I'm like, that's gonna seal, that's gonna keep fuel in there. Hey Bill, check this out, look what I did. And I showed him, and like he's like, oh, is that a rivet with an O-ring? It's no golf tee, but whatever you could do. I'm like, this is better than a fucking golf tee, Bill, but whatever.
This looks good too.
Like, don't talk shit about like MGs or something like that, or British racing cars. Leave me alone, then.
Well, shit. I mean, me and you had some really good time. Me, you, and Tori went out for a couple laps.
Oh my god, it was so much fun.
I was just looking at those videos this past week, and I was just like, man, because I was trying to post it on the Northwest Driftcast, and I couldn't get it from Facebook onto my phone. But now I'll get it up from my laptop onto my phone. I need to post those videos. But God, I had so much fun with you and Tori.
We need to get that our Instagram like cracking with a bunch of that stuff. Like we always talk about shit during the show and then forget to like post it to social media.
Yeah,
I think that'd be a little more enticing for viewers to then like see what we're talking about. But like those videos are like super cool. Like trying to go as fast as we could into like turn 1 and stuff like that. I think Tori clicked in at like 130 when he was doing a solo run.
Oh yeah,
god damn, that's crazy.
And he completely flat spotted his tires. And
last year was wild because just like the competition aspect of whatnot. And I just remember Andy Hatley saying, dude, Hately. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, sorry, 80.
Orange car.
30. And he's like, dude, my car's never ran so good. This is wild. He's like, if I could just run like this in FD, like I'd win events. And I was like, yeah, well, you just need to have fun. And and that's just what he said. He's like, yeah, it's cool to come to like this event so relaxed. We get to do what we want when we want and just go out and have fun. And then it turned into somebody, I think it was Chase Schmidt in his 36. He came into corner one at like just so fast. Well, dude, and Andy looks over and he's like, can we do that? And I was like, yeah, you can do whatever you want, dude.
Coffin had been doing it since year one. And
right?
It's nuts, right? Because we run the drifting and we do like the grip stuff.
Yep.
And so you hear the grip guys, man, and they are ripping on that front straight, and you're like, God, that looks fun to go that fast. And then all of a sudden, it's just like, I thought this was the drift group. And it's like, no, it is the drift group. And it's Kaufman going in and initiating, like, basically at, like, the track entrance. And you're like,
what are you doing?
Like, where do you put your balls in your car, dude? Like, what the fuck? And so, like, yeah, last year it was Chase Schmidt who was going in as fast as he could and hucking the car. And so everyone was just like, okay, gauntlets down, dude.
Yeah, so Andy jumps in his car and he's like, dude, I could go faster. And I was like, there's no way you're going faster. That hump, dude, you're going to jump it. So Andy jumps out there, and he's like, dude, he's just like, I got this. Put my drone up. So we're like, all right, well, man, your drone. And Andy puts up a pretty fun video. And, I mean, it sums the event pretty well, I thought. And he hits that thing at just rev limiter, going over the crest. And it just, he hucks it for so far. And I'm standing at where Andy hucks it with Matt Kaufman. And Matt's like, Andy didn't just do that. And I was like, yeah. I was like, you ain't going to let him do that, right? And like you said, Kaufman from year one was like, he'd been doing that. And like, I think that sort of was what caught on. And Matt's like, all right, I'm going to jump out there. And so Matt runs to his car, gets in it. And all I heard was like, the car go off track when you come onto the front straight. So there's that little left back. And you looked over and it looked like somebody had blown up their car. And it was just a puff of smoke and dirt and whatever. Yeah. And I was like, what just happened? And before you know it, Matt comes around the corner and he's just stayed in it, blowing off track, and he crests the little jump, I'm going to call it, for Matt, because when he blew off track at however fast he did and his car broke, he was like, came back with his story, just, you know, shit-eating grin. He's like, dude, I let go of the steering wheel because I had no grip. So basically what he says, when he hit the little crest, like the car jumped, and that's when he came down. He thought he broke an arm or whatever, and he shot super far on the field. And I was like, dude, man, our event is wild. And the fact that we're A, allowing this to happen, and B, these guys want to do this,
right?
Like, yeah. So if Zach Farrar is listening, no 360 drifts into corner one out of 140.
Which
can't have that anymore.
That was
anymore.
We can still have that. But Zach didn't drive this year, and the whole time he was there, he's just like, "Why don't I have a car? Why don't I have a car? Why don't I have a car? Why don't I have a car?
Yeah.
I need my car. I need my car," because he was in the middle of building his build. So I was like, "Yeah, no, be careful," because he's like, "Dude, world record says 183 into a corner for a drift," and I was like, "Nah." Not here, dude. Please, like, but you can.
Yeah, no.
If you want, you can drive.
That's not the spot, just because of that crest.
Yeah, the crest, dude. You jump it.
Bad idea.
Yeah.
It'd be hilarious. Like, I'd watch it.
Me too.
Yeah.
It's wild.
That track's amazing.
Yeah, if that track had a penis, it would be, like, in my throat right now. I fucking love it so much.
Likewise. If there was, like, I was saying, like, if there's 2 events a year that I could go to, and it was only at Takeover, I would go both times and skip everything else.
Yeah, which I appreciate. Yeah, the hardest part to sell Takeover or any event sort of like it is okay, we pick a location that's, you know, pretty far away. Hence, that's why we try to, you know, we're trying to throw a 3-day event, but, you know, make it so everybody can do it. The track's so big, it's hard to drive 3 days.
Well, tires.
You mean your tire consumption? You like blow a set of tires every time you go out. So it's really hard.
If you go hard and you're like, well, yeah, if you go like, 75% in the car, you could destroy a set of tires in a lap.
If I drifted the whole track with my triangles, and they last a long time, I wouldn't make it a whole lap.
Right.
No.
There's no way.
But the hardest thing as we deal with is for the event even is just, you guys have both come and you guys are both advocates and we love it and we appreciate it. So any kind words, we love, guys. But it's just the vision until you get there, you don't get it. You know what I mean? It's sort of like the hard thing. You know what I mean? I remember year one, you know, Eddie and I was like not a big Eddie fan after I talked to him for a minute. I love Eddie to death now, but it was like, dude, why are you doing this? And it's, you know, like so far away and blah, 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 blah. And it was like one of my first interactions I had with you. That was like, other than knowing you through Matt, right? And
that's how I met you, was through Matt.
Yeah, it wasn't even that he was talking shit, but it was like, I felt that way a little bit. Like,
yeah, no, like, he was talking shit about your kid, basically. He's like, why is your kid so far out there?
Yeah, you're like, and I'm like, oh man,
I don't want to hang out with that kid.
I said, what? I remember this conversation. I was like, so why are you doing this? I was like, why are you throwing this out? Like, what? And I didn't mean it in a mean way. I was just like, what inspired you to do this? Like, why are you doing this so far away? Like, why are you throwing this huge event with so many cars? Like, I just figured, I kind of looked at it from a business perspective, like, why don't you kind of start small, like, just throw the event without, like, a big concert. Like, that's where I was looking at it from. But I could see what you're trying to do now.
He went ham right out the gate with that concert.
Yeah, he went ham. Awesome. And I reflect on it now, I can see what he's trying to do. He's trying to get people to come in. That's a good, smart thing to do. Like, looking at it from a business perspective, is get people in there and, you know, get people excited about it. So, you did the right thing. I feel like you did an awesome job doing that.
Yeah, it was hard for me and Tyler because we were like, dude, where do you spend the money? And for me, I don't know if it's true or not. It's just my own feelings on how I've done my whole life. Is like, sometimes when people see flashy, they're like, I want to be part of it, you know, rather than like, oh, that looked like it was okay. And so year one, I mean, I did probably go too hard because like the big stage, I mean, year two we went bigger, but year one was sort of a little overkill for sure, because I think even year three, which it was the smallest it was most intimate. Like, and everybody worked out great, other than the wind. Wow, wind was terrible.
I didn't go to the concert.
No matter what year, the nature is trying to murder us in some way,
right?
Whether it's like fire or wind,
or
but like
sun or wind,
whatever it is. But it's just like, whatever. That's just part of like the charm, I guess.
Yeah. So just getting people to see. Or, you know, because everybody that comes wanted to come back. So like, we do that well.
It's word of mouth.
It's just like, getting you to come out the first time, because it's just that thought of like, why are you guys doing this? What is it? Like, how? And like, you know, my buddies who came last year that didn't come the first 2 years, they're my best friends. They were like both done, and they called me and they're like, Brandon, I didn't realize how cool it could be without a car. I thought it was just a drive. And I was like, no, you can get in people's cars. You can do whatever you want. You can go. Like, I mean,
it's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So
right? Like, go kick, like, I mean, the track is so big, but there's so many like cool vantage points, especially like just the half pipe area. Just sitting there and watching that, it's just like, because I mean, both years I've ran out of tire and like gone down, or ran out of tire, broke, whatever. Right. But I've gone down and like watching the half pipe, and I'm like, this is just fucking breathtaking. Right. Like,
it really is
beautiful.
It really is. Like last year, I could have probably borrowed some tires from Orion and driven the half pipe, but I decided to just watch. I put my car on the trailer and just watched. I was like, fuck, I wish I would have driven. Like, just like standing there, and you're like, it looks like you're looking straight down at the half pipe in the grandstands.
It is like full on like an X Games half pipe. Yeah. Like, I mean, you can look at it as much as you want, but like, thank whoever that like Bill Murray has like the balls to like take us on that sight lap,
right?
Because like the first year I went there, I was like, yeah, whatever, like, because he gets up there and he's standing in front of all the racers. He's like, you know, I got 23 years of motorsports experience, and if I had to rebuild this track, I wouldn't change a damn thing. And I'm like, who is this guy? Fuck is this guy? Then he tells me his name is Bill fucking Murray. I'm like, the Groundhog Day guy? I'm like, fuck this, man. Like, whatever. So he's like, yeah, we're going to go on a sight lap because it's, it can get real dangerous out there. And I'm like, okay, whatever, dude.
Right.
And
it's a racetrack.
But the fucking second we get out there, we're talking about this crest and people catching air. We come over it and come down, and when I regain sight of the track, it is going hard right, and I'm like, I should fucking listen to this guy.
Right.
And he stops basically at every turn, because like at turn one, he was like, yeah, there's like 21 turns or 23 turns or something. 19 of them are blind, and they can kill you. And I'm like, yo, he's fucking telling the truth, son. Yeah. Like, all right, okay. And so we're like looking like, man, like everyone talked about that half pipe and half pipe and half pipe, and like just getting down there and driving the car, not even at speed, but trying to drive it up to like the heights of the half pipe. It takes effort, and it's like, oh my god, like it's insane. And like this year I figured out I could go so fast into that thing. Like so fast in that thing, and it'll just hold you. And I'm like, this is so badass. This is so cool.
Yeah, you could literally huck it as hard as you can into that half pipe, and like you won't go off track.
Right. Seriously, like as hard as you can, and you're just like, like test its limits, test it, try it, because it's just gonna laugh at you.
Because it's not even just the banking; it's like the actual track itself.
The track surface is nuts, and it's so cool because, like, I mean, and you talk about like a track that like can and will kill you, and this one, depending on if you're like on the inside or outside of a corner, the track is two totally different animals.
Yeah.
Because like it's especially it's the turn. It's like the right hander coming out of the half pipe. So
Like the off camber.
you get out of the half pipe and then you go and you can throw a quick manji in and there's a right hander.
Right.
And if you're on the inside of it, it's on camber. It's holding you in.
Right.
If you're mid to outside, it is off camber and it's going to send you in the fucking field.
Yeah.
And I went in the field so many goddamn times because I was trying to do the Kaufman line through it. Because if you like late apex the second half of the half pipe, you can carry and you can huck the car and you don't have to manji. And I was like, well, I'm trying to do that, but I kept going to the outside of the next turn. It kept just taking me in the dirt. And I'm like, well, this is stupid. I don't understand why. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'm just a fucking moron. Yeah. I have tiny balls. Matt Kaufman, huge balls.
Giant balls.
Huge balls.
He sits on them.
Huge.
He literally sits on them. He has a custom seat, and he sits on his balls, for sure.
So you guys started that event, it's been 3 years now?
3 years,
This was the third year. 2018 was the third year.
Well, how many-
19 was the third
How
year.
many years of like planning did it take? Did you guys are like 6 months in or just like, yeah, fuck it, let's do this and just threw money in, or was it like years of planning?
Well, so Tyler does Young Life, and he's driven by that track for a long time, driving out to Antelope, Oregon. And so he's known about the track for like 9 years. And I want to say it was probably, I don't know, the 5th year that he drove by. And he's like, dude, like we should do something here. And I was like, yeah, we should. But then we talked about it for 2 years, and it just became a point in time where I was like, tell everybody, you got to just quit talking about it and just do it. So I was like, we're doing it. We're literally doing it. And I had my Mark IV Toyota Supra, which was like my baby. And I was like, I'm going to sell it. And he's like, what do you mean? I was like, I'm going to sell my car. Like, we're going to use the money to start this event.
Damn.
And he was like, dude, you're wild. And I was like, no, this is literally what it means to me. I was like, my prized car. And I was like, I'm just going to sell it. And he's like, are you sure? So, yeah, that was sort of just me just saying, let's do it. If you don't do it now, it's going to be too late. And if we just keep talking about it, well, we're just going to have to keep...
Yeah.
We're just going to keep talking about it.
Just think about what could have been, right?
Yeah, exactly. So we started it, and I think Eddie said 10 cars the first year. There was actually 17.
Yeah, Eddie.
Yeah,
fuck.
Eddie. Jeez. But, yeah, first year was wild because we did have 17 cars. It was on... Did you come out the first year?
Yeah,
you've been there every year. That's right.
And I've yelled at you to put some fucking stickers on my car and give me some support.
Dude,
you keep getting the wrong people.
Right.
Motherfucker.
You remember first year when we battled the Eclipse? Remember the first year was the Eclipse.
Yeah, the solar eclipse.
The solar eclipse scare.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
You
remember
so
that?
bad. Yes.
So we fought that,
dude. Because I remember because it was exactly it was the pinnacle of where the eclipse could be is right there.
99%.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
So we were like, well, dude, we're becoming literally rich, or it's not working out. Well, the problem was like we had literally, I think it was 19 cars, and I want to say we had 82 people show up. And that was including like me. That's our staff. Because we were like, damn, we didn't do this right. Like we saw.
Yeah, it's including the staff and the Burger
like,
King who performed. And
literal.
shit.
Yeah, you were like, man, you didn't see it like as a failure, but like I didn't see the success because I was like, well, you worry about your pocketbook a little bit, but I was like, whatever. But you're like, man, this is. I'm at the track. We've been driving with everybody. You're there and you're trying to tell your peers, like, hey, you should come out. We're going to throw this event. I don't throw it for me, right? Like, I want to throw it for buddy. There's something. And you just got to figure that out. But year one, we do the Eclipse, and we just didn't get the turnout. So year two was sort of scary. You're like, man, are we doing this again? It was sort of a, like, did it work? And I was like, yeah, we got 5 years, the way I look at a lot of things. 5 years. I need 5 years. And we'll know a lot in the third. So year two comes, and we're like, wow, we had, I want to say 38 cars or 32 cars. We damn near doubled. Yeah. And we doubled our people that came. We had 200 people.
Dang.
And it was pretty wild.
Yeah.
Granted, it's not enough.
Well, because
it's just literally not enough.
The first year, it's like, people want to go there, and they're like, well, I really want to camp out.
Yeah.
And then they're like, well, I want a hotel. And that Eclipse, like you said, fucked us.
Yeah.
But then that second year, like, I think I got an Airbnb that year, and it was funny as shit. It was just at the bottom of the hill, and it was, like, moderately creepy, and it was just like, yeah, this is fucking fun, dude.
And then this year you decided to camp out in my RV.
Yeah, I camped out in your RV, Eddie, this fucking third year. Hey, yeah, no, just stay in my RV. It'll be fine. Stay in my RV.
It was great, except I had to leave early.
And so Saturday night, I'm just like, yeah, this is fucking cool. And I'm fucking just drinking beer. I got pocket hot dogs and shit.
Yeah.
And I'm walking past his RV to go out to, like, the party pad. And he goes, hey, by the way, I'm leaving at 7 a.m. Have fun. I'm like, what the fuck is that? So, like, 7 a.m. rolls through, and I've just been turning his back room into a fart locker in the RV. He's like, all right, gotta go. And so
It smells so bad. Oh, my gosh. I pulled off all the sheets, threw everything in the wash.
Oh, yeah.
It was like
yeah.
poop.
I ate so
galore.
many pocket hot dogs. Like,
Right?
this is bad.
Yeah.
But third year, we had 92 cars and 408 people.
This year, we're going to do a podcast. Now that I know how to do everything, we're doing a podcast
There?
sober or drunk.
There.
We're going to do it there.
Yeah.
As long as we don't do it in the Drift House RV.
No.
Okay.
No,
Yeah,
it'll
not
be
there.
in my RV.
It'll
be in my
the drift house.
In your RV.
It'll be in my RV, yes. Or we'll do it outside.
Okay.
Drift house, guys, we love you.
Yeah. It's going to be awesome. Yeah, dude, it's been an awesome event. Like, that's the one, not going to lie, I love Pro-Am, but that's the one event that I want to do every single year. That's like, I put everything else aside. Like, I tell Triangle, my biggest sponsor, I tell him, like, this is the event that I'm going to, hands down, no matter what.
Well, you need one because it's like Pro-Am is such a commitment. Like it's like you have to have all your eggs in that basket, and you're just like, well, I need to remember why I love this. So I'm gonna go blow off steam, and it's like that's the most epic way to do it.
Yeah, totally. And that, like, this year I want to get Matt Nelson, who's my photographer, to come out to. I want him to come out and take over because, like, I'd rather have like one badass takeover event and like maybe 2 or 3 Pro-Ams versus just shooting evergreen over and over and over because it's getting kind of boring. Like, I told Matt, I was like, man, I'll take care of everything. Just come out if you can make it to takeover. I'll cut some slack on everything else. So that's the one event that I really want him to come out to this year.
That's the one thing that's kind of like almost lacking at Takeover is
Media.
Yeah. For what it is difficult because they don't have like I say this in the nicest way possible. They don't have a firm grasp on exactly what drifting is,
right.
and a lot of places like they figured it out quick. Like Park figured it out quick on like what media is, what their purpose is. Right. Them to go out there and get footage, and they are coherent on staying off track and not getting murdered.
Right.
But at Takeover and Oregon Raceway Park, which is the track,
right.
They don't have like a firm grasp on that, and the trust isn't there. I don't think because they're not very deep in like the drifting scene, the drifting community, and like we're kind of outsiders. They still don't understand a whole lot of it. Like they're trying to black flag the Drift House guys when they were like bumping into each other. It's like no, just let them do it. It's fun. Like
right.
It's hilarious. And so they're like, oh, okay, so. They're not just gonna let a media guy with a vest go sit on a corner all day.
Yeah.
And so they're just like, no, that's absolutely not happening. And it's like, well, that's one thing that would be really nice to have happen. Like I think we got drone footage on like the half pipe and stuff like that, and at the end of the day, but that's about it.
Yeah, it's really hard because like within the event organizer side, you're like, man, you want media there and you want media to produce something. But then you deal with the track's regulations on how they're deeming what's appropriate lengths off track to shoot. Well, if you're not some big dog photographer with big nice lens, you have to find, you know what I mean? Yeah, but you have to find distance that allows your lens to work and like what you're working with. And ORP just doesn't want to have it.
No.
And it sort of does suck in that.
Even if you are some big dog photographer, videographer, sometimes you act like a dipshit out in front of the track. And it kind of ruins shit for some people. So
please explain.
Do you want me to like name drop? Is this the true tree right now?
Yes, please.
Well, there is a big name videographer from the area who drove out there, and he did a lot of like good work and stuff like that. But at night, I guess he got kind of shitty. And then he went and ripped
Z-Wing?
I don't know what you're talking about, but he went out front and started ripping donuts out in front of the track and stuff, and it's just like, man, you cannot fucking do that. Like, you're going to ruin it for a lot of people. It's like, you cannot not only that, but he showed up and like a bunch of media people had like yellow vests. fucking homeboy rolled in. He had his Formula Drift media vest. I'm like, this really how you gonna just big dick everyone right now? Like, this is what you gonna do?
How did I miss this? Like,
it's
this
an
is
event.
big. This is a big deal. I didn't hear a single thing about this.
Yeah, as an event, you don't. It's so hard because, with that being said, like, you're on the track for 10 hours that day, right? There's no literal reason to go outside the track on public streets after you've been driving on the track for 10 hours and rip any donut or do anything. It's just literally you don't need to. So
totally not necessary.
I mean, when it does happen, you sort of shake your head. You know, I've talked to the person that did it, and he's been pretty, like, sorry. Like, super apologetic. And, like,
that's good.
Any cost that would have taken to get the, you know, stuff off the ground and this, that, and that, he said he'd cover, and, like, he'd go back out and do it himself. And I was like, it's taken care of.
Cool.
But it was one of the things that, you know, when I had my meeting with the track, they were concerned about, like, just that sort of stuff.
Right. Like we're in the middle of nowhere, but you can't fucking do that.
Yeah, for sure. So,
like, it's like... We have such free reign of the track and everything that's going on. Like, there's no fucking reason to do that. And, like, I came back on, like, or I drove back at some point, and I was looking at all the tire marks
all over,
and I'm just like, this cannot fucking happen. But it happens. There's idiots everywhere, and it sucks that it's, like, the minority, like, the vast minority of it, and it's just like, okay, like...
Yeah, but they're the ones that ruin it for everybody. Like, that's the thing, is you guys, like, it's... I don't get it. Like, I love going fast. I love just hammering down. Like, there's a place and a time for that shit. Like, I had a Mustang, and for a daily driver, for example, like, I had a Mustang, and trust me, like, just to hear in the car, like, I always wanted to smash on the thing. Always. But I knew that I had to wait just a week or two to go out and do my thing. Like, I can wait a week or two to go out and do my thing and just put the pedal to the metal. And, like, you guys, like, just... And even, like, the street drifting, like, back roads, like, I'm, like, totally against that crap. Like, that's not necessary. There's a track here in Monroe, you guys can do that. Or there's park that's a few hours away. Just keep that shit off the streets, you guys. Come on. Like, I'm not trying to be, you know, that guy that's, you know, I know there's those guys that go out there and street drift or whatever. But, man, guys, like, just keep the streets safe. Like... We have places to do that. There's a time and a place, like Ben said. We don't need to be doing that.
And not only that, like, hey, if you're going to go be a dipshit, like, don't do it in front of the place that's providing us, like, a venue to do that legally and shit. But, you know, it's whatever.
That's an amazing facility, guys. Yeah. That's, like, my favorite facility, hands down.
They got showers. They got, like, full showers in there and, like, tile bathrooms and stuff. Like, you can go in there and have a shower and watch the sunrise over, like, the plains, and you're just like, oh, this is great, and smell like your Irish Spring. And feel like you're in a commercial and shit.
It's literally like when they told me, like, Ben and Tori were telling me how amazing the bathrooms were there. I was like,
you're like, this is a feature?
That's what you're bragging about? It's
at a racetrack?
Oh, yeah.
I was like, no way, no. And, like, I literally went there and I was like, I didn't even bother taking a shower and taking a shit in my own toilet because I'd rather just use the ones there.
Yeah.
They're way nice.
Banana bread? Hell yeah!
There's like a freaking a day or whatever you call it.
Bidet? The butt spray.
It has everything. No, it doesn't have that. But it's
might well have.
They're nice.
Dude, the thickness of the toilet paper alone, I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, it's a really nice facility, guys. Like, let's take care of it. Brandon, do you want to get into this year about Takeover?
Yeah, is there any updates on this year and what we're doing?
What's the deal? Do you want to wait?
Yeah, so we like to pick Takeover's dates based off of FD schedule because we've deemed that like within what we do and what we're striving for is we want to provide fun driving with the top tier drivers all the way down to like the kid that's just done it his first time. That's what the event's about, right? Whether you're a pro or it's your first time, we want you to be able to hit the track and have fun, right? So if you want to learn from the pro, cool. And if you don't, cool, but we're all going to be friends. So we wait for that to drop. And over the last years, we've had no problems booking the track. Well, this year, the track's busy. Like, the track's getting popular. And within that, we're lacking date that's probably the best date, but I'm thinking like I said, I'm thinking that's probably gonna be Labor Day weekend, and within that we're excited because it'll give us Monday.
That's Parkfest also, which is 100% hands down do Takeover.
Yeah.
I feel like it's gonna steal people from Parkfest into Takeover.
Yeah, Parkfest is like amateur hour, man. Like,
Yeah,
you want to get
compare. Like, it's not even in the same realm.
Yeah,
to be honest,
you want to get real seat time. Like, go to Takeover, dude. Because like, there's no way that you could possibly bring enough tires or fuel to keep your car on track the entire day, especially both days.
Yeah, man, like, I'd be totally down for that. Like, to end the year on that.
Yeah.
But so we will figure like out an exact date. But yeah, we're leaning towards that right now as we speak. So
Labor Day weekend.
Yeah, Labor Day weekend.
And then what as far as like, is there going to be any new like amenities? Like, I mean, are we going to do the same like Dance Revolution pad out in the back?
Yeah, I'm hoping so. Yeah, I guess the hardest thing is coming up with something that's big enough for people to bite with you. Like, or I mean, that's probably not even the right lingo, but like sponsorships, right? As we all struggle as you run your programs and you need help from people. As an event, you need help too, because it's, basically out of my pocketbook, and my pocketbook can only go so far. So in order to make things cooler, bring in a bigger band, a bigger stage, or, more lights or longer hours, we need help of our community. And as of right now, I want to probably for 4 hours or, certain session on Saturday or Sunday, maybe run the track reverse. We haven't done that yet. Oof. I think it could be fun. I mean, it would bring a different aspect to the track.
I'm down.
It'd be nuts.
Sick.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering what the half pipe would be like in reverse.
Right. We do run it the way that we run it right now because we've deemed it the safer way for everybody. Okay. Like, you know what I mean? Because could you imagine come down the straight the opposite way? Now it's that little right, and then you blow off the hill.
Oh my god!
You know what I mean? It'd just be dangerous because Matt Hoffman, like I said, he's an animal and he's a pro. That's his area. He drifts the sections that most people don't because he just sits on his balls. So, and then you would enter certain, Valkyrie Hill. I mean, can you imagine coming down? So you go through 3, 4, 5, and you climb the hill, right? Could you imagine coming down that like you're gonna be Mach 40? Like I don't even know how fast you're going. So
would be sick.
It could be scary, but.
But the whole thing's scary anyway.
I mean, the guys that have been there, they're going to know what they're dealing with. It's just the new guy. You're like, hey, man, good luck. Sort of because that's what we do.
I think the new guy might have it better off. Like, they don't know. They might be a little more timid and shit.
I think that would be one
We're all pros. We're all pros.
Yeah, we're all pros here.
We're all pros.
So pros.
That would be the thing that I would probably want to try and change up a little bit this year just to...
add a different element.
Yeah, maybe add a different element for a little bit and see, and then grow on it for the following year. Maybe run it one day one way, one day the other. See if you guys actually like it or not.
So they have like a turnoff there, and so you can shorten up the track a lot. Like, I mean, is there a chance of maybe just running a short track?
Yeah,
and
we
running
could.
at half track?
Yeah, we could.
Because that would be interesting as well, because, like, I mean, it is a long motherfucker. Mm-hmm. Is it 2 miles? It's 2 miles-ish, isn't it?
2.3.
Yeah.
So
why don't we do like a team tandem? We can do like a team tandem where everybody can still drive, even if you get knocked out. Have like another section of the track where you can still drift. That'd be cool.
So like you said, I mean, you could always add the competition aspects of it, but like at the end of the day, you're just going to go out there and drive with your bros. Like, I mean, you
That's a good point.
did.
Team tandem all day.
Yeah, so it's like, it's just bro tandem. Like, hey, go find a homie and stick with them. Yeah, because if you get team tandem,
then that sets people aside where they can't drive. And you're driving super far anyway, so it kind of limits.
And that's the idea of the event, too, is like you want to just have people driving all day. You know what I mean? Like, drive, go have fun. Please go have fun.
Dude, it's so, like, we're out there drifting and stuff like that, but I saw everyone was getting into some of the grip cars too, and taking ride-alongs. There's the guy with the Alfa Romeo Quadrifuglio or whatever the fuck they call it,
Scarlet.
And he had that thing packed like
5 deep.
5 deep, and ripping fucking laps in that thing. And it's just like, dude, that looks so cool.
Yeah, Tom set the track record for the weekend in that car, and he was running 2 seconds off with a full car from where he set the track record with us.
Well, this year he brought that black car, right?
Yeah, the Alfa Romeo Scarlet or whatever it's called. It's the 4-door.
Well, yeah, I thought that was the Quadrifuglio, but then it was like a special edition Quadrifuglio.
Yeah, his has like an upgraded like tube and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it makes like 650 horsepower.
He usually has like that Roadster, like the Alpha Roadster or whatever.
The Alpha 4.
The one that lost a wheel.
Yep.
And he was just like, well, that's racing. And then comes back with that thing, and it's just blistering times. But one of the most fun things was watching, who's the guy in the Mustang and the Corvette? Let's name drop him.
Mustang and Corvette.
Yeah, baby blue Mustang.
Oh, Brian
Bridingham.
Brian Bridingham.
Yeah, Bridingham. Is it Bridingham or is it Britisham?
Britisham.
It is Britisham.
Yeah, I don't. Maybe I'm.
Yeah, there's an S in there.
Yeah. So him, and then he was driving with a red Corvette, and they were going back and forth all the time. So I would get back to my pits, because I was right off of, like, track entrance. I'd get back into my pits, and I get out of my car, and I just wait, and I just hear... And I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah! Wait. I'm like, fuck yeah!
That Coyote sounds so amazing. Like,
dude, it's so good. Well, him wide open, and then the Corvette right behind him with the LS3, and they're both just uncorked and just giving her. I'm like,
it sounds fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I don't know what it is. It's
so the Corvette, he smoked his motor that event.
Yeah.
Daryl. Yeah, so he got a new motor, and now it makes a lot more horsepower.
C6?
Yeah, C6.
Yeah.
Okay. Z06, yeah.
Yeah. But it's like, it's so cool. Last year, we did it earlier in the year, and so it was a little cooler as far as, like, track temps go. The first 2 years, it was, like,
August.
later. It was, like, August. So I think, like I was saying, Matt Bueller was out there with a digital thermometer, and he was checking track temps, and they were, like, 130 or something like that. I was like, God, that's cooking. But, like, last year, far more reasonable and, like, far more better. But, like, the first 2 years, it was either first or second year, Matt Larkin was out there with his Focus.
Second year,
Yeah, and it was a stock Focus, and he had that
Tore it
motherfucker
apart.
overheating, so he was tearing apart the front fascia to get, like, more airflow at it and stuff like that. And I'm just like, dude, this is awesome. And it's like last year I was, like, really debating just because of, like, how timing was going to work out, and then how, like, my wife and then my friend Ryan Bliss's wife were going to get out there. I'm like, man, you could you drive that SS out there and... maybe just kind of throw down a couple laps and see how it goes. And I'm just like, man, that'd be so much fucking fun throwing 4,000 pounds of LS3 around.
Yeah, but wait till it went off the track, and then you freaking bend a control arm.
Yeah,
and then
it was too new of a car. It was too new of a car for me to want to throw, like, $38,000 around on that track. But it's like, hey, next year it sounds fun.
It crossed your mind.
Oh yeah, no, it crosses my mind every day. I'm like, that sounds like a lot of fun. It's just like, man, like, if it wasn't, like, because it is a beating on the cars too. If it wasn't such a beating, I'd go out and try and do some grip laps, like, in the drift car, and just see, because, like, it looks like fun. It's racing stuff, right? And it's actual racing, and so it's like you can see lap times, and you can see actual, like, data, and it's like, oh yeah, I'm actually going fast. So it's like that sounds like a lot of fun too. But I mean, the whole event is just super cool. And like you said, Brandon, like, it's just getting people out there, because we had Andy Haley out here. That was his first year last year, and then Donovan Brockway came out as well. And then we had, like, Nate Snyder was out there, like, another big dog at this point.
Tyler
Grimsley. Like
Travis Reeder.
In the past years we've had Reeder. We've had Chris Johnson came out.
What's that? Grody
Boble. That's Brockway.
Brockway,
yeah. So we had Grody Boble come out and stuff like that, and it's just like there's a lot of big guys that come out. And
Brian Hartsock came out.
Yeah,
which was awesome.
Yeah,
I'm glad Brian made it up.
And they're just like, dude, like, this is cool. And I think when Reeder was out there, Dylan Hughes was out and he was checking it out, but he was just in, like, his daily. His BMW, and so it's just like, man, like, hey, you should come out here. Like, you should do this. And Travis was trying to bad influence him real quick.
I was trying to get Dylan out this year, but they were just, like, with Grid Life and stuff, and he was just way too busy. Yeah. Because I think Grid Life was the year, or the weekend after Takeover. So
okay,
and he was going to help Chris out with that. So yeah, he wasn't able to make it. But was there any drama you want to talk about? Like,
was that what we're going?
Was there any?
Yeah, you want to air out some dirty laundry?
Any other dates that you were gonna come out this year? Because I remember you were saying you might try to make it happen on the 4th of July. Is that kind of out the window or what?
4th of July. I just thought that too many people have too many things they love about Independence Day.
America.
They just love, like, families.
Yeah, and if you try and set up fireworks out there, we're going to set the whole field on
They already
fire.
told us no. So other than that, no. Last year was clean. The year before was more drama than last year. I mean, last year we just had the burnouts out front, and actually, we brought in too many floodlights for the North Bowl to drive at night. And we had a lot of complaints because they guess you could see the whole field from the freeway.
Oh yeah, easy.
I feel like it wasn't enough.
Well, I mean, the year before there wasn't enough for sure. Right? But, I mean, last year I literally brought in 12. So, I mean, maybe it wasn't or it was. I don't know.
Dude, it's so wild driving out there because you go through, like...
Nowhere?
You go through absolutely nowhere, and then you go through one podunk town that everyone's like, do not speed through there because you're going to get thrown in jail of butt rape.
Right.
And I'm just like, holy crap. And you like go through that town and it's funny because they have like mannequins like set up like out the storefronts and they look like they're looking at you like you're about to do something wrong. So you want to just go the speed limit anyways. And then you're like in the dark and you're like, where the fuck is this place? And all of a sudden you just see this glow.
Right.
And it's the track and you're just like,
found it.
that's where it is. Like, fuck yeah, that's where we're going.
That was one of the complaints that we had this year. So
I can probably hook you up with Herc to get some lights. I don't know if you have a sponsor this year for lights, but I got a buddy that's pretty high up that works with Herc. We could probably do that. And then what I was going to say was the first year you said you had 4 lights?
First year we didn't run night at all. We had no night driving. It was the second year we brought the night driving in.
Yeah,
and we had
Friday night.
Yeah, we had 6 of them, and it just wasn't enough because I thought I was you. You're like, yeah, I'd hit that dip, man, and go black, and then we'd come up and there'd be light, and then the light would be in my eyes, and then this, that, and I was like, oh man. So last year
definitely wasn't me.
No,
it wasn't me.
No, somebody was complaining
Eddie's
about.
not one to complain.
Yeah, about
ever.
Like, it was just dark in some sections, so I was like, all right, well, let's double it. So I brought in 12 last year, and I actually got to set them up the night before or 2 nights before. So we thought there was enough light for the track. So
you're pretty set on Labor Day weekend, you think? We should probably take a poll if there's other dates. I mean, we want to get.
Yeah, so it was 4th of July, Labor Day, or I want to say July 28th or something like that. But I think July 28th or whatever weekend it was FD weekend.
Oh, so you were saying you want to try to avoid FD weekend.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just because we want those guys to have a possibility to come out and just have fun. Like they get to relax.
What's the weather like during the 28th? Not 28th. I'm sorry, Labor Day weekend. Have you checked it all to see what the?
Yeah, it was warm. Yeah, it was still hot. In the summer, so
it's in the desert of Oregon.
90s.
The biggest thing I feel like in that area is the wind. So that's like my big.
That was last
year. Wind. Like I hate wind. But the year before was windy too. It's like just being out in the fields. I feel like you just get windy. You have no trees blocking anything, so you get a lot of wind.
Yeah.
So I don't know if there's
it's either wind or like wildfires, like one of the two.
Right.
Something
Yeah, I remember 2018 we almost had wildfires. Luckily they put the fires out.
You could see them glowing over the hills when it was nighttime. You could see it glowing. It's like that's eerie.
It was like the only section of Oregon that was like actually blue. Like I remember I was texting Brandon. I kept texting back and forth like, "It's nice." Because driving over was like smoke the whole way until we got
there was like warnings everywhere. It was like full on like hazard to your health warnings everywhere.
Yeah, don't breathe the air.
Yeah, and that was like the only spot. Like, nah, it's cool, dude.
Right? It was blue skies. We got lucky.
Yeah.
Super lucky. Yeah, it was sick. Yeah, it's been. That event is amazing, guys. I mean, we rant and rave about it. We rant and rave about it a couple times.
We try. Like everyone's just like, dude, you guys need to go there. Like it's so just just commit and just go, and it's like you will understand like how fucking cool it is. Like the whole event thing might not be your cup of tea. You might not want to hang out and party afterwards and stuff like that, or you might. But it's like that track. Fully worth it, and it's like you guys are the only ones who are opening their doors to drifting during the years. Like I don't know if there's villains did it once, but they didn't have full track.
No, they ran half track. Yeah.
Exactly, and so it's just like we have the full track at our disposal to just go out there and like be dipshits in cars. It's like that's fucking cool, man.
Well, we almost didn't have it this year, but thankfully Brandon worked a little bit of magic, and he's gonna make it happen again this year. So. Super thankful for that. We were talking before the podcast a little bit about how there's a new rule at Evergreen, how we can't do burnouts anymore because there's somebody in the room that I guess it's a few years old.
Well, because
some guy can't do burnouts.
Well, you got a little bit of flack from the Oregon Raceway Park, right? Saying that may or may not be tearing up the track surface a little bit quicker than they had anticipated as far as like when they built it, but it's just like, man, it's kind of. You can say that, and it's mostly just an excuse, but then we're like, yeah, if it was standing burnouts, yeah, and it's like, well, that's why there's no standing burnout rule at Evergreens, because of goddamn Ben White.
Ben White?
My bad. Like, whatever.
That mofo.
Right?
He's always doing, like, burning holes in the ground, and, yeah. That motherfucker.
Just 2. I only burnt 2 holes in the ground. And then I basically lose every other burnout competition that I enter.
Has Evergreen released their schedule this year?
No, they
usually do it at the banquet.
Yeah, banquet.
When's the banquet?
Mid-January.
Oh my god, it's so far away.
Dude,
Yeah,
it's
got some time.
like less than 2 months.
Yeah, don't worry, because like first Pro-Am event is usually in like late March, April.
Yeah. Are you guys running Pro-Am this year?
Yeah. I'll do a few rounds.
He's only doing like the candy ass rounds, the purse boy rounds.
Yeah, I was talking to Tori a little bit more about actually yesterday. As a matter of fact, they have he thinks I can run the 5/8 with the power that I can get a supercharger and maybe have like 360 horsepower.
Centrifugal or the root style?
Centrifugal. Yeah.
Boo, gay. Don't do that.
I like centrifugal.
Gotta go roots, dude. Gotta go roots.
I like centrifugal. It doesn't make as much heat. So
it doesn't make as cool sounds, and that's what's cool
it
about
makes
them.
six sounds. It makes blow-off valve sounds.
Who cares? That's what sound it makes. It's like it doesn't even care what you're doing. It just go. That's the sound of fucking power, dude. That's the sound of horsepower.
You have it backwards. So anyways, I was saying that I don't really want to run that style because it's this Vortex specifically on a 4.6. It's on a single belt where most of them are on a separate belt. So if I'm on the 5/8 and I blow that belt,
and so you're going to be blowing up 900 linear feet of belt,
and I'm going to be blowing 900 linear feet of belt and going into the wall.
Yeah.
So not worth it.
No.
So I told him I'm just going to wait till I have my LS and call it. I'll just run the 3/8 with the power that I have with 50 cider nitrous. Call it good. And to do some grassroots rounds, kind of build my confidence back up in the Mustang. And I can't remember where I was going with that now. We were talking about this year, and I don't remember.
I curveballed you, dude. And I said, "Are you running Pro-Am?"
Yeah. Oh,
I
that's
did.
right.
I curveballed you. I curveballed him.
So you're off your game.
I took off his game right now.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's just rattled. He shook.
And, you know who else hit me up this week was AA Ram.
Oh,
He's like,
no.
Are you really going to swap LS off your car? I was like,
Oh, damn.
yeah.
It's
Like,
going through the
for
grapevine.
sure.
Yeah, unless you're gonna sponsor me for a Coyote. And he goes, what about a 351 swap? I was like, that's gonna cost just as much as a Coyote.
Which
Right.
351? Did you ask him which 351?
I should have asked him.
Was it one of three or something stupid?
Yeah.
They're so dumb.
So dumb.
Stupid, yeah. So I ended up, So I basically told him, I was like, I already have the freaking engine and transmission. I can just bolt it right in, basically, with a new K member and call it a day.
Yeah.
And I'll be able to run.
Yeah, because like, what do they say? How do you make a Mustang fast?
LS
You put an LS swap in it.
Put a Chevy motor in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's some truth in it.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't. That's my plan for this year. Definitely take over. Run a few Pro-Am and 5/8. Sorry, not Pro-Am, but Pro-Am and grassroots. And
Well, so you own a shop, Brandon, and so you build cars, and so are you working on anything right now? Or?
Yeah, so I've heard my friends talk about drifting forever, and I've helped as many as I could. And low-key, for anybody listening that wants to listen or is listening or still is listening,
there's only like 10 people.
Right,
so
you
it's
literally
tens.
just have to like text me, call me, write me, and if anybody ever needs help, I'm literally down to help. If I've never helped you, it's probably because you've never asked. I don't a lot of times offer because like I'm always busy myself. But this year I am going to run the Pro-Am series. I do not drift, but I have built. I will go online and say a pro style car that's going to make gobs of power, and I'll probably be hated.
How many
And,
gobs?
I could probably make 1,200 wheel if I want.
Damn.
Yeah, but I'll probably run it like 700-800. Probably.
Winters,
Yeah, Winters, GSR dog box, full.
Why didn't
White
you do,
fab,
like, a
everything.
sequential? Why not sequential?
Because he's been building it for 9 years, and so
I've
the
been
dog
building it for
box,
2
like
years.
the T101A, was at the pinnacle of the technology when he started building.
Yeah.
This, okay.
So I bought, but I have a GSR, so I don't have a T101A.
Oh, okay.
So it's a little bit different, but yeah, I probably could buy a sequential, but I'm not going to. Just because, like, talking to some of just talking to the guys like Matt Hoffman, he's like, the difference between my G-Force dog box and that one. He's like, nothing. He's like, it's a waste of money, and like, just stuff like that. And like talking to, Rob Carlson's helping me build my car right now. Rob's an OG, super freaking smart,
okay.
and he's doing finishing touches with my car. So it's not running yet. Hopefully, we'll have it running by the first of the year, so we can start testing, work out some kinks. But like, even Rob's like, dude, I build all. He works for McLaren, right? He's on McLaren's race team. He's their crew chief, and he even's like, dude, you don't need more than this. And so based off of
really
that,
don't need more than like 450.
but even I'm just talking about the tranny, right? Like I just
Okay.
don't want to miss a gear or do anything. So
Well, you don't want to blow up You don't want to have to worry about fucking synchros.
Right.
Synchros are stupid.
So, building a cool car to hopefully run this year, and we'll see.
So what's the car? What's the
I have an
chassis?
S13 hatch,
Okay.
which is not my favorite, but
You should have let me drive it.
I don't know. I'm a BMW guy, so I have an E36 also that I'm probably going to start building.
I'm pretty sure you have like a white Pandem car that's LS powered that you could probably just drive, right?
Have that also.
Okay.
Yep.
So your S13, you got a hatch, and then it's got your dog box in it. It's got quick change rear. What's the engine setup?
So
get nerdy with it.
Yeah. It's an LSX bow tie that I just bought from Chevy Performance, and then I called Mally and I said Mally, whatever it's
MAHLE.
Yep.
I never knew how to say it. I said Molly, but I think it's Mally.
I think it's Mally. I think they said Mally.
I pronounce it
Mall, right? So I called them and I got a forged rotating assembly for them for, I don't know, gobs of power. And then I have a Magnuson Heartbeat supercharger.
Ooh. Originally was just a LSA supercharger, right?
Yeah, so I had the LSA, sold it, and then got the Heartbeat.
So it's like a 2.3 displacement supercharger?
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's the newest version, so it's like air cool temps like are just, there's not there. It's cool. Awesome. Yeah. And then rear mount radiator. Could hit whatever I want. Car should probably
radium
fuel cell, big pumps. Probably run on E85 or 110. I don't know yet.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
So you don't know yet, huh?
Yeah.
Does it run currently?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's keeping it? Oh, just the electrical, right?
Finished in the electrical. Yeah. So full Holley EFI.
That's like
Holley
a weekend
EFI
worth of work. What are you doing even?
Yeah, I know. So I'm not an electrical guy. Like I love fabrication. I love building cages, this that, some suspension works, this and that, blah. But electrical, like I really want to point a finger if my car blows down or burns to the ground. Or, you know what I mean? Like something happens bad. Like I don't want to be responsible for myself.
Error canvas not communicating. Yep. Like who the fuck knows what that means?
Yeah. So Rob though, he came up and he convinced me to go to some pretty cool stuff. It's all canvas stuff now and Switch Pros, this, that, and that. So yeah, for real, right? There's not a fuse in the car now. And it's going to be supposedly nice. All these guys in FD are running it.
So is it one of those panels where you can see on the dash, like some blows out, like what JR runs?
It'll do the thing where it keeps trying to communicate, it keeps trying to fire, and if it doesn't, then it'll be like, it'll send an error code, but it'll still try and do it. It doesn't just dickhead blow a fuse and be like, you fuck.
Screw you. Yeah.
Suck it, bitch.
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
So the whole, there's a reset when you turn it off, and it just comes back up fresh. But it'll give you all your codes and all that stuff, too. So it's sort of cool because, one of the cool features is it's all ran through your cell phone for the one I have. So if I want to turn my car off and not let it run, you just put my program in the cell phone and it's dead. Like nobody starts it unless you key it in on my cell phone, which is scary because if you lose your phone, you're not running your car.
Are you going to then run a dedicated phone to it or a iPad?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't figured that out yet. So right now it's on my cell phone. And so it's sort of scary, but it's not in that program right now. It would just fire if it wanted to. But yeah, I'm excited. Like radium, everything, big fuel, big brakes, big everything.
So if I had a recommendation, I would say try and run an E85 and just start off doing that because race gas is fucking expensive.
Yeah,
and it's fucking dumb to have to pay $10 a gallon for stuff. I get it. Right. Like E85 is pretty close to premium in price, and I get you have to run 30% more, but it's still a lower cost of operation. I roll up to the track and I'm on the lower end of things, but I'm still running race fuel.
Right.
I'm spending $200 in fuel an event, and it's just I'd rather fucking not.
Right.
And plus, even that, with the 110 octane, my car does run a bit cooler, a bit better, as far as temps go, but E85 is even better.
Yeah, right.
So it's if you can, I would totally do that. I don't know what your injector setup already is.
Yeah, big.
Big? Is it big enough for E85?
Yeah, they're 2,000 cc injectors.
Okay, so you should be able to make that work, right?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, so I built the car to make gobs of power and do what we need to do. But like I said, I'm a rookie driver. I haven't drifted a lot. I have drifted. It won't be new to me. But as far as competition setting, that'll be brand new.
So then what's your plan for that? Because you're a rookie driver, right? So are you gonna this winter? Is there a timeline as far as getting the car going and getting you seat time? Yeah.
So it was supposed to be around January 1st. We're probably still going to be a little bit later than that, and then got a container of tires coming. So I'll have enough tires for...
Is that like secret squirrel stuff?
Yeah, right now it's secret squirrel, sort of. So,
okay.
But yeah, there'll be a container of tires coming.
Does it rhyme with Schmalino?
No.
Or Schmriangle?
Nope.
Or I don't know. What other fucking tires?
Shaquilis?
Nope.
Or fuck, what's the one? Schmenda? Oh, he went silent on Schmenda.
What's Schmenda?
Does it rhyme with Schmenda? Okay, obviously not.
Oh.
Starts with
Enda.
a K, ends with an Enda.
No, it starts with an A.
Shaquilis?
No, I think I know what they are. They're like, yeah.
I'm working this deal out as
Okay.
we speak. So,
but you got
with
tentatively
me and Orion,
a container showing up.
So Orion and I, and like I mean, I'm not here to talk about Orion, but I think I'm trying to get Matt, Orion, and I all to run next year. So
Pro-Am?
Yeah, everybody to run Pro-Am.
Okay, so he's gonna forego the kind of Pro 2 dreams. Was that just too many aspirations there, or too much?
No, I mean it's a lot of money in the end of the day to run and not have your heart probably fully there yet. But I think,
well, dude, that's cool if he comes down and run, because he's a yardstick, right? He finished second, right?
Yep.
Second.
Yep.
Second. So it's just let's keep those guys here. Let's keep them as a yardstick and keep running with them. Like, I would fucking love that.
Yeah.
So it's have him. Cool. I would love Matt to run because Matt's super cool. I just want him to let that motor eat. God damn it.
Sounds so good.
And then have you out there and get you some fucking seat time. You have a decent amount of resources at your disposal as it is right now. Are you fully committed to just getting seat time in that car, or is there another vehicle that you could get seat time in the meantime?
Yeah, I could probably get seat time in any car, but I don't know. I might sound too confident when I say I'm not. I don't know. It's weird. I don't want to sound I've never tandem, but I've not. I mean, driving's not new to me, right? Like, I've been drifting cars on purpose since we called it the Cintas drift corner, right? There's a group of guys back in the day, probably 2005, 6, 7, 8, when we were in our heyday of street racing at Kent, Cintas drift corner, the S turns at Langus, all these weird spots.
Going to church in Everett and shit.
Yeah, basically that sort of stuff, right? So
Jansport.
Yeah, exactly.
Dead serious, yeah.
Yeah, Jansport, Cintas drift corner, that's the area. Jansport is Cintas
in Everett. In Everett.
By Pickle Time down where you guys.
Oh, down by Bowen.
The industrial area.
That's the heyday of
there's Angry Earl videos. Yeah, of him just wide open throttle, drifting basically under container trucks.
Okay, so it's so funny. Angry Earl destroyed a container truck with us, at that spot, Cintas drift corner. Yeah. Yeah. So many times where security be rolling in, there's 30 of us there, and we're like, stop drift! Because security's just coming in, and 2 cars, 3, 5 cars are just coming right at them at 80, and you're like, this is good. And you're running in the middle of the street, stop! And you're almost hitting the security guy, and then cops come crazy. So, yeah. I think spotting all the guys that I've helped with, and just being around the sport, and I analyze it, and I'm part of it in more ways than just the driving aspect. It'll help me know, I don't know, this as a spotter for you guys who are drivers, it's probably different, but for me, I don't know if you guys take up points on track as reference for what I'm doing, when I'm doing it, and how I'm doing it, right? So there's guys that drift, and you're yeah, he's drifting, but he's not shooting for anything. He's just letting the car do its job, and he's wheeling, he's getting through it. But then you get out there and you're I'll say Eddie does a great job of this, not just because he's here, but he does. You're okay, he's putting his car in places that it needs to literally be. Eddie sort of screwed himself when he went to the GTO because it's just a big girl. Eddie's a great driver. Eddie had the nickname Fast Eddie. Eddie gets big girl. And you're it's not, a shot at anybody. You're excited when you get the car. No, you know what I mean? You're excited when you get the car because you're it's a new car. I'm going to make it work. And then you're damn, dude, if Eddie's in any other car, he'd be doing better today. You did everything you had to do. You did it right. You did literally anything and everything you had to do. But it's just the car. Reese Millen drove one back in the day. You drove it for, a year or two, and you moved on.
He won a championship.
It was pretense.
Really progressed.
Yeah, it was pretense before, how big it was.
It was a championshp caliber car.
Right? But back then, you had, Nissan 240s with SRs. You have an occasional
Pro 1.
Running Pro 1 at 400 horsepower. You're whoa. And now you're oh, you don't have 750.
Yeah, you're not 1200 capable.
Yeah, like, whoa, get out of here.
Chump, peasant.
But for real, so minus that, like...
So you feel like, I mean, spotting for people, that's giving you enough,
it'll give you a little
like,
bit
sight of what you have to do and shit. Like, I mean, do you drive with them in the car? Because perspective is very, very, very fucking different, and especially like from in car to on grid to the judge's tower or whatever, spotter's tower and stuff. It's just like, man, perspective is different. So it's like, do you feel like, I mean, you get in a car, you're going to have the proper perspective and be able to...
Yeah, so I think, like, if Orion's listening or whatever, I don't know if he does.
You know he's going to listen to this episode.
Yeah,
and you better fucking follow us.
So the funny thing is, like, when he got here, Orion was, you could tell he could wheel. Like, literally. He was a great driver. Yeah. But, like, for me and Orion, it was sort of like, okay, we're teaming up, let's do this. Like, let's just win. Like, literally, I'm competitive. Like, let's win. Yeah. And I could see, like, like, he wants to win, but, like, doesn't really care if he wins or not. He's just, like, nonchalant about it. And I'm like, no, motherfucker, we're going to win today. Like, stop being nonchalant. And before we're like, okay, let's practice. We probably drove more that year than anybody. Like, hands down. Like, we were literally private rental.
He was out there a lot. It was scary.
Private rental.
I didn't know how that car held together.
Bro,
it's like, cool.
We didn't know how it held together. Like, even, like, it's still a joke because that Jeremy Hashkishkinez or whatever, he got the car and it's still holding together. But the thing with Orion is, like, when we teamed up, like, I get the perspective of, like, what the track was already from spotting, helping Matt. And I'm like, man, if you could just do this. Well, he's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, what do you mean, what do I mean? You're a driver. I'm telling you what you got to do. I still don't get it. And this is me and him in the very beginning. And then I'd be like, okay, visualize what I would do. Like, so I'm getting to where, like, will a spotter help me out while I drive? Right? So Ryan's talented, you guys are talented, but if I'm like, okay, quit checking your handbrake, you're losing speed, do this, feint here, do this. And I'm like, from the grandstands now, and he's like, doing exactly what I say. And we're like, oh shit, his line got better. We're now faster because we're always checking, like, for us, like, we took it serious. And I think every team to get better needs a spotter. Every team needs a crew. Every team needs just to have your best friends there supporting, like, hey, dude, it's not the end of the world. You got the next one. Words of encouragement go so far on that track day rather than, like, dude, like, fuck, I suck. No, dude, you don't suck, dude. You battled a guy that was really good.
Is rough.
It's rough, dude. You need somebody down there. So we roll up with 6 guys. We all have each other's back, and we were, like, just in each other's ear all day. That's all I did. And I'd be like, do this, that, and that. And then if he doesn't get it then, private day, I then run on the track, and I set up cones. Well, soon as I set up cones, and we're talking, and we're now communicating, he's just like God mode. Like, wow, car's there. It's this. A little bit less angle. Because his problem was, like everybody wants to do, is everybody's throwing on max angle right a bit. You don't even have to throw max angle right a bit. Like, it's just let the car build its angle, get it to go, and, like, keep it. You gotta stay fast, and then throw it on, slow it on. However you want to scrub speeds, up to you. But there's 100 ways to do it. We gotta pick the best, fastest that keeps us online. So I talk to him, and we're getting better, and better. And by the end of the year, if we had another round, there's no doubt in my mind. Round 4, I don't know if you guys remember it, but it's so in my mind because it's like, okay, I told him we're going to win first place in a round, we're going to win second place in a round, we're going to win third place. I promise you. Like, I won't let you down. And we should have probably won the last round, but in our heyday of knowing when we battled Jay Lynn that we already took second place no matter what happened because Nate got bounced when what happened with the battle before. He is drifting around the last thing with Jalen to probably go one more time because we just destroyed him. In the end of barriers where you come out that last turn, he goes wide as the clipping point of the outside one. And I am literally just like, Orion, you missed the end. And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, you didn't drive through the track. And there's no doubt that either we're winning or we're going one more time, right? Because that was a great battle. But for me, I was like, you didn't even drive. And he's like, there's no way. And I'm like, no, you drove on the outside of the track. And they're like, yeah, we have a decision. And I was like, bro, you could have won this one. That would have been our first place. We had taken a second. We'd taken multiple thirds. And it was just like, oh, man. But the beginning of the season to where we ended, I can't say full credit, but even if he was here, he'd say probably Brandon helped me a lot. Right, and which was us practicing. No full credit.
98%.
So hopefully, 98. No.
Wait, so round 4 you said?
Round 5.
Oh, round 5.
It was the last round.
Okay,
yeah,
so
Drift-On After Dark.
Sorry, not Mini
Irwindale. Drift-On After Dark.
It would be Jersey.
Whatever it was.
Jersey.
So you come in, you Chaco, the one, you can swing back around and end on the straight.
Right.
Yeah. So he swung it wide. But we progressed so good. Great driver. Nobody ever doubted it. But, like, as far as skills on, like, tandeming and all these things, didn't get it. And it just took repetition and ear. Like, dude, because he'd say, first thing he'd say, what does Brandon tell you? And he'd be like, hit him. Hit him.
Yeah.
Hit him. Literally. It's on some in his ear. Like, bro, if you ain't close enough to hit him, we ain't winning. Right? Mm-hmm. That's just my truth to him. Like, if you can't touch his car, what are we doing? I don't want you to hit him. Like, don't really hit him.
Well, that's what you want to do. Is leave no doubt.
Leave no
doubt
like,
in decision intent. Yeah.
So
if you have a good lead run, hit him on the chase run.
Just do it, right? So, and we learned a lot. And, like, obviously for me, he already knows this. Like, not running Pro 2 last year probably hurt a little bit at the very beginning. I was like, man, we worked so hard together to do this. Our funding didn't come as well as we probably wanted or liked, just because of for whatever reason. And we got the year off, which probably actually helps all of us in the long run, because I was able to focus on my car, put more money into my car, and get my car to where I want it. And if I can run Pro 2 myself, yes. And if not, like, I have a Pro 2 ready car, and I have let in the past all my friends drive my cars. Like, I let Sean Kim drive a car, I let Matt Larkin drive a car. I mean, I've let people drive cars in Pro-Am rounds.
That's why I hit you up. Like, I hit you up when I saw my car. I was like, man, I don't have a car to drive. I was like, I was almost going to be like, let me drive your car. And I know how bad you wanted to drive.
Well, I just want, like, for me, like,
I think we've all hit him up, because, like, he was telling me, he was showing me, he was putting together the car, and I'm like, well, if you don't got a driver, I kind of know a guy, and he's like, well, I'm driving it. I'm like,
I want to drive this year. Like, literally, like, that's like my goal. But there's two things that could happen. If I get out there and I can't put it together, I'm not going to drive. Like, I'm just not. Like, I'm not that guy.
Well, that's funny, because, like, I know I was talking to Matt, and he was like, dude, he's like, you don't know Brandon. He's like, yeah, he may not have driven very much, but he's like, you've never seen him behind the wheel. And he's like, super confident in you. And he was like, yeah, he can, dude, just wait. Like, let him drive a car, and he's like, you can drive. Because Matt drove your car before. It was LS powered. It was just the SR powered. He's like, dude, he's like, he can drive that car. I'm like, like, me, I've never seen you drive, so I'm like, I have my doubts.
Yeah, I'm skeptical as fuck.
Yeah, no, like, but that's like the whole track right now. Like, oh, hey, Brandon's been out here. We know he's been around, but he's never driven with us, right? So for me, it's a little bit of, like, in my camp, right? It's my fuel right now. I'm like, okay, do you think, right? But, like, what are you going to do when I bang your ass through the whole bank? Because I don't care, right? Because
you're so competitive. You're like me.
But I'm over competitive, right? Like, my whirly ball, like
3-time whirly ball, bitch.
Yeah, and we're
That's
kicking.
Right, we're talking about that.
Yeah,
but
it's for real though. Like, bro, we kicked guys off our team that are friends because they weren't good enough in whirly ball. We're like, yeah, gotta go. So, what I mean? Like, that's just my competitive edge, and we'll see if it translates. I don't know. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna be,
Dude, I'm super competitive too. Like,
I'm not gonna be.
Everybody knows.
You're competitive,
like, everybody that knows me.
Do you get upset when you lose?
I get really. I'm a sore loser. Like, I hate losing. Like, we'll play shuffleboard, like, down at K&Q.
And, dude, he was so fucking dead serious.
So mad.
What was it? Was it after the banquet, or was it?
Yeah,
it was after the banquet. He's like, you want to play shuffleboard, and then all of a sudden his eyes, like, the pupils just dilated like a fucking shark.
Here's a good example.
And he's just like, you're going down.
So here's a good example. Like, I'll get, like, this tunnel vision. Like, if for shuffleboard. Okay, I have two examples actually. For shuffleboard, somebody will put a puck right where, like, I don't want it. I don't want it there, and I would just stare at that puck like it's
scary. It's terrible.
And I would just stare at it, and I'm like, that fucker's going down. Like, I'll just stare at it, and I'll hit it. Boom. They'll come back. They'll hit it off, and, like, my competitive just goes to the extra level. Like, and if I don't hit it, I will be so pissed. And so, like, that's one example. Two examples. I lost to Joe Lydon last year, round 3, Irwindale. I knew exactly where I fucked up. Like, he transitioned, and I transitioned too early because I wanted to be on his door. And he, like, monteed through the straight, and then he flicked it back, and I went back, and I was just like, as soon as I transitioned, I was so pissed. I went back into the pits. I knew I lost. I was just fucking hucking the tires, my wheels. Like, they were, like featherweight. Like, I was throwing them back. I was so mad. And I don't lose my temper very often, but that's how competitive I am. Like, I was just like, I was so mad at myself. I just fucking hate losing. Like, I cannot stand losing. And I know that I'm capable of beating Joe.
Right.
And he's a really good driver. I even said this on the last podcast. He's a really good driver. And I know that I can beat him. I know that if I'm in a comfortable car and, like the Mustang, that's why I'm going back to it. But I know if I'm in a, like, capable car and I'm confident driving the car, I know that I can beat him. Nothing against Joe. Like, he's obviously an amazing driver. But that's my mentality. And so, like, you know, I don't know. I like the competitive. That was one of my questions, was like, do you like competitive, do you like the comp side, or do you like the lifestyle side? Because I know you host, obviously, Takeover.
So hosting the lifestyle event is fun, but yeah, I'm way more competitive than the lifestyle for sure. So it'll be funny to see, because if the program doesn't run the way I want it, that'll probably be my only misfit. Like, in my head, like, hey, things aren't running the way I need it or want it. As in far as, like, if I'm not getting enough from my spotter or the mechanic on crew, or, like, things that are happening. But I'm going to try my best to not let that bother me, you know. So, the season comes up quick. We'll find out soon. And I built the car to
be super competitive.
Yeah, be super competitive. Yeah, not happy that it's an S chassis, because I'm not a 240 guy.
I don't like it.
But
the easiest. It's so easy.
And that's like one thing that's gotten me a little bit right now.
Look at Brad Davis. Look how easy he had a time in it.
People are like, oh, it's so easy, but that sort of pisses me off a little bit, right? Because I'm like, I didn't pick it for the easiest. I literally picked it because, like, if I crash the car, because I plan on, like, like, I want to ride the wall. I don't want to be in the low lane. Like, I look at everybody as a spotter, and I'm like, how are you just not throwing it up there and staying up there? You know, to me, it's like, it's right. You shake your head as a driver, because you're like, no, I know what you're saying, because we think the same thing.
Fully
but, like,
understand.
But knowing you, like, you're so competitive, do you want somebody in your ear? Like, do you want a spotter?
Yeah, 100%.
Really?
So I think that as a spotter, for me, for Orion, is this about initiation, like, out the gate. What are guys doing, right? And that's what I want to know. Like, I just want to know who initiates while I'm trailing.
I hate spotters. Like, this year, I was like, I made it like, it's totally fuss with me. I hate having a spotter. I hate having somebody, you must, like, it's too much to think about. Driving enough is, like, driving by itself is so much to think about when you're in the driver's seat. So, like, I was just like, I don't want anybody telling me what I need to do, what I need to improve on. Like, I know, as a driver, I should know, like, I'm too low on the bank, or I'm too high, or I'm too far away. Like, I've been driving for almost 5 years now. I should know that stuff. And so I don't want somebody telling me, like, oh, you need to do this. Like, I can understand Orion's situation where he's, like, fairly new, you know?
Yeah.
And I just hate that as a driver. It's not that I hate somebody telling me I need to improve on something, but I hate having to throw that into the mix, like, as a driver. I hate having somebody tell me, like, hey, you know, this guy's initiating here. What if he doesn't do that on this round? What if he initiates later? What if he handbrakes this time? Like,
but
I'd rather
do you
just
want to find out after?
Yeah, you don't.
Because it seems like you've always, like, found out after, like, oh man, this guy did this, and then it's just like, well, what if someone had known?
Yeah, so, like, for instance, like, guys that were notable all year on certain rounds when we drove were who drove the oh my gosh, he's gonna kill me now, but the big black GTO.
Sean Olin.
Sean Olin drove the bank better than most people because he filled the bank always. Came off super
and it was
late.
Always same.
So guess what you're going to do if you cut underneath him? You're totally screwed. You're going to crash him. Like, you had to commit and stay high. And if you think, oh, I'm going to do that, you can.
See, that's the thing.
But if you have somebody in your ear saying, hey, just remember, like, this is all I say. Just remember, Sean's going to ride the bank high. He's going to initiate fast. He's going to stay in the upper lane the whole way through. Stay and trust. Right? There's plenty of times, I'll say names because I'm whatever.
I don't care.
There'd be names like
Trust Tree.
Yeah, Brad Davis. I'm like, you got to give him 6 cars, dude. Brad drives so good sometimes. And then you're like, whoa, Brad, what the fuck are you doing? And for me, 6 cars was like, yeah, he's going to gap us. He's going to hurt us. If he finishes his lap, cool, he beat us. But if he doesn't, we're going to win. And
you're
playing the odds game, right?
Yeah.
And my driver might go, what the fuck is Brandon saying?
This is exactly what I was thinking.
But listen to me, because I'm up here, and I wish I'd have brought it. The year that we took second place, I had analyzed a book this thick of all of you guys driving. Like, I could have told you every round what you were doing, your tendencies, and you'd be like, what? And you might be like, whoa.
Punk ass bitch.
No.
Ben White.
No. Eddie would just, like, most of your stuff would just be like, on key on everything, just slow. Like, we could give you whatever we want. And if we want, suck up after. Or blast him out of that gate, see if he can catch us. Like, that would just have been you.
Yeah.
if you give Eddie room, he's going to be in your pocket. I call it the pocket. Yeah. So I'm like, don't give him room. You have to get out of the gate fast. I don't care how you do it. Get out. And don't handbrake with Eddie. Because, like, some cars, I'm like, okay, Orion loved this setup with the handbrake. Like, that's how he initiates. And I'm like, dude, just don't give it to Eddie. Like, stay in power shift. Yeah, exactly. Because he's going to throw it on you. So if you didn't have me saying, hey, by the way, you need to run away from Eddie, you just do your shit. And before you know it, Eddie's in your door. And you're like, hey, good luck, dude, because Eddie got in your door. You couldn't get away. Because there's this tendency when people get there, they stay there. Yeah, and you're like, whoa, like how?
Once you're in drift, you can't really run away.
You can't run away, even if you have gobs of power. It's like you're like, it's like the draft effect almost.
Well,
you're
that's
like,
what I like about
still there. Well, if you look at drifting,
pulling you around the course.
Yeah, if you look at drifting, it's like the guy underneath though is running a shorter line, so even if he's not as fast, he's gonna stay there because he's doing his job where he needs to be.
Right,
like,
and that's why I've always said like I don't like it's just ringing a bell. You were saying you tell somebody like this driver's done this, this, and this, and this. Well, what about that time where he fucks up? Like, what about the time that Sean Nolan runs? Like, I'm just gonna. I have a spot. I've said this on the podcast multiple times. I have a spot I pick on the door, and I just watch that spot. Yeah. I don't change anything. I don't pretend I'm gonna lead run. I watch that spot and I follow that spot because your eyes are gonna follow where you're driving.
Right.
And so
you look at door. Huh? You look at door.
I look at a certain spot in the door. I look just behind the driver's side handle of the door. And I just stare at it.
Dang, you look that far back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because if you look too far forward, you're going to suck up. You're going to do what the dean does.
I got to look forward.
No, I can't do that.
I got to look basically at their front wheel. Mirror or front wheel?
Yeah. We refer to mirror, but yeah.
No, I look behind the driver's side door because if you look at the picture downstairs that I have of me and Tori, I'm way back. I'm actually on the same line as him. Like, my left... If you look at our lead tires, his left front tire and my left front tire, we're on the same line. And that's where you want to be, is you want to be on the same line. Obviously in tandem, when you're like literally left front tire on the door, you're not on the same line. Technically, you're not on the same line.
Right.
It looks good in the picture, but you're not on the same line as him. Yeah. So if he fucks up and you have to adjust, you're going to go forward, then you have to pull handbrake. He's going to gap you. Then you got to try to catch up. And it's just this game. So at least if I'm on the backside of his door, and he checks up, I can check up and then be back up. And
you sit far back in the car, though. You're kind of further. Okay.
Yeah. So
I guess it might just depend on like chassis and stuff like that. Because I'm pretty far forward in the car. I feel like.
Yeah.
As far as my relation to like the front axle and stuff like that, so I'm always looking like further forward in the car and trying to like kind of cut the line a little bit. Just that's where I have to fixate. I don't like that
because I feel like that's just more
because you're so far back. If you're looking there, you're like kind of your field of vision is basically like the same as mine would be if I'm looking that far forward.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Just kind of the perspective of it and just your relation to like your front axle and like how where you are in the car and stuff like that. So it's just and it's preference as well.
Yep.
Right. So whatever works for anyone. But I've started finding that I'm looking very far forward on the car because I also have a problem of like I always try and run wide swoopy lines because like I want whoever tandeming behind me to make me look good.
Right.
But that fucks me if I'm trying to compete.
Yeah.
So it's just like, look, I need to find a way to like cut the line and like fuck people up and try and hit some doors and shit. So it's just like, that's the best way I've found to try and do it. And so I'm starting to try and work on that more and more and actually concentrate and fixate on that stuff. So
yeah, like I had my first year in pro I had Brian Gerard. He was an amazing spotter, hands down. Like he was so amazing. Like he was so good. He would tell me everything, but it was like almost too much for me in my head to process. Like he was like, this guy's doing this guy's doing, Joe's killing it. He was like, he's doing this, and I was just like, I just want to drive. Like I was like, I just want to drive. Like that's what I do best. Like grassroots when I won the championship, no spotter, I just drove. And there's times where like I'll be driving, but you're just like, hey, show me, like if it's important, she'll send me a boxer. If you guys want a boxer, it's just like a walkie-talkie. She'll, hey hon, you need to get closer to that last wall. Okay, that's easy. I can get closer to the last wall. Or she'll be like, hey, that was awesome. Just do this one thing, like just one thing on your whole run. Blah blah. Brandon Schmidt's been a huge help. He'll tell me, I'll be like, hey, what happened here? You just need to do this one thing, and you would have gotten the points for that.
Yeah, as far as spotting goes too, like I would tell anybody this so it doesn't confuse drivers. You have to be very definitive. Like I'm not asking you, I'm not suggesting, I'm telling you. And if you can get that down between you two, you're fine. Like I'm not saying, hey, I think. I've heard so many spotters say, I think. Bro, it's not I think, it's do.
Yeah, no.
You do. he is entering like this, done, right? Because if you do give too much to a driver, like, you know, people, like, I can get into a whole other topic of like race day stuff because we can talk about that too. But
please
like,
do, man. Like, we love controversy.
Race day stuff. But as far as like driver spotter connection, right? Same page. So when I say do, just do. Consequences, if I was wrong, is guess what? I'm your spotter, but I'm also your crew chief. I'm also the guy. Your car's in my garage. I'm all these things. We're a team. I'm going to fix your car, right? Yeah. So what are you going to do? You build a car, right? Correct, to crash. That's everybody's first goal in anything in drifting is you got to build a car to crash. So
can you build my next car, please?
Yeah, like I'm down. But like
I don't have a lot of money though.
We'll work you a deal. Just build it to crash. Potty panels are replaceable, right? So guess what? You got to put some paint and some body work into a car and you're back out there. But if I say, hey, dude, you know, Ben's going to check up a little bit, and I'm like, don't let him check up, and you rear end him, like, because he checked too much. And I'm like, well, that's a little bit on me. We're going to fix this one together. Driver can't be mad at me. He has to trust me, and then opposite of that. When you do get into those situations in the more race day, people think that people are snobs at the track. And I'll get into this because this is my favorite topic, actually, is nobody's a snob at the track. Usually it's you're picking the wrong time to talk to people. If Ben White just got knocked out in top 8 and he doesn't feel like it was even reasonable, it's the wrong time to say, how's your day? It's the wrong time to press the driver on, dude, that was killer. The driver don't want to hear it right now, guys. Like, that's one of those things. And he's not being mean. He's dealing with his problems right then and there.
Agreed.
Don't run around saying Ben was a dick or I don't like him.
Everyone calls me a dick anyway.
No, but you know what I mean? Like, there's certain drivers that are competitive out there. They don't like the loss. They are in competitive mindset of the day. And even for a spotter or a team, dude, we want to talk about this. And you're like, we're trying to win today. It's program. I get it. I'm competitive. But, like, when you catch me at the shop, I'm a completely different guy. Yeah. When you catch me at a grocery store, I'm a completely different guy. I'm this guy. Yeah. But here today,
on track, I'm
just trying to win today. I'm going to take a picture always. I'm always going to say hi, but I can't go any further, and people don't see that in the competitive edge at the track. And that's one of the hardest things for me, because you're like...
It's hard to adjust, like, from one side to the other. Yeah, man, I get what you're saying. Like, fans don't get it, though.
But they don't get it. Yeah. So that's like the hardest thing to come.
I don't know. I'm not trying to get an FD lessons or anything, and I just want to win Pro-Am. Like, that's been my goal since I got into Pro-Am, and I
get that big boy trophy.
I just want to do well in Pro-Am. Like, went from... I was on Patricia, my wife, and, you know, I went from winning a bunch of events in my grassroots Mustang to not winning a...
Yeah, feeling success and then
in my GTO. Like, that's such a huge letdown for myself. Like, the GTO is great for Team Tandem, but like you were saying earlier, the GTO is just not fast enough. It's a big car. And once I put the 3.9 gears in, it was great, but it just wasn't enough. Like, it's just, without less than it's just a big, heavy car.
Yeah. So it's hard to run up against like a Sean Miller who's got a lighter BMW with Jay-Z making more power, or you end up running against the rocket ship of Brody / Keith / Wallstrom. Like, that car is so ridiculously fast.
God damn it, it's so fast.
Yeah. But then we have, like, Alex Lindsay.
Yeah, you get like Alex Lindsay.
That's the weirdest car because he's so slow in the lead, and then on like his chases, he's hitting you the whole time, and you're like, fuck.
That's why I'm like in the Mustang this year. I'm like, you know what? If Alex can do it, he can get 4th place. I have 0 reasons to get at least top 3 this year. Like, that's how I feel about it.
Alex crazy, you know, like not being mean or not, but like he's confident. But I just feel like Alex plays some games sometimes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, I hate it.
Yeah. Like, we call him a sandbagging son of a bitch all the time.
Like, I'm like, Alex. You like? I mean,
he's playing him like well.
Like, yeah. So like my thing with Alex is even this, and I'll say this on air, is like Alex runs the bank in the rain at literally he crawls to the damn thing. And, bro, I literally left pissed because I said if I had a driver here, his car would have been totaled, my car would have been totaled. Everybody's going on mad, but I'm gonna be happy because dude's never gonna fucking roll up at 22 miles per hour. Clutch kick and ride the upper lane like an OG at 28 miles per hour. We can all do that. I could do that in my grandma's Capri, let alone in a built drift car. Like,
your grandma got a Capri?
I would have done it in a Capri.
Oh damn, it would have been sick.
Dude, seeing that, I would have totaled him. I would have been like, dude, hit him so hard that I replace our chassis.
Push him into the wall.
Dude, push him through the wall.
Brad would have killed him though.
Brad would have killed him.
Brad would have right into his shit.
But I mean, granted, he won the round. It is what it is. Like, congrats. Like, it's part of the sport.
I beat him, so I don't care. I'm better than Brad.
Right? Man, but Alex Lindsay, those rain days.
It was funny.
Wild.
Those are wild.
Wild.
We got like 2 of those, I think. Right?
Yeah.
One of the 3/8 and one on the 5/8.
Wild.
Yeah, we talk mad trash about him at one point, and we're just like, God damn, like, we don't understand. But it's like, you know, if you're going to play games, you have to be a certain caliber of driver as well. Because, like, I'm not a good enough driver to, like, understand how to play games.
I'm the same way.
So it's just like okay, like, kudos to, like, he's a killer driver. Like, he puts it on shit.
He's a spotter. Like, okay, I'll give you one our year because we ran one grassroots, and we ran pro-am, second in pro-am. Orion and Alex Lindsay comes to the shop all the time, and Orion and Alex are buddies. And I think Orion got in his head on whatever round it was. We played some games, and I lost my shit. Like, it was the only time I was mad at Orion, period. And he literally knew it for weeks. And I literally told him, you ever want to be part of me or my program or your program or us together again, you never do that shit again. Somebody beats you, you get beat. You brake check somebody and they hit you because you think that's getting you out of the way for a win or whatever because you think you're going to lose. I don't know what the hell you're thinking. Don't do it. Like, there's no class. It's not cool. It's not fair for anybody. And it's proving nothing. If somebody puts it in your car and you're literally told, run a clean lean lap, right? Go out there and run a clean lean lap. You're good. And then let the guy chase you. They're going to do the same thing and you're going to chase them. Let that decide it. Don't brake check this,
some
that.
Games, like,
games, dude. Oh, and like I said,
games, dude.
I built my car to crash it this year. If there's games played, I'm stuffing fools, dude. Like,
I feel like straight consistent. Like,
I'm just gonna stuff guys,
time
dude.
To do that crap. Like, I just want to go out and drive.
Exactly.
Like, if you're on my door, great. Like, awesome. Like, you're a great driver. Like, that's just how I feel about it. I'm not. I don't know. I just don't like. I don't have the tolerance for that crap. I don't know.
And the other side of that too is like, Alex Lindsay made me think of this. Is
the guys shitting on Lindsay? Is that the segment right now?
No. It just made me think of this.
We could do it every podcast.
The guys that complain, the guys that complain about like money spent in programs, where it's spent and why, right? Dude,
you should see our group chat and what Eddie said.
Always going to be a guy that has more money than you.
STFU.
You know what I mean? There is.
It's racing.
Like, it's damn near racing.
It is racing.
All the guys with all the money are already in FD. And the guys that have a lot of money are on their way to FD.
Yeah, they know what they want to do. They're going there.
Like every guy in FD's got some mom and dad or something they've done.
Yeah, sugar
that
daddy.
Has literally made it so they can be there.
They've fondled some wrinkly balls and they've gotten some dollars.
Ben's gonna be my new sugar daddy.
But for real though, you know,
but I need Lauren to be my sugar mama so I can be your sugar daddy, man.
But low key, we can't sit here and argue and make fun of the guys that are there doing it. Like, it's just not. I mean, why?
How are you gonna? How are you gonna throw shade at the guys?
Hey, it's not fair that you built a car that has
you guys
700 horsepower. No, it is.
Tell me which Pro-Am driver has the whole season paid for and all their tires covered and gets to go to Takeover every year. I mean, I'm just saying.
Eddie, what a dick.
Slow Eddie.
I know.
Slow Eddie.
Damn Eddie.
And gets to go to SEMA every year.
Over here.
And gets to go to SEMA every year. Unpaid. I mean, not out of pocket or anything. I mean,
we should check Triangle's Instagram though and see how many posts of the Mark III Supra there is over the GTO.
I mean, why does that matter? I mean, going back to who gets to drive Pro-Am every single year and not have to pay a single dime for tires, and gets to sell tires, and
that's right. Eddie is our pusher, man.
I know, he is the pusher, for sure.
It's like,
hey, we bought a lot of tires from you.
Hey, you need these tires? Like, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You bought a lot of tires from me. Yeah. I appreciate the sport. I mean, the tires are awesome. I'm trying to. So this year I went to SEMA and I was trying to push for the TR967, which is like the Achilles of the Triangle, and
so it's not on performance.
It is a great tire. But they don't make it in a big enough tire size. So I was trying to push for that tire in a 265, 275, 285.
Well, you should 255 or 265, I think, because 255 seems like the norm for, like, I mean, especially Pro 2.
Yeah.
So that's what, I mean, we should really like focus on that size and build our cars around that size, but we're idiots, so we just
We just
overcompensate
go
tire
overcompensate,
size.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great tire. Like I was telling him, I was
Have you run
raving
it?
about it. Oh, dude, yeah. I ran it in a 245, and it smokes like it's crazy. It's like a 9-day difference between the TR968. It's a great tire. I just need to get them on board to making that size. So I'm working with them right now to try to get that size made for the TR967. It doesn't look like a great tire. Like if you look at it, you're just like, oh, it's just.
I think I've seen the tread pattern. I'm just.
I
like,
run it on the
okay.
front. I run it as a steer tire because
Really?
I used to run the 968 as a rear as a steer tire, and
No, that's like an all season.
It's
like
it
you
didn't
don't
work.
want that up front.
I
You're
had a
gonna-
lot of understeer, especially in
Yeah,
the rain.
yeah.
It's a good tire. It lasts a long time.
Well, yeah, but that's not what you need up front.
No, and so
You're not
I ran
burning. You're not spinning tire up front.
exactly.
You're trying to steer the boat.
Right.
That's your rudders.
And so I ran
The rudder?
That's your rudder.
So I ran the 967 on the front. Never a single problem with understeer.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm trying to get that tire to be made. I'm working with them right now. It's a great tire. I'm really trying to promote it. I'm trying to get it so that obviously the tariffs are kind of holding them back right now. That's a big deal for them right now. They have a bunch of cool tires that they can't get over to the States because it's just not profitable for them. But not to get too serious, but yeah, like that's a good tire, you guys. If I even told them, I was like, hey guys, like I blew a tire out front 4. I was like, I was trying to do everything I can. Even I would buy the tire online to try to get that tire from my driver's side. I couldn't even find the tire online. So
Dang.
I told them, I was like, you guys need to get, if you guys can get this tire, get it in this size, get more sizes. A lot of people would buy them. So it's very comparable to the Achilles 123S, not as soft a compound, but as far as like smoke wise, grip wise, it's just a step below.
Probably better price point.
Yeah, and it's way better price point than obviously the 123S.
The unobtainium there.
I'm really working hard with them on that. But yeah, I know Brandon was saying that they're working with a tire company. Really trying to grow the brand, man. Like I have big plans with Triangle. I love being their brand ambassador. I know a lot of people kind of sweep me under the carpet, but
it's weird because like we've kind of shit on their social media presence a little bit as far as
don't say we.
Yeah,
you.
well, I mean, it's just kind of like randomness and stuff like that, but it's like they need some focused social media and some proper social media and stuff like that to like fully take them like 100% serious. Like we all know that their
Do you want to
tires
work
are
for them?
cool.
I mean, I might be able to get you a job.
I mean, I'd absolutely work for them. Like I love being a brand ambassador. I mean, you've seen what I've done with like the kids' books and like the trying to get the tattoo shop out there and stuff like that. It's like anytime I want to be, I tried to be a brand ambassador for this motherfucker for 3 fucking years. And what was it? First year you picked like the Australian.
Or you picked like the BS that never showed up 3 years in a row.
The turned Australian, and then the Reaper car that never shows up.
Guy has
whose dad has to hold it down now, so he can keep their family name intact and stuff. And
Who's
then
your boy in drifting that pro-am that you're always making fun of?
Which one?
Just think hard, long and hard. Like
long and hard. Oh, now we're getting into it. Yeah.
Initials BS.
I know who BS is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking shit about him too.
Hey, and how
Yeah,
many
fucking
times
Captain
did you show
Hairdo?
up? How many times did you show up and he was
The
the
JDM
brand ambassador for Takeover?
I know, and that's what
I
I
only
said. I'm
worked
like-
like 100 feet from that guy.
I'm like, bruh, like I told Brandon, I'm like, you guys putting your money in the wrong place. I tell everyone to go to this fucking event. And he's like, yeah, I know. But I guess they figured they already got their money out of me because I'm already telling people. So maybe I'm not going to tell tell fucking anyone about this event.
I'm not even asking for money. I just want a cool decal on my car.
Right? This decal. It may be some cross promotion. Like, look, man, come on, guys.
You guys are getting it this year.
Are we getting it? You're gonna give it to us?
I really don't want it. I don't want a single
guys are
dime.
getting it.
Honestly, bro, if I could ask for a single thing this year, I just want a little bit of help with my LS swap next year, just to piss off Brandon, not Brandon, but
The other
Ram.
Ram.
Aaron Ram?
Yeah.
Tell him to put some sleeves on that he won't LS swap your car and you're gonna
Dude,
conflict
I
him
will
so
have
hard.
everything. I'll have the engine, I'll have the transmission, which I just pulled out today, the GTO. I'll have the ECU, I'll have the wire harness. I'll have the gauge out of my GCO. It'll literally
The gauge. He says the gauge. Right? It's one. You only need one.
Just one gauge.
The Highlander of gauges.
It's just gonna be a literally like GTO swap into a Mustang, and it's gonna piss everybody off, which is gonna be amazing. Dude, that's all I'm asking for.
Yeah. That's all he's asking for.
That's it.
You just need to make them mounts.
Dude,
that's
perfect.
It. Engine mounts at that. That's it. Right?
Yeah.
And it's a returnless system, so we don't even
round
need to add another return line onto the fuel system. It's like,
it's
because the car's are already returnless,
right?
So it's like it's direct bolt-in. Like, what else can I ask for?
Oh, easy peasies, yeah.
It's easy,
right?
I'm excited.
Let's swap into a Mustang. No, Brent. We were talking about.
What are we talking about now?
But Daigo Saito.
Oh, what you? You want to do our quick little touch and go things or random topics? Are we done talking about Brandon? What the?
Dude, we can talk about literally whatever. I'm just trying to have fun.
Sum it up.
Brandon is the guy that's always in a Mariner's hat and just a regular sweatshirt
and some dirty ass pants.
Always.
Yeah. He puts clean underwear on, but he puts the same dirty ass sweatshirt and goes to the same dirty shop every day.
My daughter was up here earlier. She was like in love with him. Like she's not.
It's dad vibe.
She is not.
Yeah. Well, it's because you look like Gritty too. You look like Gritty. That's what it is.
Gritty.
What do you mean you don't know? I told you who Gritty was, man.
Who's Gritty? Oh yeah, Gritty.
The mascot for the Philly Flyers. Yeah, because when you had your flow going,
I cut
when you had the salad
hair last night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably tell.
Yeah, Camila's
it looks
not
about the same.
Social,
yeah.
Camila's not the social butterfly, and she saw Brandon, and she was like, you want to see my room? You want she was telling everything. Like, she is not
she's
social
so
at
funny.
all. And
can I tell the story about her when I came in?
Absolutely.
Because I was talking to Patricia downstairs and stuff, and she comes downstairs and just goes into a drawer and grabs some scissors. And Patricia's like, I'd rather you not use those scissors upstairs. Can you just bring the paper down here? And she sassed her for like 4 or 5 minutes about it. She's like, well, I just have one thing I need to do. So I want to bring them upstairs, and then I will bring them back. And like full on, you see like a small child talking about bringing scissors somewhere, and you're like, hell no, like you need supervision. And she goes, well, fine, I'm gonna go tell Dad on you. I'm gonna go tell Papa. She's like, I'm gonna tell on you because you're being mean. And she's like, oh, honey, this ain't mean. And I was just like, oh damn, oh damn, the sass
she comes
level.
up here, and I hear her like.
Oh, she put it on.
And she started, Mom, let me have scissors. And she starts crying and bawling. And I'm like, come here, honey. Like, I hold her in my lap. She's like, well, are you trying to take the big scissors? Mom, let me have any scissors. I'm like, okay, I'll go get them for you. I go downstairs, grab the orange scissors, give them to her.
Yeah, so she's just daddy's girl, right?
Yeah.
Because she just came up, put the couple tears on, put the lip out, and then Eddie went right down, got the scissors for her. I was like,
damn Skippy, bro. She's my girl.
Damn,
man.
Just rolled through like the wind.
Yeah.
Just came through, got the scissors, and came back upstairs. And I was like, well, where are we doing the podcast thing? I'm like, oh, I guess we're upstairs, and we come up here, and like there's Camila like using the scissors. I'm just like, oh,
and then
shit.
Patricia comes up here, she gives me the look like, I told her she couldn't have those scissors. I'm like, oh, well, I told her she was fine.
Just like,
and then Brandon comes up behind her like, wait, we're doing the podcast in the master? We're doing the master?
We're in the master bedroom.
He's like looking at my bed, like, how the hell do I even get up in that bed? Like, that thing is super high.
His bed that's like 6 feet off the ground and stuff like that. He wants to get vertigo to go to sleep.
That's why he does his burpees, dude.
Right?
Bro, did you see my bike over on the other side of the bed?
Yeah.
And then I have my pull-up bar in the closet, in the walk-in closet.
And he's all about his fitness, dude.
Oh, bro.
Yeah, I'm
if
about
you want to drink
drink
some ciders, you got to stay fit.
Mm-hmm.
That's fake.
No, God. So Daigo's coming back in FD, which I don't care about.
So you wait? Do we sum up Brandon enough?
Yeah, Brandon obviously.
All right, we summed you up. Fuck you.
I love that dude.
Yeah, we summed me up. Basically.
Hold on. Ben, what is one thing you absolutely love about Brandon?
Dude, so every year at Takeover, when we get to like the party time, that's when he lets go, and it's just like I'll always be like in a minute and like kind of like sloshed, like very fucking sloshed, and I'm looking around, and all of a sudden I'll see Brandon and his brother, and they are just having the best fucking time, and they have like this big grin on their face, and they are just in like this pure happiness mode. And that is like my favorite thing about Brandon is like every year, once a year, I get to look over and just see like the happiest dude ever. It's like when the first day is done and when the party's going on, I'm just like, Yep, that's what true happiness looks like. And like especially this past year when we're like right after Blake and I had our rap battle and stuff like that, the DJ started spinning cuts again, and we're just like,
I'm so bummed that I missed that.
Dude, it was so funny.
We brought back the rap battles.
Dude, it was so funny. It was so bad but so funny. It was great.
Dude, you freaking hands down won that battle. That was
well, I told
so
him to give me a
rad.
Blumpkin, and I don't know how you come back from that.
You can't. Lumpkin over.
My biggest thing, I so many things, honestly. I can't even pick one. So I met Brandon, gosh, it had to be about 3 years ago now. I met Brandon through Matt Larkin. Me and Matt are really good friends. Me and Matt started drifting around the same time. And I remember, I was having issues with my handbrake. I couldn't get it. The rear wheels lock up. And I remember meeting Matt, and I was just kind of like looking at his handbrake. And then, anyway, so I met Matt, and then he introduced me to Brandon. He's like, yeah, I got my buddy, blah, blah. And I was like, cool. And so I met Brandon, and I was just like, who is this guy? Like, he's like a big boy, he's kind of like, likes to eat a lot of food. And so I was like, okay,
that's
cool.
where he's going with it, damn.
And he's so energetic, and like I didn't understand like where did this guy get this? And like he was just so energetic. I didn't understand where he got his energy from.
Dude, he gets hype so quick.
He gets so excited. Like right now, he's not even drinking. Me and Ben had a couple of drinks. He's not drinking, and
you don't drink, do you? No,
hardly. He hardly drinks.
No.
If he does, he gets like hammered.
Yeah,
it's not like he drinks a couple. And so,
you don't space it out. You just go hard once and then go, I'm never doing that again. Then wait exactly 364 days.
Yeah. And so, lots of energy, obviously. And he came up, approached me 3 years ago, trying to get to going to Takeover, and I was like, I want to go. Obviously, I wanted to go. I want to try a new track. I remember one thing that stuck out was when I first started drifting. Was Rob Primo said, drift as many road courses as possible, and I didn't know Rob at the time. And I still don't really know him that well, but I remember him saying that, if you want to go on the FD, drift as many road courses as possible. And I was like, gosh, this is, an opportunity. I was like, man, I had already rebuilt an engine. I had one engine fail. I rebuilt another one by myself. And he was trying to get me to go. And so I rebuilt it. And I was like, I just don't have the budget. And then the next year, I remember, obviously, Ben, Tori told me, you got to go to this event. So that's how I met Brandon. I met him through Matt, and he was just telling me how good of a driver, how awesome he was, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, okay, I can tell, he's got good energy. I didn't understand where you got energy from. I was like, yeah. So
it's just personality, man. He's just hyped on life.
Weird. Like,
just stoked.
I do love life. I started to get this vibe off of Brandon. Like, he just wants to be, like, a part of something. He wants to be, like, helping people and make people happy, and, like, and so I got, like, that kind of, like, it kind of fed off of me. I was like, okay, I like this. Like, this is, I can get with this. Like,
yeah, he's a dude. Yeah.
And so I was like, I like Brandon. Like, this is cool. So, that's how I met Brandon. Like, I was just like, I can feed off of this energy. Like, this is like what I like.
Dude, I always get so hyped seeing him at the track. Like, anytime I'm like walking down the pits and I just see his ass, I'm just like, oh shit, could be a good fucking day. But
whether he's on your team or not, you're just like, fuck yeah, I love like seeing this guy. He's always smiling on his face, always like excited about drifting, always around cars. Like, he's like living his passion, even though he's not like a millionaire or anything, but he's like living like what he wants to do. He wants to be around cars, wants to help people out.
Oh yeah, he's committed. He sold his Mark IV Super to make it happen.
He's committed. Someday, I really do. Like, I'm calling it now. Like, you're doing what you want to do. Like, you might be broke now, but you're gonna be like that guy that like just kept pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. You like doing your passion and love what what you're passionate about, and you're gonna be able to, like, we were talking the other day. Like, you were talking about how you wanted to open a racetrack. I was like, dude, I would love to do that. I would love to open a racetrack and just have, like, a place where people can just have fun. And even if I'm not making money, but you're there and you're having fun, like, even if you're breaking even,
Yeah.
That's what it's about. That's what life's about. Like, Ben and Tori.
Where am I going? I'm under the bus now.
I'm calling Ben and Tori out. Like, we're on a...
Why Tori? Fuck Tori. He's not here. You don't have to call his ass out. No, make it about me. I want some attention. Come on.
Tori's the worst. No, you guys are both the worst. So we're on a group chat, and Ben and Tori are always calling me out about bullshit, and I'm fucking tired of it. And
he brings it on
I'm
himself.
kind of to the point where like I kind of like you guys probably didn't know this, but I completely ignored that chat for about a month.
No, we knew. It was quiet.
I wasn't reading anything. I was like, you know what? I need to regroup. And so I was like, they were kept tagging me and shit, and I was like, I need to regroup. Like, something's not right. Like, I'm off my game here, you know? And so I just got to the point where, like, okay, you know, I listen to a podcast where, you know, it's about, like, being nice to people. Like, be nice to people, even if you're friends. Like, there's a fine line where you're, you know, you're nice to people and giving shit to your friends. And sometimes, like, you go too far. You kind of cross that boundary. And so I like to find that boundary where, like, now I'm like, you know, Ben will give me some shit about something. Hey, man, be nice. Like, just be nice. You feel better. And, like, I've found that in myself where, like, you know, it doesn't matter what team you're on. Like, be a nice person. Be a nice person to other people, and you'll feel better. Like, I was super stoked when Ben got that catfish. That catfish Camaro.
That's the dumbest thing ever.
I was like, literally, I even said 2 podcasts ago, I was like, literally in the fucking break room, jumping up for joy for my bro. Like, and I was like excited for him. Not even my car.
Right.
Like, and it made me feel good. Like, I walked out of work, I was like excited for him. Like, you know, and like that feels better than like, why the fuck did you buy that? Like, why? I felt better doing that than like giving him shit for it. And so you guys...
No, you should shit on it a little bit.
No.
How are you going to shit on it, though?
No.
What are you going to shit on about Catfish
nice
Camaro?
person.
What are you going to shit on? It's got T-tops, baby.
Dude,
it's LS1 with
cool car,
6-speed with T-tops.
The only thing I don't like about those cars is how far the engine back is into the firewall.
I know, right?
Yeah, but...
It's so fucking dumb.
I'm excited for you, man. Like, honestly, like, friend to friend, like, I'm excited for you. I think being a nice person, Brandon, like, is a happy person. He's a great example. Being a nice person, you go way further in life.
Oh, yeah.
Being a good person.
Oh, I get it.
Don't be a shitty person.
Like, in fairness, you bring a little bit on yourself, and it's like it's not only like I pick on you, because you and I went at Tori when he was doing the spacer adapter thing, and we're just like, yeah, whatever, guy. Like, if you want to be a shithead about it, we could totally be a shithead about it. But like, it's your sometimes the way you word things is it's not the most eloquent way to word things.
Yeah, sometimes
you don't portray your actual message, and so you word things weird, and we'll kind of sit on it, and then you'll like say something else about it and try and clarify, but it just digs a hole deeper, and we're just like, ooh,
yeah,
I don't know.
Of course, you guys have to. You guys have to. Sorry, I just had the mic on mute for that whole sentence, but
Who's mine?
No,
you cut me off?
I had
I got stuff to say
for that whole thing that I just said. I had my mic on mute. I'm sorry, you guys. But anyways, so, yeah, obviously, I say shit that obviously is stupid. But, of course, like, Ben and Tori have to, like, use a microscope and be like, let me dig into this deeper, and let me just fucking dig a hole for him, and let me just, oh, you said this? Oh, what? And
Yo,
it's just like,
for like a year and a
sake.
half, Eddie was like grammar Nazi. And he just come in hot.
He's still grammar Nazi.
He's still grammar Nazi, but like there was a point where it's just like every post that he made had a grammatical error, and so we're like, hey Eddie, you piece of shit, like learn how to spell. What is grammar, dude? And
you know what?
Funny. And
What drives me more nuts is not the grammar; it's the spelling. I cannot stand like we're fucking Americans. Brandon, obviously, I'm sorry. I'm calling you out. You're a terrible speller.
I don't dare.
And it's like, you have one job to do.
I just literally... I literally talk to text. It spells it however it thinks that you've used it.
You have one job to do as an American, and that's learn how to speak and spell.
No, this is America. You can do whatever you want. Free country.
And Tori, you approved that fucking message on Pro-Am.
Yeah, light them up.
And you...
Light them up. I can't edit it.
You should have denied it and told him, hey, you gotta fix your grammar.
I saw the grammar, but I'm like, look, I like J2, and like, you know, you can grammar Nazi all you want on stuff, but like at a certain point, it's just like, yeah, whatever. Like, you understand the basic message, and so we can flip each other's shit, and it's mostly fun to flip you shit because you were very adamant about it, and it's like I understand because I've made a great effort in life to try and be grammatically correct.
You're actually really good. Like,
yes,
your grammar doesn't bother me.
The only thing that'll fuck me is like autocorrect. Autocorrect will fuck me, but I understand how to use like your and like that shit and there and stuff like that. Yeah.
I only do if it's a proposal to a company. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, I mean, if you're texting your friends, like a lot of my friends will text me and stuff or message me, and it's just like
you get what I'm saying.
I'll decipher through. Like I'll get through this cryptic code. Like
you get it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If I put a you instead of you, you still get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I don't do that. I don't do that.
My biggest thing is, obviously going back to what I said is just
you gotta
person.
but if you go into it with a positive light with anything. Like, I mean, you're going to have a positive outcome, but if you go into anything negative, like, obviously you're going to have a negative outcome. And it's, I feel like you said, with anything in life. So, I get it.
Dude, I'm telling you, we could go on to, like, a crazy topic that I'm passionate about.
I like it. Let's do it.
No, it's where you don't want to go.
Oh, where are we going?
No, it's nowhere near. But I'm telling you, Eddie's right in 100 million ways. People just need to be more nice. Period. No, I'm serious, because we're going through a day and age where people can't have the knowledge, feelings, the whereabouts, the know-hows, the new-who's, anything's about. They're joking, and people are taking things literal. Yeah. And literal from age of being teased from small to adult. We're seeing the craziest shit we've ever seen in our lives, and that's what I'm saying.
Social media and stuff nowadays,
it's incredible. So
okay boomers
like
now.
My mom says, if you don't have anything good to say, just don't say it all. Yeah. Because there's so many people that you know I'm joking, but by the end of the day, when I keep telling you your hair is fucked up and whatever because you got a bad haircut, you're like, I'm gonna put a hat on, and then you take your hat off, and everybody says it again. You're like,
I'm gonna keep. This is me now.
Well, no, you literally think of crazy ass shit. Like, okay, say it again. I'll punch you in the face. Yeah. Or I should kill myself because I'm ugly. You know, I mean, those are the hugest spectrums of whatever. But it's literally society today, and there's not enough damn nice people to just like say, "Hey, dude, like who cut your hair? Like, let me fix it."
This is a day and age where we have to like be nicer. I agree.
Someone that does even among your peers though, because like there's some things like we joke about in our shop. We have a bunch of dudes that are always swinging by, and a lot of times for me when I leave, I say, "Damn, why are they so negative?" Yeah. Like, why? There's no need. Like
the problem is,
like why? Because the second I feel you're negative or you're negative, I'm like.
Yeah, that rain cloud movement,
I'm like,
and you're just like, fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you. Like, what's your deal, right? Because
it's like, because they're miserable. Yeah. Their misery is taken out on you.
I don't know why this doesn't happen. It's because you're fucking Eeyore.
I don't know. I listen to you, Ben, and like, not to call you out or anything, but I listen to you, and I like, dude, like, you have a great job. Like, you're really blessed. Like, you really are. Like, you have a shop where you can work on your car.
Yeah. He works at Boeing. He's rich.
Well, he could be
just
like
rolling in doughs.
Like if you, like, no, I'm not even gonna go that far. But like, you're really blessed. Like, you have a job where you can provide for your family. You can take care of your son, take care of your dogs. You have a really good job. And
it's one.
Well, I'm not gonna go there. I don't want to go to the sadness. But we're rich. Like, we're really rich Americans.
Oh yeah.
And so. For us to be sad about that, like, there's people in Africa. I've been to Mexico multiple times where I'm just like, I don't know how these people live here.
Yeah. I went to Indonesia and I was looking at some of it and I was just like, ooh, that's rough. Like I get it. Like, I mean, you could always look at it like, like, this is great. Like, I'm getting paid way too much money for way little work and I can get, like, all this cool shit. Right. Like, you can still be annoyed by stuff. You still bitch about it. You can bitch about it a little bit. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, no, and I get that.
I worked at Boeing for 6 years. I got hired in 2010, and I quit at my 6th year because I was miserable. And
you had them golden handcuffs and you quit.
Yeah, that doesn't mean shit to me though. Like,
that's
that
fair.
Mean? Like, literally,
dude, you're trading your time for money.
I'm literally trading my time for money. I can do that anywhere.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I
That's
can
what I tell people.
I literally can do that anywhere.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because guess what? I'm like, oh, hey, Eddie, look at your ceiling's not painted white.
Right.
You want me to paint your ceiling today? Like this weekend?
No.
You're like,
I'm not painting anything ever again. Fuck that.
No, but for him, though, for me, like, I have a painting company, right? Like, that's literally how I make all my money. Like, I have a painting company.
Right.
I have a masonry company. Like, we have
You just learn things.
Yeah, I have a T-shirt company. I have.
Yeah, you do.
You know what I mean? Like,
I feel like this podcast needs to be more than just drifting. I like this topic.
Stupid, tiny little things that are like, and how does it all start? Well, it just starts because like one day my mom needed her house painted, and I'm like, don't pay that guy. I'll do it for free. Right. And then you do it, and you're like, that wasn't that hard.
I could have done better.
Could have done better.
Yeah.
Well, that's how you learn.
20 years later, though, I'm like, dude, I could do whatever I want. Like, I mean, I've done $1 million houses. I've done sheds. Like, you know what I mean? I'll paint your shed for $500 every day. Yeah. I'd rather do that job. Yeah. Or I'll charge you $30K to paint the whole inside of this house.
Is you start
it doesn't, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter.
Retirement at that point. You got to think about that.
Well, you got to be smarter. You got to just put money aside.
Yeah, that's when you got to be creative. It's not just done for you. That's when you start going to the bank and getting like IRAs and like stuff. Like
buy some homes, get some rentals, actually invest, and then you invest some money. But no, Boeing's like a great place for the average guy that just wants to put his head down and work. But if you want to not be part of the circus that I call it, and the bureaucracy of everybody that's doing the same damn thing, and you're all getting paid the same whether you're working or not, dude. It can eat you up as a person, and you gotta not let it do that. But that's why I quit. I was like, dude, I'm done. I'm over. I'm complaining about my job too much, and I just need to not work here. And it was two good days at Boeing. The day you get hired and the day you quit.
Damn. Yeah. Well, that's what. Like, I mean, if you work there, you got to be able to let shit roll off your shoulders, and like it. Because there's been a couple times where I got like at my 5-year mark, I'm like, I gotta figure something else the fuck out. Right. Like I was freaking out, man, because I'm like, man, if I start making another like what is like $13 an hour and getting like to the max out rate, I'm like, I'm never gonna be able to leave. Yeah. Because like I'm gonna reach that certain level, I'm not gonna be able to live without it. And it's like now I'm like I'm 12 years in, and I'm just like, well, they're still paying me. Like my paychecks don't bounce. This is cool, but I'm starting to like look at different avenues and see like it is difficult because I have a kid and like I have all those responsibilities now, and I do have like the house, car payment, stuff like that. Like I need a certain amount of wealth in my life to be able to maintain. Yep. So it's like, man, it would be really cool if I could get rid of some of that and also pursue a different avenue that maybe I'm actually passionate about, right? Instead of just hanging out and getting paid $40 an hour. Right. Like it's rough, but it's just like it's. I got in there right out of high school. I had one other like job, right, and then I got into Boeing, and it was just like, yeah, this makes sense. Like this, like I'm making tons of money. For nothing.
Low key, like that's why we, as a group of car enthusiasts, need to plan together, think together, and if you are passionate about certain things, like do things together and bring in the right people at the right times to create the right things. Well, that's then everybody is prosperous. You got to understand that every time you do something, you're not always going to make wealth, right? But you have happiness. You can provide something that there is a wealth.
There is a wealth, and it's how you want to define it, right? So you can define it monetarily, or you can define it with the knowledge that you gain and stuff like that, or the experience that you gain, stuff like that. There's all kinds of wealth and stuff like that. There's all kinds of experience that goes into it, and it's just like, it just depends on what scratches that itch for you. Like I'm cool enough with making the money I do, like, and just putting my head down and then going home and getting to work on my drift cars or something like that, or do cages for like random people, like as I can.
Dude, you know what's wild? I learned this is everybody builds cages.
It's nuts, right?
Everybody, not me.
Well, it's so easy. Yeah, because it's like, just go to JD Squared or go to RotoFab and get the bender, and then all you have to do is like not even math, draw lines and chalk on the ground and go.
Wild how people build cages. Yeah,
it's like that's it.
Have you learned how to TIG weld yet, Brandon?
I've been practicing quite a bit, but man,
it's hard. Eh?
Well, like, because I practice all the time on aluminum, and like I got a good teacher, but like I don't know, I do it on my own stuff. Yeah, right. Yeah, but like as far as like
having someone pay you money and you do it and put it out as a product.
Yeah, like right? I mean, if you guys were like, hey, you have to have this tomorrow, bring it over. Like, don't judge me. It's not going to be dimes, right? You're going to be like, but it's not going to leak. right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'm confident in that.
I just need
as far as just like
you're trying to butter him up for something?
As far as like just feeding the rod, dude, it's so tricky in order to like.
Well, the aluminum too, because you got to fucking power pump that shit in, and like
wow.
the way they tell you to do it with running your thumb through your fingers, you're like, what are you talking about?
And you're literally like, because you dab and you lose, right? So you're literally like you're walking it through your hand, and you're just like.
That's how you're supposed to do it. You're supposed to like run your thumb through your fingers and just feed the rod through it. Especially because aluminum, you got to power fuck that thing with so much rod. It's crazy. Yeah. Yeah, and
it's weird because you can go too hot, too cold.
Yeah.
Like,
so MIG welding is just like set it and forget it. Basically.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Like once you got your settings basically figured out as far as like the thickness of material and stuff like that, you just kind of
right.
Cool.
So I'll just need on the Mustang. I'll probably just need well, I was gonna have Spencer do it. I don't know if he's gonna do it or not, but I'll just need the 8 pillar bars, and then I don't know if for the 3/8 do we need anti-intrusion bars?
No,
not for 3/8.
Okay. So I'll probably do them anyway because I had one accident.
Dude, literally
do them at the same time. Because if you don't, you're just gonna charge you $1,000.
I fucked up so hard because Tori asked me at one point to do his anti-intrusion bars and fix it or change his door bars. And I threw out like a number. I was like, I don't know, like $600. He's like, done. Okay, I'm bringing it over right now. I'm like, fuck, I undercharged him. Like, I really didn't want to do it, and I thought I priced him out, and I totally didn't. I'm like, shit.
That's hilarious. Yeah. So I'll need. I'm gonna see if I can get Spencer to do it. I was gonna do a Torcom on that car. I was like, you know what? I'm probably gonna be getting a coupe eventually, so I'll swap everything from that car into the coupe. And so I'll probably just do the 8 pillar bar anti-intrusion bars. And that way, if I decide to do 5/8 for that car, then I will. It'll be set up. So
keep the vert, man. Verts are dope.
I like verts, man.
No one done it.
It's the only car that I like verts. Yeah, and I'll probably keep the top on most of the time, to be honest.
Like, that shit's sick.
Yeah, it just
like that's
cool.
what you do with a vert.
Yeah.
Like, you think I'm gonna run that Camaro with the T-tops in?
No.
It's gonna be monsooning out there, and I'm gonna have the T-tops out. Yeah,
with the windows down.
Yeah. And speaking of, like, I'm telling you, if anybody wants a car back on the drift for sure, to like literally practice in. Death carts, ugliest damn thing.
So ugly.
No, low key.
Yo,
guys, hold on. Just hear me out real quick.
This conversation's going to become a confrontation.
It's okay. Listen, death carts, dumbest, ugliest, not cool. Tire consumption, literally 0. We drove straight 5.5 hours straight at park on 4 tires. Period.
On dry pavement.
Dry pavement.
No way.
Triangles.
Unreal. That's crazy.
There's no weight in the car. And it's literally simulates everything. It's all the same.
Really?
Bro,
that's
bang for...
Have we talked about this and how much I fucking hate those things?
He hates that.
Well, we did. We brought it up.
I heard you low-key like talk shit one time when we were at the track with Orion, and you saw our car go by, and you were like, oh, the fuck... He like freaked out. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, no, I get it. Like, I love cars, right? It's by far anything but a car. It's just a bunch of bar on literally a floorboard.
Right.
But if you want to go out, bang each other, right? Because like,
fuck yeah,
like for real, like just fucking clank bars, dude. Clank bars. Yeah. We're in the master bedroom. We're banging. No, clank bars with you and your friends because you all have like 5 death carts. You don't ruin anything because nothing ruins, and B, your tires go all day.
That's impressive.
All day.
That's pretty good.
That's the trick for the trade. I just gave you the whole trick.
But I don't want a death cart.
Yeah, the hardest part of that is telling your parents you're gay, right?
Yeah.
Mom, I bought a Miata.
Fucking.
In case you guys didn't hear earlier, Tori, you're probably going to be listening to this episode, but I was really far from the mic. But I was just saying, quick recap. I was saying that you and Ben need to be nicer.
Bringing it back up, bringing up old shit again.
Least and favorite most FD driver, Brandon.
Are these your questions?
My least favorite and most favorite?
Yeah.
Be nice, but talk shit about someone real quick.
Dude, just I don't care. It doesn't matter. You're not listening,
man.
So.
No, I know. I don't know, dude. Like, that's hard to say in like my field of like what I'm trying to do, but I think I love Matt Kaufman because he's just for real every time I've hung out with him now, and I spent some hours with him out of most guys. I love Travis. Travis has been like a great advocate for what we're actually trying to do and get going. And Raider, I mean, he's just like a stud muffin, right? Yeah. Brandon Schritt's a homie. He drives up there. Brody's cool as fuck. And then least favorite.
Where did you get pho from? Did you get? Don't tell me you got that from Orion.
The coolest pho.
What
Yeah, you gotta add the
We're not drinking soup here.
Yeah, it was PHO.
I love some pho, though.
It was PHO.
Yeah.
I wanted a P5. And then, my least favorite driver has to be Chelsea DeNova.
What?
No way!
What? I need 3 reasons from you.
Yeah, me too. That's one of my favorites.
You're about to get kicked out of the fucking master bedroom, and Eddie and I are going to turn this into a twosome.
This is a controversy right here.
Not a Chelsea DeNova fan.
What about? Is he because he talks shit on the internet?
No, I don't know. It's deep. It goes way too deep. It goes way too deep for me.
No.
I mean, even if this was edited out, hashtag edit out,
bro.
I don't know.
Hashtag truth tree.
Yeah.
No, I get it. We'll talk about it off the podcast.
Yeah.
I know why.
There's like things
It's all good.
I don't know.
You know what? Chelsea's. I like his driving style. He's one of my favorite driving styles. I was just thinking about this today. Like, he always responds to my messages for the most part. But he does. I can see where you might not like him. I can see where he can kind of come off as cocky. He can kind of come off as like, I'm the shit or whatever. Like, I can see that, and there's something deeper than that we're not going to get into. But I can totally. I get it. It's. But man, his driving style is
ham as
my
fuck.
Yeah. I love it.
Ham and eggs on track.
I love it. That was actually one of my questions was on it was my question was drive to win or drive with aggressive style.
Drive to win.
In a comp.
Drive to win.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Yeah. For me.
Yeah, I can. I can relate. It's all good.
Should we ask him the top 10?
Hold on, I got more questions.
Oh, you got
LS
more
or
questions?
Jay-Z?
LS.
You're taking my fucking top 10.
Is it one of them?
Yeah, it's one of them.
Shit, dog. My bad.
Mother love bone.
What about this one? You don't have this one.
Well, you want me to just ask him and then?
No. Hold on. I know you don't have this one. Osbo or Dean?
Osbo. Every time.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Ben.
All right, these are the top 10. These are the ones we've asked everyone, but Eddie wants to ask them out of order. Whatever. Mm-hmm. What was your first car?
First car, 77 Chevy pickup truck. Got it from Grandpa. Crashed it the very first day.
Square body, huh?
Square body. Yeah.
Nice.
On it.
I like
complete
those.
Accident, street racing.
350?
Yep.
Sick.
Me and my dad had built it up. Grandpa died, gave it to me. And it was like 66,000 miles on a 77.
Long bed or short bed?
It was a long bed.
Nice.
Did it rip? Was it a ripper?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. So I raced.
Two-wheel drive?
Travis Zimmerman, and he was in a Camaro. Like the body style before yours. What is the IROC Z? Yeah. And we were hammering, dude. It was homecoming, junior year, and it was foggy as fuck. Road turn.
Where did you get that
road turn.
Stop saying pho.
Road turn, dude.
We don't allow that in this podcast.
See, this is why we should talk him in Daddy Daycare.
It's okay. It is what it is.
Bad.
It is what it is. I don't care. It's not going to be me. Road turn. I went straight into a field and tagged a rock, like a boulder the size of like that, and it stuffed my cousin into the windshield.
Damn.
Yeah, and it was game over. Car was totaled. And the first car I saw, because I knew I was in trouble, I waved him down. It was a Snohomish County Sheriff. Screwed immediately.
Immediately screwed, but you're like, well, this is probably best case scenario.
But I was hammering him, dude. The truck was fast.
All right, so Jay-Z or LS motor?
LS.
That's what you like.
Please give me just a brief explanation why you would go LS.
LS just because, like, hey, if you need a set of heads, like, you could literally call every person in the world, bam, need some push rods. They might not be chromoly from your BTR, but, like, you can literally go to the parts store and grab them. Try to overnight or double pump a Jay-Z head. Bro, it is not happening. Try to have your friend build one. Not happening. Have the right cooling system, the right day for it. It's just not, it's impossible. But the guys that run them, they run them efficient. They're a great motor. They have got their thing done. But for your everyday Joe that's trying to get into something, LS. Because literally, if you don't do too much to the LS, they'll probably run for a long time themselves. Yeah, just cooling.
Just work.
Oil.
Oil.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I just had to put that improved racing baffle in the F.
Yeah, I told you.
Baffle and a cooler.
Yeah,
you don't need a
everyone
Canton.
told me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need anything else. You don't need a Canton.
No, not with the rear sumps are cool with just the baffle for the most part.
I have a front sump, and I just run the baffle, and I'm good.
Yeah.
Well, you don't go fast enough to pull the G's needed to
Bro,
pull the...
excuse me. Let's get into how fast we're going in the 5/8, and we'll see who goes fast enough. Don't even go there.
I was scared. Okay. All right. Lead car or follow car?
Oh man, I'm such a competitor. Follow car.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah,
Follow all
that's
the
a good
way.
shit.
Yeah.
I cannot wait. I'm looking at the track right now, and I literally cannot wait for the season to start so I can run Ben's door.
Do
As
it.
I'm looking at
Do
him.
it.
Yeah.
Waiting. I'll bring out the catfish for you. Kevin or Lupe?
Kevin.
Fuck yeah, Kevin. Hydro e-brake or stock cable?
Hydro.
Duh.
All right. One song to get you pumped before a run.
Oh,
Make me proud.
I don't know you as Odessa. Dude, that was the other thing I was going to bring up about Takeover.
Oh, you can bring it up. A pump song?
Yeah, get you pumped the fuck up.
Oh man, a pump song. What would be my pump song?
It's weird that you keep calling it a pump song.
I don't know. I don't have a pump song.
I want to call it a pump song now. Every time I think of it, I'm going to call it pump song now.
Yeah.
Do you think
Like
of drifting
pump
as
song,
like?
kickstart
Do you
my
think
heart.
of drifting as like hard metal, or do you think of drifting as like Odessa?
No, neither. It would be like Rick Ross.
Shut up.
Oh, shit, son.
Yeah, it'd have to be so black that.
Shut up.
So, the darkness, just some midnight motherfucker shit?
Yeah.
You want some like, some Kevin
Yeah.
Gates or something?
Yeah.
Or some...
Yeah, swear to God.
Yeah. Some
No.
Petey Pob?
It's got to be like
No,
Odessa.
Carolina, go on a raise up.
No,
like,
not
you don't
that.
wanna
It's
take your
way,
shirt off?
way darker than
Way
that.
darker?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
alright.
They
Or
just,
like,
Some rap
they
trap?
just- yeah. They just
Okay.
killed somebody.
Okay.
They're hiding the body somewhere, and I'm like, because like I'm like that's what.
Like
I don't know.
gotta be
Suicide
like-
Boys?
It's got to be.
No.
Or is
like
that too,
Interbloom
like,
Radio.
Other
poppy
side.
trap?
Other side.
Okay.
We're gonna do like any Interbloom Radio edit here stuff.
Is it... What are you doing?
Don't worry about it.
I don't wanna
Just
play
ask
this
some
game.
questions.
All right. Well, you haven't drifted, but you've driven a lot of track.
I've drifted.
Okay,
Yeah.
so what? Just in
I have
all
drifted.
of your drivings, what's the favorite track that you've driven on?
Favorite track. I really enjoy ORP. Honestly.
That's fair.
Yeah, honestly.
How does it compare to like? Does it even compare to
I haven't driven
the
the
road
Ridge
track?
though. I haven't driven the Ridge.
Yeah,
But
no,
I've driven
yeah.
Portland International. I've driven SIR, Seattle International. I've
So it's
driven
like
Willow
Pacific
Springs.
Raceways, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I've driven Willows. I was supposed to drive Laguna Seca. I didn't get to.
You just want to go down the corkscrew once, right?
Yeah, what
just once.
track is in Arizona.
This song is the one that's drifting all the time.
I don't know what he's doing now. He's like
But yeah,
hijacking the podcast
ORP
and just ear
ORP
fucking
is his-
people with this rainbow dick right now.
ORP's rad.
They can't even hear me because I got the headphones on and they don't.
I really like ORP. Like, it's a really cool track.
That's
I love that it's literally in the middle of nowhere too.
It's cool and it's
really
bad
cool.
at the same
Yeah.
time. Like, but I mean,
Be
where else are you
prepared.
gonna have a track?
But it's only 2 days, 3 days.
Yeah. All right. Kelly Kapowski or Lisa Turtle?
I don't even know what that means.
Okay. Well, that's two people we might have.
What?
to
Yeah.
change that
Who
question.
are they?
From Saved by the Bell?
I don't watch
Like
that.
Tiffany Amber Thiessen or the?
Don't watch it.
All right.
You know, it's funny because I looked up Lisa Turtle and yeah, it's fake.
What do you mean it's fake?
It's fake.
What's fake?
Lisa Turtle's
Turtle?
not even a real person.
No, that's Lisa Turtle.
What's the other one?
Kelly Kapowski.
Yeah, that's the one that was fake.
No, it's not. That's Tiffany Amber Thiessen's character in Saved by the Bell.
They look fake.
Yo.
Yeah, I don't know. My wife.
Your wife? That's your answer
Brandon,
for that?
are you going to listen to this podcast?
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so when this podcast comes on, you're going to hear the background music, and you're going to have to play that song at Takeover this year.
and it's
Yeah.
just going to
100%.
invert your penis for you
In
while
me?
you're listening.
And
Yeah,
you're going to
in
get a big
you.
fat boner.
Oh,
It's going to get it in you.
I'd boner it.
It's going to reverse boner you. Just straight up.
Yeah, I'm down.
The beat that drops is amazing.
Did you put like some auto tune thing on there, some echo for your own voice?
Yeah.
So you get like DJ Eddie Gonzalez coming in hot. Get ready for the breakdown from the newest Odessa song.
If you need me.
Rainbows and unicorns in your ear holes. All right, well, whatever. If you could drive a Pro-Am driver's car, whose would it be?
A Pro-Am driver's car?
Yeah, one of the other Pro-Am driver's cars.
If I could drive anybody's car, who would it be?
Yeah.
It should be a DJ.
Probably Wallstrom or Orion's old car.
Yeah? Well, just Orion's old car looked like it was just super easy to drive. And Wallstrom's makes a gang of power and a gang of grip. Dope. You already answered this one, but lifestyle or comp?
Yeah, calm.
Yep. Yeah, you got.
I love the lifestyle stuff, but I'm like my competitive edge in like every sport I've ever played, and I've been a kid that's played every sport. That it just I hate fucking losing. Like it's, and if I lose, I'm going to win the next one. Play me.
Just got that drive. You got that Michael Jordan drive.
Well, I mean, it's just literally.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know. My mom and dad are both not like that. My brother's not like that. I'm the only one that's like that, and I don't know where it comes from. But it's straight up. It is like, okay, you won today, but I'm going to work all week now to beat you next Saturday. So test me, and if you beat me again, I'm gonna double down. And it's like,
I wish you were on my team.
yeah, like, oh, it just pisses me off when I lose. I love losing.
Dude, we should go play.
The funnest
For that
thing about,
drive? For
yeah,
that drive?
because like,
Wanna
the
go
greatest
to
thing about
some-
losing is learning.
Do you want to
like,
go down
you know
to
what I mean?
Gaggencube and play some shuffleboard after this?
Dude, I remember playing Eddie at
Cornhole?
Cornhole,
Yeah,
dude. First time I played Eddie
Did
at
you get
Cornhole.
heated?
Yeah.
If you were-
he
if
straight up was like, my partner sucks. If I had my other partner, we would have won.
Yeah,
and I was like,
stomping around. He gets red in the
yeah,
face. It's
I
like,
did. I saw a side of
yeah.
Eddie that I was like, that was real. Like, damn.
You don't know me.
And then
You don't know.
Dude, ask my close friends.
we almost
how much
lost
I
to
hate
those
losing.
guys at.
Dude, if me or you were on a team on anything, we would be
we'd probably
undefeated.
be in trouble.
We would be undefeated.
Or we'd hit each other.
Could you imagine if one of you
I play a cool game
Right.
when I'm not around people I
Worried
don't really
about
know that well.
Yeah.
I play a cool game. I fucking hate losing.
Yeah.
You don't know me. You really don't.
So, yeah.
You don't know
I hate losing
him.
too.
You don't know him.
That's
You
like my
don't know
biggest
me.
thing in life. I mean,
Ask
we're
Patricia.
all gonna lose though. Like, I mean, that's just the truth.
You have to
my
learn
dad
that.
taught me this. There's always somebody better than you.
Yeah.
That's the truth. That's life. There's always somebody better than you.
Yeah.
But guess what you can do? Prepare yourself to be getting them next time. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, because like they're
Figure it
gonna beat
out.
you once, you gotta figure it out. After
Yeah.
that.
Watch the
So,
tape.
Yeah.
Figure it out
Yeah.
later. Go
Yeah,
back.
the first thing, like, back to figuring stuff out was with Orion was, too. That I knew, like, he would be a special driver. It makes me sad that we're not running Pro 2. Is grassroots round one when he, like, everybody made fun of him. But I was like, I knew he had it. And this is how I feel like I will be. And, like, hearing you guys say, I think you both are on the right path, too. Is when Homeboy drives off the bank and he follows them damn right in the same path off the bank. I said, well, why did you do that? He goes, I was just watching him. I followed him. And I was like,
That's what it should be.
Yeah, follow your
was like-
phone of Valhalla.
That's
literally,
what I was saying earlier.
that's like, there you go. Like,
Yeah, well,
I'm
you
watching. I'm
well,
not
you should
looking
be able
at.
to
I'm
read-
literally just watching him. And
For me, like,
I can't wait till the season starts.
That was awesome.
I have to
That was-
silence my critics.
No, that,
Oh man.
that was awesome because I am on board with that. Like, but I get to a point where like I know where I'm at with the car. Like I know my left tire is on the top lane. Like I know if he's going off, I know I'm not going to go off.
Right.
Like, I know he's going to go off. I'm not going to follow that. Obviously, you should know where you're at on track. You should have a good feeling. And obviously, Ryan does not know that track as well as I do.
No.
So like, obviously, he's gonna follow him. Like, I would have been the exact same boat as he was. So like, bravo to him. That was awesome. But you should know where.
How much time is there left?
What do you mean?
As far as
Just do
podcast,
it.
Yeah.
dude, roll
You just
it.
do what you want.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Well,
not
I'm
gonna
just,
air anytime soon.
no.
I
I'm just saying, like, what, like,
There's no
you
cutoff.
have a cutoff. Okay.
No,
Yeah,
no.
but like, here's one for you guys, and this is like the concern of me for the last 5 years. How do we make Evergreen Drift better?
Man, it's getting better.
It's getting a lot better.
Is it?
Yo, so the fact that
Is it though?
I feel like it is. It's always had just like a negative vibe from like the vast minority of like what's going on. But the fact that we've integrated that there's the cageless tandems now.
Is that making it better?
It caters to a bunch of people. So as far as like, I don't know if it's necessarily making the driving skill better.
Right. Or does it make it for a longer day?
It's making it more inclusive and giving, more people the ability to come out, dip toes in, and get, like, people to run through and run up the ladder. I guess I'm speaking
Pro-Am, too. Pro-Am.
Pro-Am, I think it's, because the first year I ran Pro-Am, it was all 5/8 rounds. And, that's what I grew up watching Pro-Am to be.
Right.
And so I'm just like, man, like, that's big boy stuff all the time. And the fact that they went to 3/8 rounds, I was bitter at first because, like, I had to go in, and that was the year they started doing the anti-intrusion bars and a bunch of other crap. And I'm like, well, I had to do all this stuff to my car, but now this motherfucker just gets to run Pro-Am.
Right.
But it's like, it makes sense, and it's a lot more fun.
Yeah.
Like, it is a lot more fun with the 3/8 rounds. Like, we could get rid of the standard 3/8 layout, and I wouldn't give a shit because that sucks.
Right.
But it's like, I don't know. It's starting in first gear, basically.
What if Evergreen was ran at 2 different tracks, though?
If the
like,
Pro-Am series...
What if we ran a Pro-Am series 2 times there, 2 times at the Ridge, and 1 time somewhere else?
Yo, if we could just run one event at the Ridge, I'd probably just quit drifting. But...
Well, they have a parking lot.
You're saying...
No, I don't want to do the parking lot. I want to do the
cork track. It's funny because... Well, I don't know if you're going to do this or not. How do I say
Can of worms?
No. So we wanted to do an event at the Ridge. And so I suggested to somebody that we should just do one at the Ridge. And luckily it was able to do the event that we wanted to do at a certain location. But I would love to drift the Ridge. Like, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
I think that would be really
if
cool.
we could, but it's going to take the right person to go in there and pitch the idea.
I need 2 more years.
What do you mean 2
more years? I need 2
more
more years of Takeover, and we'll be running the Ridge.
That would be very nice.
They're not ready.
You already said it for me.
What do you mean?
They're not ready
to have drifting out there.
Yeah. I mean,
like they just straight up said, like, give us a couple more years to...
No, it's just like, there's this whole low-key
you want to get
thing
a point to where you have enough people and you can improve
who you are. So, like, I don't know if you guys saw... Okay, I mean, I'm not an advocate to get in here and just start speaking on Grid Life, because it is what it is. But, like, Grid Life isn't running Road Atlanta this year, right? Did you guys see that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, so they're only running Aspen, Colorado, and Ohio, in your mean or whatever. And Road Atlanta's not there this year, but that was a staple, right? You started at Road Atlanta, did it there for the first 5 years. And it's really surprising, but Road Atlanta probably just waived the whole, like, we're going to do it for X amount, and now we see Chris Stewart's an OG, and he's doing something big. So I think if Takeover, like, my plan for Takeover isn't, like, there's another side that nobody even knows about, only me and my brother, but we don't want to just throw it at ORP. Like, I want to throw 3 a year, and I want to have it more of a... I want the festival always to be the festival, but I want to throw a drift series. I don't want it to be Evergreen Drift. Yeah. I want to be like, wow, we have a Streets of. We have Evergreen because it's the home track. We can run the Big Bank. That's fun. Pros do it already.
Right.
And then we can run the Ridge, and we can run the one at ORP. And, like, because I think we could pick a part of that track where we could maybe run a comp. And, like, we're there for a purpose for the weekend. It's not as expensive other than, like, there's a little bit of travel time. It gets you ready. There's a little bit of expense that gets you ready, and all these things that sort of give you a little bit of a feel of like, well, can I actually do it? Rather than driving 8 miles down to your track and saying, it's not that bad. I only went through 80 tires. Well, you're like, well, shit, dude, if you were a real seasoned team, you're like going to Sonoma and Texas and all the things. You got to weather quite a bit of
travel.
My travel costs, my trailer breaking, my wheel broke, and you don't get that with our local series, which I don't know. Like, Evergreen's great. It's a fun track. I get it. But we run the same layouts. Nobody wants to listen on how you can make the layouts a little bit better because we're all stuck in our own way.
Yeah, I was pretty pissed off about that.
Second that anybody says anything, people want to puff their chest, whether it's the judges or whoever. You're like, just listen to us. We're driving the track.
So it on the track thing, it was the judges.
Right.
It was straight up the judges because honestly, Kevin is so open to any suggestions.
Right.
And it's like, if you go up to him and you seem like a reasonable human being, he's going to take it into consideration.
Yeah.
A lot of times he might kind of shoo you away, and it seems like it, but it's because he's already been pitched the idea 15 times, and then they've looked into it, and they just can't do it based on whatever XYZ.
It's like sometimes you see things that could work better than not. You're like, well, make that a rear clipping zone and make that a nose. It would help everybody. because you got to allow somebody to drift underneath you. You can't be cutting people off all the time, right? Like, you can't follow a guy when that's a nose clip, and that's
right. And he's dropping a tire there.
We're pro-am
like,
drivers.
now
We're not FD drivers, so you need to change. And like, we're so against the change that we've done it for so long this way, and it's like, we're doing it that way, but you're making a rear like the guy in the the trail position not be able to drive because the line's not there because the front driver is just not good enough to put it where it really needs to be. And then we want to battle ourselves there, and then Evergreen gets annoying to me. I'm like, dude, we need change.
Yeah, well, there's going to be change next year because the whole judging situation is going to be changed up. And as far as like how the like semantics of it, like how the course is going to run, how they're actually going to be judged, Kevin's delegated all that work to the judges. Yeah, and he says, "Hey, do this," and like his job is to get everyone on track when they're supposed to be on track and make sure like it is the way it's supposed to be per like what they said. So like that's what he does. But like as far as going to different tracks, that I think that's a hard sell to because I mean if you go and talk to Doug's a very smart dude. And
yeah, absolutely, I agree. He's
very much about cross promotion. He's cool with it, but you're also going to be taking out of his pocket if you're going to be taking, I guess you wouldn't be taking an event out of his pocket, but you might be adding one to the series. And so it's like that might be doable. And like you might be able to talk him into that, like run one somewhere else. But like another thing that you could do is like, especially with, cause the Takeover event is like kind of its own standalone car show event, festival, whatever. But then the Drift Cons come in and they're like a partner event to the Evergreen Drift, right?
Series. Yeah.
So maybe that's something where like you guys could talk to Matt Hogness and do like a Triple Crown or something like that, and have sponsors just put money or whatever it is, something of value into a Triple Crown series. So whoever makes the most points out of that Triple Crown, like gets a prize,
right?
Like a good prize that makes it like worthwhile and stuff like that. And because there's already two events that a lot of those guys are going to go to, then having like a third event, like, hey, just come over here. That's 1/3 of it. Like, might as well at that point, and especially if it's like a decent prize. So it's like, I mean, I don't have to tell you, there's 1,000 ways to do shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like, not only that, there's I don't know to bring it up now. I guess I'm just going to bring it up now. Spec D is going to Mission next year. So Spec D, the licensing series in Canada that normally runs like out of Alberta.
Calgary or Alberta.
Yeah. Alberta's the
Alberta,
yeah. There's a lot of bullshit there. They're going to be running an event in Mission.
That's rad.
So it's just
they need to do that though.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like that's what we need to do too. We need to take it a step further. Because you see, like, is it Colorado Drift or whatever Arizona?
Yeah, one of the states travel around.
They're running 4 tracks.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Like, way to go.
Super
good to get people prepped for, like...
You know what I mean? Because you can pick up the guys. Because think about, like, a guy from Montana, right? You get the old TJ Fry-ish. So if we run an event here at Evergreen, or 2, because it's the staple, right? Whatever. It's the one. And then we go to Spokane, right? Well, now he doesn't have to go 5 times to Evergreen. We're traveling to Spokane 1 time, right?
Right.
That's right there for him.
Right.
Diversity is like awesome until you're singled out and you're like,
right.
Why am I traveling so damn far for this same crap that's not benefiting me? And you know what I mean? And then we go to Kelso or Yakima to the circle track, because any layout there we can mimic with the circle track ish. We can figure something else there, right?
Yeah, for sure.
We could do the Orlando layout.
Yeah, but you're not 2 banks. Yeah, but you could though, and then we're opening it up for like, okay, now we have to travel a little bit, and I think that could help the sport in a little bit of just like realizing what we're doing, not just we're back at Evergreen. It's September 3rd.
Well, that might be something. That might be something that is like Takeover becomes a series then, and you could talk to those people and maybe overlap, because this is where the cross promotion with Doug thing goes. You can overlap one event, and so hey, points in this series will like points in the Pro-Am Evergreen Drift stuff on this event will count for points into the Takeover series,
right? Where
we're also going to be running out at SCR or just like the other fucking circle track out in Spokane, or like the Yakima,
or we could
circle
pick
track
a
or
section
South
on the road
Speedway.
Course or wherever. Yeah, yep.
Like just what like I guess those are pretty like I mean the South Sound Speedway is on the I-5 corridor and very close to us still.
Yeah,
but it's
but
like
it's still enough
we can
to make
space it out and like get down to like even park.
Yeah, like
run
and all those guys.
comp.
They come up from like Battleground and like they travel super far to come up to us,
right.
and we're lucky.
Totally.
We're really lucky,
super
right?
lucky.
That I'm 4 minutes away. Yeah,
literally. And we're like, we could drive our race cars to the racetrack. Does it do much for us?
No.
It doesn't prep us for
It doesn't prep us for like.
I mean, but for me,
level.
like for example, like I'm not trying to go FD. Like I have zero desire to go. I used to, but like for me, I'm like, sweet, I got to go down there and drive my car.
I think you get in a new car though, and you start kicking some face, and you get that edge back a little bit, you might change your thoughts.
It's very possible.
There's a possibility if you are a competitive person.
Yeah.
Because like, man, it'd be like strive and be the best in life, but not. I don't want to be the very best.
Right.
That's hard to say.
I don't know. Honestly, like
best,
I have that competitive edge every time I go to Pro-Am and Grassroots. But then I go to Takeover. I'm like, this is fun.
Yeah, right. I know.
This is fun.
There's something
that all goes out the window. There's
something relaxing about just going and driving with your friends.
Yeah.
And then there's the competition day of like, man, if I don't beat my friends, what's who gonna say or what? You know what I mean? Like, because we're human. Like that's what plays with our emotions. And then you get caught up in it, and you're like, all right, I'm going to do my best. And the second you're not prepared for that moment,
right?
You're shook.
Yeah.
And being shook sucks. And at the end of the day, you don't even get what the judge was thinking.
Right.
You're like, what are you?
It's funny because after the last FD round, I was talking to JR. I was like, I asked him, I was like, hey, man, so when are you going to retire? And that's when after all that whole shenanigan went down, like, Kangushi came up and he like straightened out and did that whole walk.
At the Evergreen one
and he was just talking about how the Ultra 4 race, and he's like, I don't know, man. He's like, I kind of want to get more into that, and he was like, I'm ready. Like it was almost like he was ready to be done. He's like, with Ultra 4 racing, I don't want to deal with the judges. Like it's just whoever gets there first wins.
Right.
And that's kind of I don't know. I kind of feel that with drifting. Like I love the comp side, but. There's times where I've lost where I feel like I won.
Yeah.
There's times where I've lost and I feel like I won. I'm like, man, like, I want to keep drifting. It's so much fun, but, like, maybe I can just drift, Takeover and drift, like, these other fun events and then, like, do, like, off-road racing or, like, Baja or whatever. And, like, if I get there first, I win,
Right.
And it's not like that with drifting. Right. So, I think he's kind of ready, like, he's to the point where, like, that driver's seat is for sale. Like, he's ready to have somebody come and take it. He's been in the sport long enough. He's built a brand long enough where he's ready to be done and out of it. So, what you're saying is I 100% agree, Like, I'm to the point where, like, I've realized that I'm at a point in my life where I'm, like, I'm kind of older. I'm 34. I'm more, like, I'm ready. I'm willing to be open to, other opportunities. So, I still love drifting. Obviously, I'm not gonna like walk away from it. Just get up and walk away. I still want to be competitive, but
motorsports are cool no matter what.
They're cool.
Yeah.
No matter
It's so wild because there's two people in the world. There's somebody that sees your car as transportation, and there's somebody who sees your car as an outlet.
Yeah.
And you're like,
with passion.
It's all passion.
Yeah.
Like I remember being at Boeing in this super fat ass. Oh my god, in the F-150 pickup truck. I just got my M5. I'm like, I park it in a spot to where, like, dude, nobody could touch me. I worked on the flight line. And I'm like, I take this end spot. I'm there early to get my spot every time I drove the M5 because I just didn't want anybody to do anything. I come out on my break because I'm like, I was going to grab something, my food or whatever. And I'm like, damn, that dude's door is so wide open. And I'm like, walk up to it.
Can you not?
Dude's truck's door is sitting on my car. And I parked my car damn near 3 feet over, so whoever was going to park here could have been a dumbass and just totally swung the door in the wind, and it would have broke off and wouldn't have come close to hitting me.
Yeah.
Well, his ass takes the 3 feet that I gave, so he's not even in his spot anymore, and he's just resting his, one of these, eating his lunch, and I'm like, well, your door's on my car. What the hell are you doing? I just paid damn near $60 grand for the car, and it's just a car. No. I was like, bro, this is an E60 M5.
You got to get to
I just got this.
You got to learn
this is my opinion. I'm like, no, it's not just a car. Dude, you know what I mean? He's living in his truck. He don't care.
Yeah, he
it's
doesn't
that guy,
shit.
though. You know what I mean? Like,
it's
just a car.
It's like the honey badger.
It's just a car.
Honey Badger doesn't give a shit.
Oh, yeah, Honey Badger don't care. Yeah. But yeah, there's two people in this world, man. It's just a car. And I'm like, nope, not today.
No,
it's never been just a car.
That's my passion. That's what, I tell people a lot. Like
accidents are accidents. I get it. Yeah. But like, dude, like, I gave you all the room.
Yeah, someone gave me a hard time about like the SS or something at one point, and I'm like, look, there's like 4 things I love, and depending on the day, that's at the top of it. Right. So it's like, if you heard that, I'm gonna fucking end you. And I'm just like, not even as a joke. Like, I like that thing a lot.
Yeah, it's wild.
Like, fuck you. So it's just like, I mean, yeah.
That's funny.
Cars are cool, and it's like it doesn't like. I mean, if I wasn't drifting, I'd be doing some other form of racing. Like I'd probably be drag racing.
There's something
trying to do wheelies and
like
shit.
What you said. Like those you've listed like 10 times a bunch of like we should get drift cars to go grudge racing or whatever.
Yeah.
Like the drag strip.
Yeah.
Bro, I can't wait till my car's done.
And you'll go.
I'm gonna go drag racing,
yeah, dude.
Like. I'm going to eat some Chevelle. And they're going to be like, no, it's a 240. And I'm going to put... So I have a bunch of pulleys.
They know. They're fucking wise to it now. They're not stupid about it. No.
Because I think my car with a big tire on it is going to be fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you like the cool
You need to put a drag tire on it for sure.
Yeah, that's
not just
saying.
a big tire.
Fucking
no, I'm talking like a big thing. Like... If I'm not pulling the wheels up for 80 feet, I'm pissed.
You should have fucking wheelie bar mounts on it or something.
No, I could though. I mean, it's so easy.
Just do
it. The whole rear of my car is like nothing there. It's just a tube. And like I could probably mount
just
something.
Just provisions on it just to fuck with them and just stick it out with wheelie bars.
A parachute.
Yeah, shoot.
They're like, did you run at 8? I'm like, dude, I'm about to go into 7s, fool.
Yo, I'm gonna hit that 155 and let the laundry hang, bitch.
But for real, like, there's nothing that would be greater than that.
Dude, I was so mad that no one would go out with me. Like I drive.
Is
like
nobody
shit.
going?
No one went.
Really?
No one went.
Yeah, Matt will go too.
Well, fucking Chase Schmidt went, and he like didn't invite me. Like, thanks, Chase. Like, you fucking
he
dick.
Went?
Yeah, yeah.
Are you going to the toy drive?
Yeah, I'm going toy drive.
Are you driving now with anybody?
I'm meeting up with the like Pacific Northwest custom coupes and sedans thing. So they offered me a spot with their group, like a VIP spot, and so I was just like, yeah, I'll do that. And then I also talked to the guys putting it on, and I have a full set of the autographed Motorhead Garage Productions books, those kids' books, and so I'm going to donate that to their raffle, and so it's like a perfect opportunity for that. So they're going to raffle off a set of books. Nice. So I'll be there in the SS and doing that, and it'll be a good time.
Who would you like to see succeed in Pro-Am this year?
Oh, Pro-Am. I'm not going to lie. I would love to see you, if you run, Zach Farrar, Ben. I think Ben's...
Oh, Ben.
No.
Okay.
Dead nuts. I'm not going to lie.
No, I can tell you weren't just bullshitting.
Because I think, like, there's a couple things that you did in the last 2 years. So, like, back in the day, I remember you had some ugly hatch with like a carburetor hanging out the hood.
Ugly hatch?
That you?
Yeah.
That was you, right?
You want to try and square up right now?
That right? Like,
that purple ugly ass car.
Yep. That car?
Purple ugly ass car.
Bro,
that's one of the finest cars from the Pacific Northwest.
I don't know.
I think you're mistaken because there's 2 against 1 here.
Yo, sexy style hatch with that V-wave wing.
No, low key, like, not my favorite car, right? You go to the track and you see certain cars, you're like, woo, like I was a Roland Gallagher guy. Like I'm like, dude, Roland's car's fire. You know, like just weird shit like that. Whatever for me. And then that's how I didn't know you. I only knew of you because you were like death metal guy, and like I think you wore an open face helmet still back in the day.
Yeah,
did you?
Whenever they'd let me, I'd wear the Danger helmet.
Okay, or something. Yeah. And but so, anyways, I told Tyler like not last year, but the year before, and then I think this year was even more impressive to me because we showed up to the track, and I was like, damn, Ben put a motor in his car. I was like, it sounds different. Yeah. This is good.
I cut the muffler off.
But then you were like, dude,
it's not exactly legal.
You're like, it doesn't have mufflers. And I was like, I told Tyler, I said, dude, I'm rooting for Ben now. There was a point in time to where I wanted to kill this guy named Ben. I didn't even know who you were.
Oh, because of what I play over the loudspeakers.
Damn loudspeakers, dude. I'm like
I still can't stand that music.
There's times where I was like, because I'm not a death metal guy. I mean, I try to fancy him and tell him I'm gonna have death metal at like Takeover. I'm like, and I do look for a couple bands, but they're always hell expensive, and I can't. Like, I don't want to pay $1,000 for guys that I'm like I get people love them, but
where it's just Ben in the front row going,
wild, right? So some of the music, and I didn't even know you. I would just be in the stands like irate. And I'm not irate guy. Like, it's not in me. I'm not the guy that wants to be pissed off, but the music was just like...
Yeah, it's probably the 3 inches of blood just going...
Yeah, and I was like... Yeah. And
I keep telling him to change it.
And I'm like, dude, I want to watch.
I keep not changing it.
I want to watch these guys drive, and I can't not think about the music. So there was a point in time where I'm like, I didn't even know you, and I was like, oh, I want to kill this
you're
kid up
just
there.
shorting circuits out.
Shorting circuits. And everybody's like, oh, dude, if you met Ben, he's so nice. He's actually like a good dude. And I was like, I don't know him, but this music, I'm like, I can't take it.
Yeah.
And I even brought earbuds one time, and I hate earbuds. Like, I will not wear them. Like, I'll shoot guns without earbuds. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, man, are you serious, this music? And then I met you, and I didn't know anything about you, but, you know, we just said hi or whatever, and I was like, oh, that's him? I didn't even know, you know?
Yo,
and I was like, oh, that was him? I'm like, he's got a red beard like me? I'm like, he's got to be half cool. And then we talked a little bit more one time, and another time, and then you came to Takeover, and then I was like, oh, dude, if he's
not
here,
so bad.
Yeah, if he's here, like, he doesn't hate me, then, you know
I can see past his faults.
Yeah, and then before you know it, and then we talked a little bit more, and then I was like, oh, I'm a Ben fan.
Yeah, I toned down the music quite a bit.
And the music, after I knew who you actually were, wasn't actually as bad as the beginning. Because I think that's how we are, though. Because I'm like, oh, well, that dude's not going to change his personality, who he is, because there's other people here. Nor would I.
I changed the music. I did change the music. Because when it's, if it's just practice time, I don't play, like, the death metal and shit. Yeah. I'll just put on, like, Laserhawk.
That was
like, straight up Laserhawk, like, synthwave music, and just, like, let that roll. And then when I'm actually announcing, and I want to capture my vibe,
right?
Then I'll put on like some of the and even then I've taken a lot out of it because like I used to have.
It's not as bad for sure. Like I do realize that.
I had some Bring Me the Horizon in there, and it was just like, yeah, this is a little much.
But it's not even that it's actually bad because people like that. Like there's a group of people that love it. For me, it was just like I'm trying to like even concentrate, and like it's just in my ear, and I was like, oh hell no! Sometimes so
Yeah, your like inner pace is not the same as like the like blast beats.
Music does play with our emotions. Like, dead nut. Like you said, what's your inner music? What's the pump up music? And I was like, I don't know. In order to get mad, I listen to rap.
Yeah,
like rap makes me want to fight people.
Like old school rap.
Go to sleep, bitch. Die, motherfucker, die.
Yeah. Like
time's up, bitch. Close your eyes.
Serious. Like if I want to
fuck your bitch in the click. If I want to, oh shit.
But serious, if I want to go to the gym and lift hella weights, Metallica always.
Oh,
always. Anything.
What Metallica album? I'm gonna judge you.
Probably like Sandman or whatever that one is.
Oh, you want Black Album?
Black Album. I don't know.
This guy over here.
Yeah, Ben's all mad.
I don't even listen to Metallica, but I'm telling you, if I were to put up 315 right now, I would throw on a Metallica song. The other opposite side of that, it could be a bad day, and I'm going to put on Linkin Park and do the same thing to Metallica. But how it plays with your emotions, don't know why, don't know how. If I want to feel the world and be part of everything, this is the one thing that nobody knows about me. Like, guess the last station listened on my radio.
Oh no.
Go ahead.
We're gonna go deep.
Odessa.
No, it fucking Shania Twain radio. Just
it's
man,
be
I
like
feel
Dirge
like a
Bentley
woman.
radio.
You guys are gonna be like, what the?
Green
Is it gonna
Day.
be like Katy Perry?
It's Green Day Dookie.
Is it gonna be like Ariana Grande? Thank you next.
What's the last one I listened to?
Man? No.
Yeah, because this is me. Like this is actually me.
Put it in the microphone. Let's hear it. Into the microphone.
That's the Toby Mac.
Yeah.
So like that's right here is how I clear my mind. This is how I stay grounded. This is how I mean that's the last thing I listen to though.
That's
Is
awesome,
that Jesus
dude.
Rock?
Yeah.
Okay.
Toby Mac's
I like it, bro.
He's like the biggest like rapper in Christian. Like there's him and Lecrae.
I'm down.
Didn't he do that slam song? Like this is the slam.
Yeah.
This is the wood.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like early 2000s
Yeah,
like
old
fucking
school.
Action movie
But
soundtrack.
Toby Mac's like 54 years old.
What?
It's crazy.
It's crazy. He's been in it since he was 16.
I like it, man. No,
But like yeah, for me, like that's my
cool.
reward. Like
Yeah.
it's like, but that's how I clear my head.
That's how I feel
Straight
like
up. Period.
the way you think is like the way we should treat people.
Yeah.
Like,
and you have to. You gotta be nice. You don't need beating
I
them.
have just a couple more questions.
Yeah, ask me about
this one might be kind of long. That's okay. Our buddy Frank. You know our buddy Frank. He's good dude. He's around the drift scene. He's super nice. He wrecked his car. Tell us a little bit about that. You were there, right?
Oh,
Why are you bringing up old shit?
I don't know. It was kind of crazy that we're lucky to have that guy alive right now. Like it was. Pretty
Well, it just
crazy.
sucked. It was rough, and then like after it happened, when his car was going to or from Copart, I saw it, and I was just like, "Holy
Right.
shit!"
yeah, it's one of those things that you hit on very earlier in this whole thing is like, just keep race carring to the racetrack because like it's just that's the truth. We all have a time and place, and hopefully we're doing better than we're doing more goods than nots. But Frank's time wasn't time, and he was hot rodding with a bunch of guys that he didn't need to be hot rodding with. I mean, it was all friends in slow cars, and Frank has like gorgeous M3. It's fast and it's awesome, and Frank probably was showboating a little bit and just like, hey, look at me, and caught him off guard, came around a corner way too fast, hit some gravel on the side of the road, and barrel rolled the M3 off, clopped a telephone pole in half, and literally broke his arm where his bone and everything was. I mean, we tourniqueted his arm to make sure he didn't die. So, what a wild night. But it's just one of those things. It's an accident, and I preach accidents to everybody. It's an accident because it's called an accident, and you don't plan on it happening. And hopefully you have the right people around you while accidents happen. But yeah, it was a scary night.
Super scary.
And craziness to think like you're in a really nice car, you're in a performance car, you're in all the above, but it's cold.
You're in a weapon. Like
Yeah.
Low-key, you're in a weapon.
Yep. It's cold. Frank's not the most experienced driver, period. Like, I think anybody else, nothing against you, Frank, but he already knows it. We've talked about it many times. That, like, you're pushing boundaries on, like, the roads you don't know. It's sort of
Sketch.
It's sketchy
all the
time.
time.
It's just super sketch. Like, there's a time and place, and it wasn't the time or place. And, like, the cool thing about, like, getting the new car, the fast cars, you always want to show off your friends. The realization is like, it's hard to impress the friends that have always had cars that are faster than still the car you already have.
Right.
So, that's why I tell people,
like good job, guy.
Yeah, you want to go jump in your car and go pound down their street. And I'm like, bro, I've had really fast cars.
Cool
like,
story. I'm
it's
happy
not,
for you.
yeah. You know what I mean? I'm like, it's not something. I mean, if it was 2,000 horsepower and I was in a drag car, we just ran a 5.9, I'd be like, holy crap, let's do that again. But other than that, like, there's nothing that's, like, I've been in some 2,000 horsepower Lamborghinis. I've been in 1,600 horsepower GTR. I've been in, like, some 1,000 horsepower WRXs. Like, things that are like,
yeah, you actually can't breathe as you're accelerating.
yeah, you're not going to breathe. Like, you feel like your rib broke because you're like, why did you shift 6 times?
Yeah, the G-forces are just
down
insane.
the freeway and you're going to die.
Why haven't you guys gone to... Have you guys gone to SEMA?
I've been to, like...
Why haven't you guys gone the last few years?
Oh, man. It's because it's just... I don't know, honestly. I really don't know. It's been a plan of mine the last 3.
You should go this year.
Haven't gone. Yeah, I should. I want to go to PRI too.
Everyone should.
Yeah.
PRIs, I guess, is like the jam from like what I hear about a lot of people. Like,
it's
SEMA's kind of dog and pony ish.
Yeah,
but
it's turned into PRI's the real spot to go now.
Yeah, as far as if you want performance
stuff,
aftermarket.
Last question I have for me is, you guys saw the new FD schedule. No more Texas, no more Jersey. How do you guys feel about that?
Well, it's Englishtown. It's not the circle track that they're doing. So the Englishtown thing looks fucking cool. Like, I'm so down with that.
I haven't seen it. If you have a picture or something, let me know.
Well, I don't know exactly what the course is, but the fact that they're just running it there is super fucking cool, because that's where they do like all the Bloodmasters shit. And I'm just like, yeah, hell yeah. And I think like that place runs deep.
Yeah.
Like, as far as the track,
really
like,
deep.
There's a lot of video of them like right near like the front grandstands or track entrance. But how much track there is there, it goes so deep, and it's just like, okay, there's a lot that they can do there, and that looks super cool. And then what was the other one that they
Sonoma? Oh no, yeah, they put Sonoma in, but they ex-nayed
got rid of Texas.
Texas.
That sucks.
Yeah,
I like Texas.
Yeah, me too.
And I mean, I'd always planned to like go down there because like Lauren has family down there, and it just seems like a good time, and like that's what a few buddies make a pilgrimage there to go check that out and hang out, and it's just like, yeah, I should, but I never did, and now I probably never will. So
I know
it's like that sucks, but whatever.
Yeah, I think it'll be all right.
It's kind of shitty that they have like so many West Coast events, and so it just like
I wish they would bring back Pro 2 at Evergreen. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, one day.
Yeah, I don't know why they don't, other than
it's such an easy track. It really is.
I don't know
like,
if it is though. It's easy because you guys drive it. I talk to Pro 2 driver after Pro 2 because this is what I do, right? I talk to the Pro driver a lot too. They struggle bus that track.
So that's fair.
Low-key, I think our Pro-Am, and I had this talk with Rob Carlson and Trent and Rome and all those guys, our Pro-Am guys would hand some of the Pro 2 guys that are good a loss at our own track. Because I think we get to run it a lot. I think the guys don't gauge how to come into the bank and leave the bank. And touch and go is a little bit more difficult when there's a wall there.
Yeah, there's some
it psyches you a little bit more than you, and you're putting a lot of thought into something that doesn't need a lot of thought.
Right.
But you're a lot of thoughts because you've ran it the last 3 years multiple times, and you're now comfortable. I think also, I think you guys might be able to agree with this. I think the big bank gets easier with like coming to Takeover. You know what I mean? Like,
everything does.
Yeah. Right? Like,
you drive faster than other things slow down.
I talked to a couple guys about some things, and like, you know, they're like, dude, when you run the big track like Takeover-ish, like those style events, then you come and even run our fast bank, like was the biggest thing I ever did. It's almost slow, and you know, and like you can back to back that. You know, like we saw Keith Carter come over to take over, and then came back and drove very well the last 2 rounds 2 years ago, and stuff like that. And then Tyler Mayer was like last year, he's like, dude, this thing changed my life. Like, I'm able to drive better. We've seen that over and over and over.
Your actual perception in car
so
changes.
without like that, and like some of those Pro 2 guys come here, and it's a little bit more struggle bus because it is big, it's fast, and if you're not used to running nothing but like OSW and those Jersey small 2, I mean the biggest one's
just
Texas.
The oval tracks,
yeah. You struggle a little bit on that big entry, like because I mean it's huge. It's a fast run up.
It's weird too because it's like it's cambered, but it's not super cambered. So you need to use like I mean the way I drive it, I use inertia to throw the car and get to that high line. But if you just go in and kind of turn in, then it's going to set you up to go like low and awkward, and then it's like that's how you wad cars up.
Yeah,
quick.
3 years ago, who crashed super bad at the end of the bank? It was the neon car. Who wadded his
Field.
No, gosh dang it, Pro 2 driver.
And Pro 2 driver?
Yeah.
Oh,
Wadded it at the end.
Oh,
it's not Gauthier?
No, it was.
It wasn't Gauthier.
Who's got all the lions and tigers in Texas? Yeah, he has the big animal park down there. His dad's like a cowboy.
It wasn't Austin Meeks.
Meeks.
Yeah.
Austin
Meeks.
Wait, he's got lions and tigers?
Yeah.
We should hang out with this
Yeah,
guy.
Meeks has lions and tigers and bears and shit down in Texas.
He's gone, not in Texas. He lives in North Carolina or South Carolina.
I thought he was in Texas.
No, he's in the Carolinas.
I could be wrong then.
Yeah,
but Meeks has animals.
Yep.
Yeah,
he was just all of a sudden going up to
wadded it, and ever since then, I think people are just like, dude, we don't want to wad things like that.
Well, people,
because he totaled the car. I mean, the chassis was written off.
No, they fixed it. They fixed it.
I thought they did a different car.
They did after that.
Did they?
They fixed that car.
Yeah, they band-aided it back.
I thought it was done.
Run it.
Yeah, I thought it was
done.
But
just stuff like that. I think, but I don't know. Texas and Jersey being gone, good for them. I love the change. Like that's change. I was speaking it earlier. Like I love the change.
Me too.
Like
I'm down.
I would be sad to see Evergreen go because like it's our event in the Pacific Northwest. But if they changed it to the Ridge or if they changed it to somewhere else,
I would just love it. Even a track layout different. Even if they went the other way or something, or if they did like a infield something or. Like something different.
Change it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, that's what. So a while ago in the Pro-Am board, we're posting about like the different layouts, and Andy Luck caught in there, and he was just like, "What is this mini Irwindale?" He's like, "I kind of want to check that out," and I'm like, "Well, you can just come hang out, dude. Like, we're totally cool with you coming and hanging out, Andy. Like, sounds fun, but
that'd be really
never
cool.
did.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Even, I mean, it's not the full Irwindale, but dude, seeing FD cars run that layout would be sick. Or even mini Jersey.
I mean, because it's like the lower
or even
risk.
The one that I suggested was going on a reverse 3/8 and then coming around, make that sharp hairpin around the tires, coming through the center infield, and then making another figure 8 and then coming back out. I mean, something like that for a Pro-Am. It doesn't have to be FD. But for a Pro-Am, I mean, just different. You know, some awesome.
Something a little bit different.
I would really like to get rid of the standard 3/8. But it sounds like the vast majority want to get rid of our mini Irwindale. Like, it sounds like everyone hates that.
To be honest, I was not sad that I missed it this year. I was like, okay, I'm going to be camping. I'm not going to make it a point to come back.
I like punting one off the bank.
No, because every year something changes about it. Like the middle, like where the middle Manji, they always change it.
Yeah,
every single year.
Yeah, it could be a better spot.
Yeah, and then like it's like I can never figure it out, and like I always struggle with that layout. And I just don't like that Irwindale. But I wanted to give a shout out to Tyler Owen Marcus. That's your brother. Tyler's awesome. Like I don't know Ben if you know him, but
I know him. He's rad.
Yeah. You know, he's your brother. He helps run Takeover, and every year that I see him, he's always like, "Hey man!" Like he's always giving me a hug. Dude, I love you, Tyler. If you're listening, man, you're the real guy. Like
you're a
just
real
like,
guy.
Man, I love you. You guys are awesome.
It's like I imagine you, and then I open your eyes, and
whether the event runs good or not, like I am so appreciative of you guys. Like you guys are awesome.
Yeah.
You guys work really well together.
He's gonna be my spotter.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah. Like
I can't wait to see you guys yell at each other. It's gonna be dope.
I want to play a little whirly ball with you guys. I would love to do that. Like me and Patricia talked about doing that, but we don't have a team.
Dude, I think I tried to go do the whirly ball once, and they're like, "Well, where's all your people?" I'm like, "I don't fucking know. What's a whirly ball?" They're just like,
you need 5s, dude. You need 5 on 5.
Yeah. They're like, "Yeah, you need like 9 more people." I'm like, "Well, I don't have 9 friends, so."
Rumor mill is that you know your sister. You have a sister, right?
Yeah.
And she is friends with Odessa. If you guys don't know Odessa, who's Odessa? A little bit
different. It would be sister-in-law. Went to school with them. Yes.
And Odessa is some like little group band groupie out of like Bellingham or something like that.
Yeah. So Odessa's a hard one because like is more and more they grow. Like year 1 would probably been our greatest opportunity to have them come out, but we didn't have budget. Like, I mean, we spent way too much period, and then like to fork out what we needed to even on a deal was like wanted to, but I just couldn't. So
we had the Burger King out there the first year. That was dope,
dude.
How do we get the In-N-Out out there, or Dick's even?
I don't know. We need something out there.
Whatever. That taco truck last year was dope.
You guys,
taco truck. Yeah, they were good, actually, weren't they? They were good, yeah.
It was so good. I was pumped. I'm like, let's just do this. Like, taco truck and, like, the mini Dance Dance Revolution platform was perfect. Like, if it wasn't so far out there, it would have been a little better.
Was it too far?
Yeah, if we had a little better placement. Dude, if you put it at the track entrance exit...
Well, that's what I was going to say. What if I put it there this year?
That's
where I think I'm going to put it.
Yeah.
Well, people... here's the thing. That's the hardest thing about it. People complain about the music. I want to go to bed.
Go.
Year 2. Do you guys remember year 2?
Yeah.
I brought in...
Yeah, I remember year 2.
You remember year 2?
Yeah, with the comedians. Why don't we have comedians anymore?
No more comedians. But year 2, we brought in the Mega system, right?
Yeah.
Like, dude, Mega system. Yeah, granted, the talent was better year 1 than year 2. But, oh, man.
Dude, the year 1 talent with the Burger King on stage and then his DJ. Yeah, because the DJ kept coming out and freestyling, and he's spitting fire, son. And they're both like just grooving, and it was just like, yo, leave these guys up here, let them do their thing.
And everybody went on stage with them.
Yeah,
everybody.
Well, yeah, everyone's like, everyone gives me a fucking hard time because they're like, yeah, Ben, go on stage. I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Okay, and so I got up there, and then I'm like, the whole time I'm trying to look for stage exit, and I'm like,
you were like, no,
I don't know what to. So like, my wife has kept like 6 minutes of video footage of me just like up there, just bobbing my head, like.
With Burger King, dude.
Yeah, with Burger King. It was just like, fuck yeah.
Davon. He was
Dude, it was so good. It was so much fun.
Yeah. Hopefully this year will be good. I'm hoping.
Yeah, like, dude, I was super cool with just like the DJ and kicking it and just having like dance party and stuff. Like, that's fucking dope.
I think we'll lean towards that.
When are you gonna get Odessa on? That's all I want to know.
Oh my god!
So you know them, and we want to hear them.
Are you trying to put it on the fucking podcast again?
No.
I don't know.
Good.
He doesn't even know who that is.
No. No,
So,
I think
are you gonna get
Eddie.
Odessa on or not?
I'm gonna crush Alex Lindsay's door in this year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're just daydreaming about right now.
Mm-hmm.
Just crushing that shit.
Alex Lindsay, if you listen, I'm literally crushing your door.
I don't think he listens.
He's 100% listening.
You think he's gonna listen?
Legit.
I bet he don't.
There's only two guys I'm gonna crush doors in on.
Who? Name names.
Alex Lindsay and
then
Matt Larkin.
And Matt. Oh yeah, he deserves it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just a little bit.
If Matt drives around, I'm fixing mine and his car after it.
Perfect.
For real though, it'll be the sauciest footage.
Are you just mad at Matt because he didn't fix that BMW that Brad gave him?
He fixed it.
Yeah, but then he said like there was like 45 things wrong with it.
You don't.
That's
know.
fair.
Do you know about that car right now?
I know that it's in Matt's hands.
Brad sells everyone broken shit.
Oh, I know
Look at my
that.
steering rack.
Somebody was telling me that they cut it up. No.
Oh,
and
did you
they
death card it? You
Tori
sick
told
piece
me
of
that they
shit.
put it in the death card.
You're such a piece
You
of
guys are
shit.
fucking so
I
stupid.
hate you.
There's gonna be 4 of them.
God.
Oh my gosh.
Why?
God. What happened to Frank's old car? Did you ever sell that thing?
What?
He had that nice BMW that he stripped down to like all the wire and it's yours now?
Mhm.
You finally bought it?
Mm-hmm.
He was trying to get rid of it.
Yeah, so I have a 427 for that, and I'm gonna start building that thing.
Stroker.
NBD 427. No big deal.
Yeah. Well, you got a big dick Tory. Because what's Tory at? Isn't he like 421 or something?
He's
Or
427.
is he
Yeah,
427?
427.
But mine's a Chevy motor. His is a gay Ford motor.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
Ford, you don't have like...
He has like a
you have, like,
carburetor
7
and shit.
different options with the Ford.
He should have a carburetor.
I think he does, doesn't he?
No, he's got the Phytex.
Oh.
He's got the Phytex. I keep.
No, not Phytex.
Yeah, I say it however I want.
Well, then S.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Boeing's.
It's plural.
That's
Oh, that's
Yeah,
right. You're right.
Boeing's.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's all the
Yeah,
shites.
But yeah,
Yeah, but I keep asking him, like, hey, you ready to put a 750 double pumper on that yet? And he's like, nah. And I'm like, okay, I'll be here when you are.
Yeah.
Just every once in a while, he'll bitch about, like, how he has to keep it idling at 2,000 RPM for it to stay alive with the Phytech. And I'm like, hey, man, we could just adjust the idle mixture screws on my 750 double pumper and probably run fine on your shit.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck you,
Dude,
man.
my emphasis on like wanting to drive with you guys next year is so incredible.
Yeah.
It's literally the only thing I think about.
Dude, I get
And-
so fucking, like, because I go out there a lot and
And none of you have driven with me. That's gonna be the weirdest
Yeah,
thing.
it's gonna be
So
dope.
there's gonna be a trust issue on all of you.
Yeah, I already don't trust
Yeah,
him.
there's gonna be a
Yeah.
trust issue, and that's gonna be the greatest part.
Whatever. I've driven with a lot of people I don't trust and done a lot of stupid shit behind them, and it was just like, yeah, this worked out fine.
Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Brandon.
I'm just gonna low key do my best. Well, I mean, you build an S13 with all wise fab everything. You put a V8 in it, and you put a dog box in it so you can't miss the shit.
Yeah.
I feel like the car should just damn near drive itself.
Yeah,
I'm just
Pro
gonna
2
be in
starter
the seat.
pack.
It's
Yeah.
a Pro 2 starter pack.
You just gotta decide if you want to put like some Ackermans in it or whatever. And
We're gonna
usually
put hella
people don't.
Ackermans in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all the Ackermans.
All the Ackermans there is.
Okay, do the Ackermans.
Full Ackermans.
Full Ackermans.
Going 6 to midnight with Ackermans right now.
Yes.
Just fully Ackerman.
How Ackerman did you get? I'm a fully Ackermanded.
God damn, just Ackerman through the roof.
Well, I'm super excited for next year. I think it's going to be a good year.
Hey, did you want to talk about Daigo?
Daigo, yeah.
We brought it up like 3 times and never talked about
I
it.
know.
Yeah,
I
just wanna talk
Daigo,
about
he's
it.
bringing over an FRS. So
dipshit.
gay.
We're only
Can't say gay, but
3
that's
hours
it.
and 32
You
minutes.
can
into
say
the
whatever you
podcast.
want.
I know, but
It's just
people yell at you for
Yeah,
saying gay.
repercussions and stuff, but whatever.
I'm not a big fan of Daigo, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm not a fan either, so
Yeah.
for me, he should have brought over
Are
a
you?
Supra.
Are you, Ben?
I think he's funny.
A Senko Supra.
Yeah, that's the thing that bums me out the most, right? Because when he first came to FD, he came out with like an
How many people?
SC430.
Okay, so how many people like do you think really listen to this? Low key.
We get downloads. I can
10.
see downloads. At least I get 50 downloads.
But who are they?
I
I
don't
don't
know,
know.
dipshits. I know Matt Rusecki listens.
Should I
Why?
get? Well, because if
I
I
let DJ Stubbsat.
Why? Are you trying to figure out if Daigo listens?
no, I could give like some super juicy info on stuff I do know. Some
I
stuff.
would
on.
love that.
Okay,
I like Juicy.
Okay.
but
Do we gotta lean in like this? Talk like this.
I gotta think about repercussions on some of this stuff.
I feel like we gotta be wearing like black.
Sometimes
a lot of people don't go back far enough though.
Do they not?
No, a lot of people don't go back far enough though. We'll be in like people are having this in our first episode.
Really?
Well, because it's in the mist now.
Yeah.
No one knows.
Yeah. So low key then. I love saying low key and high key. So low key.
Do you use high key?
Yeah, high key stuff too. Y'all low key and high key. High key's like this is good shit. Low key's like it's sort of good, but like whatever. It's not that good, but it's sort of good. There were supposed to be 2 Supras that came into FD this year, and both of them got X-nayed because of Papadakis.
Oh,
he
really?
ruined it for 2 people.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So within those 2, they didn't come because Papadakis and his shit bitch fit was like, if these cars come and I don't have one of them, I will embarrass the Supra with the Corolla this year. And they were like, no Supras to anybody.
No way.
Damn,
that's crazy.
That's rough.
That's rough.
That's rough.
But I mean, so
how crazy is that?
Super
That dude
crazy.
was like so buttered.
He's got a lot of power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, I will embarrass the Supra with the Corolla if you do it. And Toyota was like, nope, because they were in a factory 2 drivers.
Oh, really?
Could you guess the
factory 2
Yeah.
drivers?
Could you guess who they were?
Daigo's one of them,
Gucci?
obviously.
And
Gucci and Daigo, obviously.
You think so?
Yeah.
Is that no?
Gucci's one of them. The other one was
Daigo's Daigo for sure.
Not Castro?
Are you
Is it a
serious?
Japanese driver or is it a here driver?
Super white guy, most popular guy in FD, the most popular.
James Dean.
No, he's way more popular than James Dean. James Dean's a great
Osbo?
driver.
Wasn't Osbo?
Osbo, Forsberg,
Guys,
Gittin,
go back. You're
Turk.
Oh, Turk.
Turkleton.
Yeah, I forgot
Yeah.
Turk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kenny
Dang,
Gooch
that-
and Turk were both going to get him.
That
Oh,
would have
really?
been cool.
Yeah.
That would have been cool to
Papadakis
see.
threw a fit.
Dang, I
and ruined it.
and I thought it was like Toyota Japan or something like that because they gave Daigo and then
Yep.
the other guy
They were in
Kawabata
factory
like
backing.
A90 cars.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Well, they already get factory backing.
Yeah. Well, sort of. But
They get a pretty good amount.
ish.
They get to
It's
travel
ish.
and
Turk's got it pretty hooked up like this year because you got that other Corolla IM and so he was running that at like Grid Life and stuff and that was
Yeah.
But that was Papadakis's.
That was
Yeah.
Papadakis.
Yeah.
But Papadakis has like a Toyota backing. But yeah, I
Right.
guess Papadakis threw a shit fit. And exact words were, I will embarrass the Supra with the Corolla. So I bet you Papadakis has a Supra this year. So low-key, once again, I think that Turk has a Supra this year, Gucci has a Supra this year, and Osbo has a Supra this year.
So that
I would predict that 100%.
because you've seen Papadakis taking apart that engine and making
1,000
horsepower
Yep.
with it.
Yep.
And a couple times while he was like recording, you hear him like talking, and like he's like, "Well, we're gonna use it in a project."
Yeah.
And it's like,
But I
what
think
project?
Ken Gucci will have a 2JZ for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Because they're
that's
Jay-Z.
fair.
They're Jay-Z King.
But so Saito coming back, does it bum you out to see him in such a generic car?
No, I'm not.
You don't care?
Yeah.
I'm
None
not
of
a
you
big
guys
fan.
care?
Yeah, he won Rookie of the Year in the
It
championship.
super
and then-
bums me out because he was in that SC430
Nah, because
and it was something different.
If those 3 that are in FRSs are going to, or you know what I mean, like that car, they need to replace it with somebody, and he's filling that.
Yeah.
Low-key.
Man.
That's all it is.
I don't know. Like Toyota gave him an A90.
Does
in
Cameron
Japan.
Moore come back?
To where?
I don't know
FD.
what he's doing. I don't.
To FD?
He's
I don't think he's gonna. No, well,
That car's wild.
He's fully like embedded with like Volino.
Yeah,
and
but-
I think him trying to run FD and not have Volino is not going to be like kosher with his program and what he's trying to do. So I think he's trying to be a brand ambassador to the Volinos, and once they can clear all the red tape and get it into at least like Pro 2, then he'll do it. But other than that, like I don't think it's gonna.
New Pro 2 tire? Federal?
Is it really?
Yeah, 5
I didn't hear about that.
What?
Yeah,
I didn't see that.
I didn't see that either.
Where'd you see it?
I heard it.
From whom?
A birdie?
Oh
Am I not supposed to
my God.
talk?
What do you
Yeah,
mean?
I heard
This
that
is
they
the
bought in.
trust tree.
Yeah.
I didn't hear about
This
this.
is
at all.
trust tree. Who'd
Yeah,
you
I
hear
heard
it from?
Federal 59 or Federal.
Reliable source?
No,
Really?
not Federal. I'm lying. Radial GT.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
GT
yeah,
Radio.
Radio.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Sorry
see
about
that.
No, the other talk was that Federal was going to try to come in, and then it didn't happen.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what the other talk was.
Okay. Yeah, I seen like GT Radio made some
Radio.
sort of like small announcement and not like this overly like boastful
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
But like even
Pro
when
2 only though, right?
I
Or is it
don't know.
the big boys?
I don't know.
like you'd like to think if they buy into one, they'd be like cool
Be
with the
both.
other.
Right.
Yeah.
You would think.
I mean, even when GT Radial was like a thing before, I still couldn't get any of their tires. And so I'm just like, well, where do I get, like, I think the SX2s were their cool tire. And
yeah,
I'm
that
like,
was a nicer one.
where do I buy those? And they're like,
no,
I couldn't find them.
no.
Yeah, I couldn't find them either.
It's
Cool.
Yeah.
But
Well, that's all I got. Ben, do you
Yeah.
have anything else?
I'm pretty talked out. I'm ready for a nap. I've been ready for a nap for like 8
he's ready for a
hours.
nap.
Yeah. Dude, thanks for coming on, man. That was blast.
Yeah, we're fucking stoked, man.
We're only 3 hours and 37 minutes.
Damn.
Yeah,
Might
that's
have
a
to
long one.
two-part this bitch.
Yeah. No, we'll just make it all big one for the next
Just a
month.
big one.
Yeah,
So
because I can't post this right now. unless we
Fucking
get
just
more.
a big girthy file for everyone.
The big one.
Oh,
big
dude,
one.
that's just for the big one. I
one.
got it for you.
Ben's got the big one.
That's right.
Dude, yeah, thanks for coming on. We're let us know when we if we have like options for takeover, like let us know. We'll do it we'll post it on our personal pages.
Yeah, we'll share all that shit and get the name. Like, I mean, I've been one of the biggest proponents for that event
Nice.
Yeah,
since
same.
Thank
its
you.
inception.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
It's like it's so dope. And
yeah, there's a couple like
but
We appreciate it
We
for
would
sure.
like to see. We'll talk off like air more, but
Yeah.
like we would like to see that brand grow, and so
Absolutely.
anything we can do to help would be
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, if obviously you guys if you are not following Takeover Northwest, it's at takeover_NW. Go follow that page. They try to post stuff as the event comes up, but right now it's still kind of up in the air. We're going to see if we can get it for Labor Day weekend, and until then we are up in the air. So Brandon, thanks again for coming on.
Thank you.
Super excited for this coming season. And we will catch you guys on the flip side. Peace out, Ben. Peace out, Brandon.